This is
Valorant.
heritage.
Hello, insert joke here.
Okay. Bear with me 1 second.
Talk about them. We are gonna in just a moment.
Should
But I
be
feel
live.
like for the Liquid side, they might be feeling a similar way. They're just still
Should be
confident.
Yinsu.
I think so. They've done it before. They've been in the lower bracket before. You know, they're at home. Like
Hello.
there's no jet lag.
I
or
was not
anything,
eating
so I think
Weetabix.
they're
I
still
was,
gonna feel good about going into today.
Yeah. And
getting a
speaking
drink.
Of, let's send it down to Mika Fabs, who's standing by with Team
So first
Liquid
game is
coach Palestra.
EG versus Team Liquid Brazil. Oh, the kid in the shadows.
Palestra, do you have a second?
Yeah.
Just really wanted to
With
know how much
the
pressure
19
is
months.
under right now, especially knowing this is the
Who
first
was it? It
elimination
was
I'll just say
Mello
that
wanted
the
me
pressure
to
is good.
say
I
that
think we
he
know
subbed
our duty
like a whole
here.
day
We
before you.
try to show our best one more time.
So
We didn't show the best of us in the last match, so we are trying to do that right now.
Best of luck to the team.
EG Bao, I think Liquid will win.
I mean, they're
Based off what I saw.
self-aware, you know, about the potential of elimination or the pressures and so on. What do you think about what's going to happen with them today? Because I know that you were speaking to Palestra.
Yeah, I actually just speak to him.
Shall we do a map veto as well?
And he actually said that there was a lot of
Who we got?
turbulence,
It's
a lot of
EG Team
emotions that
Liquid.
got
Who'll
to
be
them.
top seed?
I think as I
Probably.
said before, with the debut and
Ah,
stuff,
they might flip
and
a
they were
coin.
hyping a lot.
Let's just
Also
go Team
facing the
Liquid
world
quick first.
champions, like reigning champions, like it had a lot of stuff.
Let's see. What did
deal with
they?
it. And they actually have a really young team. I think their oldest player is like 23 or something.
Sound like
so
someone was
if you
downstairs
compare
and I was like, what's
to
that?
G2, like you can't compare at all. So I think that
Let's see.
today they can play.
EG.
Like, they already played their first match and stuff. And yeah, I really think like they can play better. That's what he taught me.
Yeah, the ceiling is very high for this team. Like we've seen them on
Oh, there are people
LAN
outside.
before.
But
in
I was
Meta,
wondering
they
where
do
I could
incredibly
hear
well.
voices and I was like,
Energy's always
what?
high,
Is
like,
there anyone here?
as long
But
as
there's
they
people.
can
There's
brush
people
off those
outside.
nerves,
And I heard a
they'll be
dog
better
bark
today.
and I was like,
Yeah,
what is
speaking
going
of
on?
things that they need to work
Okay.
on, again, they played well.
EG banned
They played
Bind.
well against
Let's just say that
G2.
they banned Bind.
But one thing though, Heather, is that their attack side, there were some uncharacteristic things that happened. It was a lot weaker than usual.
It's not
And
what
Liquid
you
banned
were
Breeze.
used
Let's
to,
just
what
let's
we've
just
seen over
stick
past
with the old one. So
year.
it's
Daiki always
1-1
talked
currently
about the
between
team
me
is
and Chat.
very slow. They
You
like
won
to wait
yesterday,
for
somehow
combined
getting
mistakes.
5 out of
They're
7, that
always
was
catching
crazy.
those flanks. And that was definitely not the case in
Right,
Loaded.
EG.
The amount of times they got caught out
Oh, sorry,
in-
I should say
in
Team
the
Liquid.
back
What are they
and-
gonna pick?
And they were just having to
So they
push
picked
spawn because they were being
Lotus.
flanked from behind. It was
It
very,
didn't
like,
go amazing. I
one-dimensional.
kind of doubt
And
they'll
then
pick
even
this
with their comp
again.
using Astra instead of Omen, like,
They
lack that
might
extra
go
flash to be
Haven.
able
I
to
feel like
get out of these
Haven
chokeholds
makes
like we're
some
seeing here.
sense,
So
just as
it's
a nice,
not the attack side we normally
safe map
expect
that
from
everyone
Becky,
kind of
but
likes.
Yeah,
Did
and
you play
maybe
Haven?
talking
You
about
did and
Lotus,
lost.
it's a
So
really
yeah,
heavy
I think
attack side
Haven is
map.
a good
Yeah, I think like you can play
bet
them
there.
the way.
EG
I mean, they really played really
picked
well on the hard
Haven
guard
themselves,
matches
but
defending.
lost.
Like,
So I
Lotus
doubt
really, really
they'll
hard
want
to
to
defend,
pick
and they
that.
played really well. I actually
They ban Ascent.
remember
They
watching
had
the map
split.
and was like, oh, they're really a good shape to win and stuff. But then they threw the pistol,
Come on,
and
let's say
threw
that
the
they
bonus, and I think that was
go
overcomplicating a little bit the
split,
stuff.
because they're
and
not
they
going to
can
want to
play
go
a little bit
Lotus.
simpler right now,
Liquid
so
though will
they've
then
already
ban.
damaged them.
Go back to their own
Did
game
they ban
plan,
Ascent?
not to overcook a little bit, but let's move on to their opponents.
Did your
for today,
opponent ban
which is
Ascent?
gonna be EG.
They banned
For
Ascent, so let's say
me,
that they
I
ban
don't
Ascent
even feel
again.
like we've
You ban
really
Lotus,
seen
and we
their
play
full,
Sunset.
potential. You know, they've been in certain situations like elimination before, and they've been able to come out the other side. And at least for me, Heather, I just
Let's say
want
this.
to.
That's my map, Vito.
Today's their debut. You know, the last one didn't count. This is where we're going to see them show up.
Also, I
gotta
catched up
wipe
on
that
yesterday's
one
VOD. I was
clean
deep
and
asleep when
forget
you
about it,
mentioned my
because
name on
obviously
stream.
what they played
I
against
think
Brawl, if
Taku
you
was
all remember,
promoting
it
you
was
as a
four
mod.
duelist comp. That's certainly not what they
Are you
planned.
from
They
Asia?
threw them off their game.
Zerastix.
They have a lot of players as their first time ever.
That's a
land on
4-month
international
sub.
Stage. They're gonna forget that one, and today is day one.
Indo. Would you call yourself a regular TMV viewer when I stream?
An easier thing, just knowing that like, hey, it's okay, we won mentally there. We're gonna be great today.
Yeah, me as a player, if I lost that to the 4 duelists, I think.
Would you
I don't know.
be watching
Actually, really-
Understandable.
Master
it's really hard to
Shanghai
do it, but
and
the best way to do it is just forget
Champs
it. Like, forget it.
Soul?
We weren't there, weren't playing at all. Just forget it. Like sometimes you don't even need to rewatch the game because like you didn't need to play at all. Like what are you gonna correct from the playing versus 4 duelists? Like,
Yes,
just
Shanghai
forget
is
it
same
and
time zone
move
as
on.
me.
I guess the extension to that is, do you think that they should
W
go for
time
Lotus
zone
again today?
region.
You know, maybe redeem themselves or just
Okay.
no.
I'm
Yeah,
writing
I
it
don't
down
think so.
then.
I think like losing the way they did, I
Zerastix.
think it could get to them. So
After
yeah,
this
let's see.
stream,
Let's see.
You'll be invited
And I
into the
think
fold.
The way that we spoke about them being a little bit tilting and nervous, it was backed up by EG themselves. We have a tweet here from PowerPixel who spoke about it after
Enjoy it.
the game. She said, lost 0-2 against SMG, GG's, got nervous against the 4 duelists for respect. For
what do I think of
that.
Crew after yesterday?
Understandable.
Do I think
And again,
EDG can
it's
somehow
not
beat
gonna
them?
happen.
I
How often
think there's
does
still a
that deal
chance.
with
No,
it?
I
think
it's
that
gonna
EDG
happen
ran into a
often. I
complete
think it's good that
buzzsaw.
They have the self-awareness of like what went wrong. Like
I don't know
were
what to
nervous.
expect from
That's
that
okay.
game.
That's addressable.
It's
and I know
1
they've
a.m.
got a
right now.
fantastic
Where the hell are you that
team
it's 1
not only
a.m.?
helping them in game, but out of game to help calm those nerves.
Must be
Yeah,
in
and a
like
fantastic
fucking
IGL as well in Thea, who's actually with
Kiribati or
right
something.
now for a quick one.
Where the fuck are you?
Hey,
5?
Thea, have you got a second?
Oh, plus
Okay,
8?
Perfect. Have a really quick question
Oh,
for you.
it's only
Just
plus
wanna
8?
know how you're
True.
setting yourself up
I lose
for this
track
match,
of
especially
time.
Since it's the first elimination match of Game Changers champions.
Yes, well, in Game Changers 3, we did the lower bracket run, so every match was an elimination match. So we've been there before, you know, we know how to handle the pressure now.
Okay, good. Nothing new for you guys. Best of luck.
If EDG don't win, I will castrate my dog. Don't do that. It's one thing to castrate yourself.
They beat Shopify to get here. Like, this team has beaten one of the best teams in the world before, so surely...
Don't hurt the dog. But then again, I guess that see, we say that and it sounds harsh, but then again, a lot of dogs,
with Laurie,
you know, it does
she-
happen.
She's a really experienced player. She was hyping up.
You
a
know,
lot
so
the team
I mean,
and
if you were
stuff.
gonna do it anyway,
They
a
can
lot of
play
people
better
do
than what
it.
they did. Of course they
Just
can.
kind of, you know.
Well, first off, I'll also say
But-
that they beat Shopify and they beat Shopify.
Yeah, it is what it
I
is.
have to remind you that because both of those were big wins.
I feel like that's even more impressive
It
at
is.
beating 2 different Shopifys.
Two different
Yeah.
Shopify.
Do I feed my dog or sub to you?
Yeah, they like. Thea
Look,
said,
you
they
can
had
always
that
get another dog.
Cinderella Run. They can do it. And not only was it like a Cinderella run, and it was like they dominated teams. They were actually smashing teams. They were beating the now Shopify on the maps that they're always undefeated on. So it was really good performance to get here. They have so much more potential than what we're seeing.
Yeah, and I think a couple of points.
I was
Laurie,
thinking,
first of
as
all,
well
I
last
love the
night
way that
about
you mentioned, you know, her role in the team because
how I would play
even
Valorant.
when they were getting a little bit
TMV 1 year ago wouldn't have said
last
that.
time, she
Maybe
didn't
not.
seem that way. She was
But,
hard as a rock and she was high energy.
Maybe not, but
how
who
do
knows?
you think she can translate that to
Money
the rest of her
changed you.
teammates? How do you actually kind of make sure that your teammates feel the same way as you do?
Yeah, sure. If she's very vocal, she's like influencing the team. hyping team up when we're winning, or talking a lot when they're losing. Because like when they start losing, usually meaning a LAN, it starts to get quiet, and that's why you feel like you start to get quiet. You start to get into your head. So if there's someone talking, like pushing you, and etc., that has the experience, that changes everything.
Used to
Well
be
said,
humble
yeah,
and
exactly.
polite,
But
not even
Laurie
kidding.
And Thea, those veterans need to
I
be
don't
the ones
remember
that
being
keep
humble
the
and
comms
polite
up
on stream.
No matter what, if you're down 3 to 9.5, 10 to 2, you have to keep that energy up for the players and prove to them as the veterans.
Well, he
that
makes
there is
every
hope and they
British
can
a
come back.
Tory.
Yeah, and on the other side of this as well, I mean, we spoke about how crazy and how much of an upset it
I
would
think
be
you guys
if,
are
Team
mean.
Liquid were to get eliminated first
You know?
in front of a Brazilian crowd.
I think we need
But
to
Laurie
spread
was a
joy,
finalist
happiness.
last year. She was in the grand finals, and she was very,
And instead,
very
all I
close
get
to
is
a
just
trophy.
back chat.
So I think it would be equally shocking and upsetting, Heather, if she were to be the first one to be eliminated here.
I think so. I think people looked at this bracket and a lot of people thought, okay, EG should be staying in the upper bracket for a bit, and that's not the case. So them being in the lower at this point is very surprising.
Okay, we should be
and as
starting
said
soon.
Before, that's the EG thing. Like
What are
did
the
that
other
several
games
run
today?
in NA, they can do it right now again, and that's
Remind
what's
myself.
scary
So we
for
got
Team
this game
Liquid, so,
first, which I
yeah,
think
I'm
actually
really hyped
I
to
would
see this match
expect
and
Team Liquid to
how that
win,
team's
but
gonna work out.
who
Yeah,
knows?
I don't want either of them to
Then
get
we got
eliminated.
Crew
I'm
versus
like,
EDG.
just give everyone a trophy.
Which
We
we'll
have
see.
enough,
I'm still
what
not
we've got.
convinced that EDG didn't just run into an
He's like, no, we
absolute
need a winner.
buzzsaw, best
But
Shopify I've
earlier,
ever played.
teased a little bit about the fact that
I'm
we
still
got
not.
to speak to
I still think they
Buster, and I have the clip
like because
for
I
you
actually
guys here.
liked
This
some of
is
their
what they
ideas.
say,
I just feel like they
about
just
what
got
went wrong and why you should not be
just
counted on that.
absolutely out aimed. Which maybe against Crew they won't. So I think they might still have a chance. And then BBL versus SR. I mean, I'm gonna be real. If SR play like how they did yesterday, the whole tournament,
I feel sad because I had really high expectation. I feel so bad for lose to U2 because we lose in communication. We was
yeah,
so
I don't
nervous
think anyone's got a
winning
chance.
and we couldn't conclude the maps. Last year we lost to U2, but this year my team I think is better. So if we face U2 again, I think we will back more strong to defeat them.
Inside that pit, met up with Blanche, working to get on this extremity. Beautiful flash though for 2 insta-kills. Roxy looking to clutch it, not gonna happen! Bizzero with the headhunter!
Evil Genius is so good because they defeat the queens in NA, they defeat Shopify, so I'm so anxious to play against Lori because I met her last year in tournament, so will be fun. Sorry to all the fans to the lose against T2, but we will come back stronger, I promise.
I mean, I love how she's already looking ahead, like, yeah, we're going to play G2 again, but also
I
that
think the
point
main
about the fans
reasons
is really
BW,
interesting, right? Because we are
the
in
women's
Brazil,
top
we're in Sao
international
Paulo,
teams
we've been
versus
here
even
before,
mid-partner
earlier
teams.
this year. We know what the fans
I don't understand
want
what
to see a
BW means.
Brazilian team
For the
lift
disparity?
the trophy. I know you do as well. So, you know, how are the fans going to be reacting to this? And is it
Just
harder?
well,
knowing
a lot
that
of
the
it will
fans
be.
just
Oh,
want
there's
you
a
to win
fly
something?
on my microphone.
Yeah, if you
A lot of it will be just like,
I think it's harder. You have to
you know,
believe,
the.
to think
I mean,
about
this
it,
is
like,
what
in a
Game
good
Changer
way.
is
Only
for,
the
right?
good way. Only take the good way
Not only is there probably
don't
like,
put too much
not maybe
pressure,
not
so
with
you
all the
actually in the
Game
game,
Changers players,
kind
but
of
like
forget it
with
a little
some
bit.
of
Like, don't
them.
even think about the
Like that's what I
pressure,
thought about
the-
SMG was kind of
the
interesting,
people that are
right?
cheering.
It's like
think
everyone on
about yourself, you
SMG,
think about the game and need to focus, 'cause if you had
like
let
their
them put
aim
their
is
mind
all there,
while you're
right?
playing,
Whereas with
that's
most
where it
teams, you
gets
know,
hard.
whether it's your IGL
Yeah,
or
exactly.
whether
They
it's like
talked
someone
about,
on the
you know,
team,
nerves and
you know, maybe
fans
is
and everything.
you know
gotta
not bad,
forget
but
about
just
that
weaker
and
than like you know
focus on your own
like
game.
the
We
best.
know they do this so well. We've
You know, when
seen
you're just
them
weaker than the
dominate
best.
before online
And that's what I
venues
thought was
where there
interesting
aren't
about
fans, like,
SMG is that
they
it
can
doesn't
do
seem like
this,
that's the
and
case
they
with
need
any
to
of their
focus on their
players.
own
Like they
game
all
and
have
solve
moments
the
of just like
outside factors.
get in the
Also
3K and you're
before
like,
that,
oh wow,
they-
that
you
was
know,
good.
We were here in Sao Paulo already, and they missed out. They were kind of robbed a little bit.
So I think
from
that
the
there's just
Brazilian team
more
being able
players
to lift a
who just
trophy. I
aren't
don't think-
at
I think
the
they're gonna
very
be
highest
very,
levels
like,
in terms of like their
heartbroken if that
mechanics.
happens again, right?
I think so. Not just
And
the
that
fans,
most
I'm sure
teams
they
probably have
family
like
too in the
maybe a
crowd,
player
you
or
know,
two
and
who
this is
isn't at
maybe
the
a
very highest
once-in-a-lifetime
levels,
moment
and then
for
you've
a lot
also
of
got
their
like the
friends and family
experience
to
of
watch
like
them in person, and they're gonna
you know,
wanna walk with
I'm
or with.
I'm
us.
buying into
like,
this. I know you're trained
if
for
you're a
it, and I'm
Game
kinda
Changers
with
team
you
and
now.
your
But it's
like
time for
you know
the results
scrims aren't
from
great
our
because you know
Mastercard
people don't want to
fan
scrim
poll.
you
Shall we
properly
ask
because
you,
you're a
which team
girls
has the
team,
best
so you
shot
know
at
they aren't interested in
avoiding
that because
elimination?
you know, oh, we're scrimming
The
against a girl
results
team, so
are
you know we'll just
in,
piss
and,
about because
everybody
hey,
say
if we
Liquid,
actually
I'd
tried
go
and
for
lost to
that.
the girls team, that would
Yeah,
look bad on
I
us,
feel like
right?
that,
So we're
right?
not gonna try in this
And,
because
Heather,
you
what do
know
think?
we don't we want to always have that
There's some hope
excuse.
for EG, 17%. They're
Like, I'm
number
sure
two,
that
so there's still some believers.
You know,
there.
will have
Some
happened.
believers, yeah.
I will say shout out to the
And that's the whole
EG
point
ones,
of this,
'cause I
right?
think
It's
they
not just to,
probably
like-
after their first match have the hardest hardest.
you've got to
have the
like
most to prove.
change everything about
they
it.
do,
You've got to
but,
change the
you
whole
know,
culture.
People maybe have fallen in love with that team. They're so fun to watch. Like they showed so much potential in their region. So I'm glad there's still some supporters there.
Yeah,
I've seen the Platoon video on who's the best Valorant player. I have not.
Loads of account being like, we gotta vote for Nick, we gotta rig it, we gotta rig it. But I
Why?
mean,
What was in
we
it?
can theorize, we can tell everyone what we think.
I'm not even
as
saying that
squad,
they're
the fans, you at
that
home,
they are
have
like.
your say. But this comes down
Again,
to
it's
the
not.
players.
It's not
It
that you're
comes down
outwardly
to the
misogynistic.
team. They have their own
Right, it's
fate
not
in
the-
their hands, and after today,
You know,
it
you
will
could
be
ask
down
you
to our top
like if you
six.
went on the
Who's gonna
street
make
and
it?
said like,
Let's find out.
you know, if
and
you went
kick
onto a
off
street
day 3 of Game
and
Changers
asked everyone like,
Championship
do you think
2023?
women should be equal to men? At least in like, you know, let's say in the UK, you know, you're not really gonna find anyone who's gonna say no to that question. But does that mean that no one is sexist in this country? No, right? Because that's the thing. Sure, there's a small minority of people who might be like outwardly sexist, misogynistic. But a lot of the things it's just like, you know, it's like the things that you don't even realize, right? Like the feeling that there might be pressure on like a male team to like, oh, we can't lose to the girl team, because that would somehow be embarrassing if we lost to the girl team. Like just the fact that that thought might enter your head, like that's kind of the problem, right? It's not like, oh, I hate women. It's, why is that a problem? What's wrong with losing to the girl team? Like, how is it any different? Like, yeah, you don't like losing, but what's it matter who you lose to?
We're still pretty confident going in against BBL, even though they're really good at shooting. I think we have really good utility and we have really good teamwork.
If you went to a pub, you would definitely find. Yes, I'm sure you. Well, you could find obviously the old gammon man,
Let's put on a show.
who yes does hate women, but you know.
第一次的国际赛事，大家就是很开心能来参加，就是放松去打这比赛就行了。但就我们打谁都一样，就是打好自己，尽自己全力就可以了。
Yes, today is a 3-match day.
Haber ayudado mucho a nuestro equipo y claramente haberle ganado a BL que estaba ahí.
面对 crew 我们有自信，然后希望我们能在比赛的时候打出我们训练赛的成果。
Tenemos muchas ansias de ganar y vamos a entrar a la cancha con todo.
我们会尽全力的，然后希望我们能打出一个精彩的比赛。
Nobody wants to lose, but losing is how you learn, so we know what to do for next time.
To get out of lower bracket, we need to be more calm and more resilient. I'm confident because I trust in my team.
Team Liquid, we just
Is it really that much money to rent out a venue? A few more days? Feel like 2 games a day would be better. 2 games a day is always going to be better. It just suits it a lot better. 3 games a day is a lot. And I think we got somewhat lucky yesterday that the 2 early games were like kind of destructions, and then you got like a banger last game. I think that helps, but
watch me.
So we're starting map selection process for TL versus EG. For this match, we're gonna have a coin flip to decide which team starts choosing. So the choice is based on alphabetical order. So TL will be tails and EG will be heads. Okay, so heads is the front of the coin and tails is the back. Okay. So it's heads. EG starts choosing. Choosing a side, yeah.
Team B.
EG and TL is
Oh, we got it.
A,
We're
so
already 1 for 1.
TL starts banning a map.
Ben Breeze.
Breeze, a ban for EG.
Ban Lotus.
Oh, they went and just banned Lotus.
Pick for TL.
Big Splitch.
Split, side on split
They
for
pick
EG.
split. Fuck.
Start attack.
Attacking.
Well, that's not good.
Map pick for EG.
At least I'm not getting 0.
Pick Ascent.
Ascent.
Fuck.
Side on ascent for TL.
Defense.
Defense. So defense. The second set of bans. TL we have Haven, Bind, and Sunset.
Ban Sunset.
Sunset.
Oh, it's
the
tough.
last ban for EG, we have Haven and Bind.
Ban bind.
Ban Bind. So Haven is decider. Side on Haven for TL.
Tough for TMV. Tough L.
Attack.
Attack. Okay, that's it. Good luck, have fun.
Thank you.
Good luck, have fun. Let's do it. First map, Split. During one of the breaks, either in between the maps or the games, I'll explain my newest idea. Oh no, we don't have a horn, do we? You lose the game! It's an FPS game! Guatu07 with the 10 months, thank you.
The upper bracket, it didn't go their way, but that does not matter anymore. This is elimination. No more second chances, and you do not want to be the first team to be sent home here.
Definitely not, especially on your home soil. But either team is going to desperately want to win this today. Going out in last is the worst feeling.
It is indeed.
Yeah, I'm really hyped to see this one. I'm really gonna cheer for.
Oh,
Liquid.
don't say that to Mariz.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I mean, especially after we saw the map vetoes, you know.
Imagine if they were like,
you already suggested that,
man,
do
going
not
out
go near
last.
the Lotus, maybe
Finishing
just ban
last,
it out.
that's
They
not
listened
good,
to
is
you,
it?
They did. What do you make of the rest of the map picks?
Yeah, I think.
What are my
they're pretty
preds for today? I think I went Team
I
Liquid.
was seeing how they did.
Second
Like,
match.
they
I think I
were really
went.
strong,
I think I went EDG in the thing. In
and,
my
I
pick.
don't know how EG left it out, to be honest.
Oh, you surprised that EG,
Yeah,
they
left it
went
out.
for the split? Yeah, they let it out.
Yeah, it's very
Pick 'em.
surprising to
So
me
I got my
because
first one
TL
wrong.
is undefeated in the last 2 months.
I went
Five-0
SMG over
on it,
G2.
while on the
Yeah, I
other
went.
side,
I went
they
EG.
did win the
Oh yeah, I
against the
forgot.
old
I went
Shopify
EG
on it,
and I went
but
EDG.
beyond that, they never play that map, so it's very
Ooh.
interesting. And then also,
I'm not
as
feeling
we go
great
into
about that, to be
the
honest.
next map, Ascent, that's kind of one where again, like EG, it's not necessarily.
Not feeling great about that.
They do well on it though. It's interesting.
Yeah, it's the fact that they both completely avoided the maps they played already. They're like, we're not going to do Sunset.
Do I still
we're not
believe in
gonna do
SMG?
Lotus, we're just
Yes,
gonna have
I
a
think they.
fresh start here.
I mean, they
also
would have
wanna
won
talk
that game if they
about,
didn't
when it
lose a
comes to the
1v4.
comps of EG on Split, because it feels like they don't really know. what
Haven,
they
I feel
want
like
to
the
play on
mental
Split,
was a
so
bit
I don't
gone.
know how we're gonna try and guess what they bring out. What do you think?
Oh, Yay sorted the
Yeah,
Visa
I
out.
really
That's
think
good.
what
But
to
Mr.
expect,
Sideshow said on
Probably complete,
on the
Platinum
Platinum Chatinum that you can't get watch party rights for it. See, I emailed them and they just didn't respond.
Chamber. They played Chamber last and they played Split. You want to
Yeah,
play that again?
you actually can play the chamber. in
But
the
he
map.
said
I
that
don't
they
think
just
it's
said
too
no
bad.
to him.
I just don't like it too much. I think you have better options. You can play the Cypher.
Wasn't that
comp,
for
you can
Africa
play the
TV?
Jet comp,
Is that
and
not
you
what
can
they're
put
in?
Much more feet
Oh
on
no,
it.
yeah, he's in the other one, isn't he? He's in the Riot one Invitational, which I can't be bothered to do.
Into the Duelist role
Because
in
I'll
the
be busy
last
doing
couple
this,
weeks,
so-
and then obviously now
Yeah,
playing
that
the
I can't be
Radiant
bothered to do.
Team and Jet the other day.
Yeah, and as you guys can see in the Prime Gaming Agent Select, they have changed things
Like
up
if I'm
a
doing
little bit.
3
They
games a
wouldn't expect
day,
that.
and then
Anyway,
you want me
it's
to
a
get up
mirror
at
matchup.
fucking
No, the
8 a.m. to
Cypher
watch an
and the
off-season
KJ, that's a
tournament?
little bit
Good
different. So
fucking
what do you
luck.
guys think? What do you make of this?
Yeah, I
Oh, we
like
got
this a
Killjoy.
little more. I think we know Starbound more on that Cypher. That's
So we're seeing a lot of teams play this.
playing more. It's obviously a nice
The Viper Cypher, which I did say I thought was the best,
I
so.
think they probably will start attacking, and I'm a little bit
But then again,
scared.
is it really the best? Do I
I'm a bit
really
scared
think it's the
attacking
best?
side
No.
with this comp. I'm scared. but
Okay,
I don't
don't
think
be
it's really
scared.
hard.
You got
But
this.
it's the best that teams
We
are
have
gonna
the
play.
maps and the agents, and all that's left to do is send it over to your casters. Here's Mimi and Ender.
Thanks very much to Yinsu and the desk. Yes, this is going to be the first elimination game here in Sao Paulo for the Game Changers Championship. And for EG, they have nothing to lose. No one expected
What do
them
I think
to
is the
be here
best?
to make it this far with a
Um,
substitute now. But for
Look,
TL,
I've got my own ideas about Valorant that no one agrees with, I don't think, so
Absolutely everything is on the line for Team Liquid right
I'm
now.
a Harbor Viper no duelist believer. Let's put it that way.
Stage. They can't lose now.
But maybe that's just me. See, now for me, this wall, right? Let's start with this wall. Because I was talking about the orb that I thought would be good as well yesterday on Split. And I was talking about putting an orb like behind the one that the defenders normally put in mid, so like just back here, right? So the point is, when they put this orb up, you put yours up, and now you can potentially like walk up, and you stop them from being like able to see each other, right? Like these two sides can't really communicate, and you can be like right on one side, like straight away. While it sets up, so it just creates a lot of pressure for these guys in here that someone might be like right next to them. That just makes mid like harder to defend. You might even see like people like push back away from it just from this orb being up, which is great, right? But this wall for me, and it looks like they've got their orb here, which is fine. As they come in onto the site.
Is Bizera. Can she get out of this one in time? No, she's gonna fight more. Has a teammate joining her in the site. It's
See how this plays out.
to take down Scary Shark. She's gone. And the turret's coming time for EG.
2v2. Ooh, nice.
Starbound shuts it down for
2v1. Good start there for EG. They got 2 flashes still.
In there, it's only Jujina left. No Paranoia to play with whatsoever. And Lori Power Pixel just can hide, hold hands together on site.
Power Pixel doesn't spot her on the jump peak. She'll creep around the corner, spot it. It's a dink on the jump.
But for me,
on the shutdown, EG.
this kind of setup, orb here, wall there as well, is too much, right? You don't need all of that there. I actually think the wall would be better if we put it on B. Actually, like, against the kind of box. So you got the kind of box here on the back side. I think it's better if you put the wall, like, here.
And some great movement there from the player, brand new to
Instead.
being able to jiggle back and forth behind the cover and sight.
Because that will still get you through this choke point. You can put it up, flash out here.
And you see what it means. I mean, after the
I'll show you what I mean. I mean doing a wall like
after getting rolled over by a
kind of like this.
It has to feel good to
There.
finally be playing like yourself.
You've literally just got to forget.
Because you can still walk up onto the site. All you have to do is check this closed box. Right, this wall already creates pressure in B main, makes it difficult for these defenders, right? Because you got this part of the wall, so this one way, again, useless, right?
Familiar for EG. Describe it to me as playing on house money. Seems like a
See, we need a,
theme
I would say
at
put the
this
wall
point,
up there
this
first
team,
with the dot.
anything they can get done, any win
Right, makes it harder to shoot for these guys.
Check this out from Team Liquid, though. They've crept up
For a full
110
push
on
here.
the clock. We're like, hey,
But yeah,
EG
I like,
doing
whilst
anything,
it's the
already
second
setting
round,
up
it
for
doesn't
another
really
A
matter.
slam.
I
This
like
time, they
this
just
kind of
run one
wall.
player and back on the way.
Because with this kind of wall, anyone back here doesn't know what's going on in B main. Right, so it just becomes like this Omen is about to get ahead of it here and start jump peeking.
It's just a carbon copy.
So this Omen is now jump peeking and can get that info. But if the wall is across this way, when that wall is up, they don't have a clue what's going on.
Surely this should be an angle clear thoroughly.
Oh my goodness.
Is it?
What?
Now the classics are getting something. Got 2 kills. Greedy there from Bizera, and she'll be punished as a result. Great
Okay, they get it back to a 3v3 and they can't get any of those guns. A nice snake bite though. A nice flash as well. Oh my goodness. Wow, EG. Following in the footsteps of
Just ridiculous
the other EG.
scenes here on Split to start it off. I mean, Daiki did fantastic work from back sight. It seemed like nothing was going right, but then all of a sudden, Bizera gets that right-click one-shot onto the first player, and Nora falls, and Daiki, money from back sight.
A ridiculous MasterCard thrifty there to win out, and credit to the flash utility.
Yeah, that was a crazy flash by
Both
Daiki.
her flashes were just money in that round, giving 2 free kills each time.
And I'm wondering what went wrong, because there was no smoke on Heaven, or it dropped already. I think they ended up getting stalled out pretty heavily by a late molly going onto the ground.
Okay, so now we're like
economy, evil geniuses have
back down. And again, losing this round is big. It's worse than losing a pistol round when you lose the second round. Because I mean, look at their money, right? So they've got the chance to with rifles build up their eco, and anyone who survived, we've got massive eco. So assuming they don't lose this round back again.
How
But
adept they were. How familiar they are being on a land stage like this one.
100%. I mean, Team Liquid, we say it's their stage. That's because stage 3 of GC, they played all through here. No strangers to that stage. No strangers to the crowd as well, which already you can hear getting a little rowdy after that pistol win in round number 2. Evil Genius is taking things slow once again.
But they'll group up towards B.
Evil Geniuses maybe were hoping the Team Liquid would go for a walk down like they did in the previous round, but now they've got to commit with 35 seconds left.
Georgina on the line, and she has more smokes to stall this one.
What?
A triple lineup. That is disgusting.
You just couldn't ask for
You don't often see that.
How many bullets?
A triple collapse. It took 2 bullets.
If that's not a bargain bin deal, I don't know what is.
And you have to die here.
Better than that. 10 seconds left. Give her the ace. Come on. Gina wants some more, and Thea will steal it away with a nice dink out of the classic. I mean, a 1-9 4K. You take those.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. It's that game
God is
posture,
on
right?
Team
You have
Liquid
the
side.
knee, the higher the knee, the crisper
I mean, that
the
was
knee, the less
crazy.
bullets you actually
She's
need.
chilling.
She's absolutely chilling. I love it. Let's look at that again. And this is that nice,
Oh my God.
3 kills instantly. I love these smokes you can see, by the way, creating a tiny little one-way. Make it so much harder than a normal smoke in the choke. Then she pushes forward. She's got that confidence to take the shots.
Georgina's really an expert on A front. She's a player who constantly has to flex around in all the different comps the Team Liquid plays, but every agent, it seems she has such a high level with, and this Omen is no different. 3 players set up in mid. Could be a bit of a trap play if EG commit into this space.
I think Team Liquid expecting a pace change here with the buy of the rifles, and you'd expect that to be up through mid, and then leaning into one of your lurk sides. Georgina just with the paranoia ready to go off of any contact, that jump peek from Bestard.
Okay, so we got the wall back towards A.
No one there to receive
Heavy
the play.
mid aggression.
EG,
I mean, we've
they get a lot
seen,
of util out of
we
TL
saw
for
yesterday SMG really struggled to take mid.
Takes the shot over from
It's like
Springs.
Liquid
That's
are
a
not
teleport
playing
across.
around.
Georgina shows herself in vents, then TP's over to B Heaven. It's a B hold your 3 players from TL.
This might make them think that B is light, but with space towards ramp that's actually being robbed away quickly. That was a very swift
So they show
rotation from
aggression
Dyke
here and
to
then back
reclear
out.
that space, but the spike again
Quite good
will
by
take
Liquid.
back on over towards an A
It's
finish.
dangerous though, EG showing again the tendency to fall back into A where the heavy Killjoy Viper Salt has always been set up.
That it is, but they still have
Oh, just can't die
utility
there. That's
on Scary Shark.
fortunate
For
there.
Satchel just trying to break utility. Can she get ahead of this one? Nora into the back lines, and Bizarro
Ooh.
not able to get the job done. And Daiki's low on HP. This smoke is great to support her as she walks into the site. EG have to take care of these players, but Scary Shark is wrapped around.
30 seconds
but
left.
still, Daiki in the back lines, and Scary Shark's just not looking. Does she have the discipline? The time to get 2? Absolutely. Is it enough? from the
2v2.
RGL?
They should have the site
2v2
cleared.
now,
Oh,
and
what a
angled
nice
down by
swing.
Pixel, leaving it down to Issa. And the molly was good, but the shot's not there. EG somehow get away with
Okay,
that one.
EG claw it back. This first fight was kind of big with the Killjoy. And then this was really, really good, realizing that they knew where this player was. They're coming and swinging back down.
Tier 1 in the GC scene, you always knew that the 2 of them had the talent. And they closed it out here after, you lose that second round to the Pistols. You had a terrible day 1 showing EG needed this to get the momentum back for themselves.
Yeah, EG
Okay, but
really
Team
has
Liquid can
Team
still buy. As I
Liquid
said, look at their
to
eco,
this
even
level of
after just this
competition.
loss. Like,
Can they rise to the occasion?
I mean, Nora as well there with fantastic entry, getting 2 kills.
whereas for EG,
Their
this is a big
second
round.
game ever with EG.
Second one ever on any GC main event. She hasn't even played in anything but qualifiers in North America, and is now here in Sao Paulo for the
The
championship.
last GC game she played was versus Evil Geniuses, getting eliminated and not being able to make it into top 8 when she was a Supernova in Stage 3.
No way she could have seen this coming. Another A setup for EG. They're looking to take ramp control in this one, or to just continue to
So they
take care
come
of
to
the
A
players on the
again?
backside. Scary Shark double satcheling in. We've seen this one before. Kenzie, I'll find the counter. Daiki
What?
does it. 3
Again?
rounds. A shorty around the corner, and Daiki is doing it all. It's only Lori left. And what the hell could she do here? No HP, and Daiki is gunning for it.
Oh!
Replies for 2 of her own, but surely no round should come of it.
Daiki has just been unreal on this A site. EG just don't have an answer for her.
30 seconds left.
They know exactly where Lori could be. And with 20 seconds, she's forced
Ooh.
into Issa's line of fire. Team Liquid. They find an answer for those A-side hits.
Yeah, I mean, Evil Geniuses need to...
Again, how did they get 2 kills here?
I think that's the second time in 5 rounds there have been just 2 kills instantly collapsed through each other.
Oh, the first one, they don't even see.
They're just running straight through a Viper wall.
Do you think there's a bit of a disconnect between Scary Shark and the rest of the team? Because it seems like this Raze keeps being all the way out on the site and everyone else is still stuck behind the stall.
It's a pathing thing, and that's a great catch, right? Because Nora keeps satcheling into the site, and then a player swinging out from elbow.
Okay, timeout EG. I think on these A hits, they gotta come and take some heaven control as well. So that's the thing, if you get caught, like this is, you know, the A choke point is really small. Like if you spam bullets down there whilst they're coming in, you will get a kill.
No one should be fighting us. But yeah, I think they need to deal with those longer angles first. Take things slower. Maybe, you know, try to get some control over towards heaven so they can come out from heaven, and that makes it much harder to peek out from elbow or screens when there's that second way into the site for EG.
A lot of Coach Jovi's job here has to be mental. EG talked about their game versus SMG. A lot of the issues just being mental, not playing like themselves. Players losing a few rounds to a comp like that and just starting to fall to bits. They need to avoid that today when elimination is on the line.
100%. I think when you were looking at their game versus Team SMG, they were just faltering in the gunplay. Right now, I'm not seeing that, right? We've had a couple of good entries from Nora, good shots at the end of rounds. They've just been getting destroyed by one site anchor. It is a concept, it is an approach issue
Okay,
for
so
EG right now, just 5 rounds in. And with pistols,
it's gonna be a
they're gonna look to
save
solve that
for EG.
11-3 start here for Daiki, the 19-year-old IGL. And she still performs like this in pretty much every game you watch from Team Liquid.
Couldn't ask for a better leader from Team Liquid, rebuilding the roster around her and
With the wall
Bastarda.
back across here.
What's the plan from EG though? Because it's been
Any
5
pages
pretty
here, though?
slow paced rounds. Again with the pistol, just hoping they can take some sort of a silly shot up mid to make something happen. But I think Team Liquid have done a really good job of flushing out to make sure there can't be some group play once
So
the
that we've
Viper
used an
orb
Omen
drops
smoke
in.
here, but
There's
with this
always,
comp, that
when
should
that
never
orb is going
really
down the
be
first time, it's gonna
necessary.
be that boom bot and also that Sky Utility over towards A. If it's not Sky Utility, it's Daiki just shooting people in the face.
And you see the confidence for TL. When the coach talks about this team, hey, we're strategically good, but they have shooters as well. And there are rounds like this where they just get let loose. Bastarda's just walking down mid and gonna find a forward angle here against Lori. Fully supported, of course. She's gonna swing for more. Okay,
Yeah, why not?
Bastarda,
That's a bit stupid.
Farm that ultimate. Yeah, you die there. Hey,
That's
just
fine.
as good as a kill. Bastarda's gonna have the ult in the next round. Daiki, who used her ult last round, is just 2 away herself. Like, oh man, Team Liquid absolutely on pace here in that.
Shows the experience for TL, being worried about those little things, prioritizing who gets ult orbs, thinking not just about this anti-eco, but these future rounds too.
30 seconds left.
At least Lori's got a rifle in hand here. And try to do something with that, but Evil Geniuses would be lucky to get a spike plant down at this point in time. 20 seconds, and now the lean is coming in. Daiki's on the way to back up.
Well, you don't give him
Falls
a
in
gun.
heaven, but no one's expecting a second player this quickly.
Flash is great, and Gina on the site will hold things down.
10
Lori,
seconds
no
left.
time to work with in this one. She's picked up a rifle, sure, and any damage would be great, but as she dives into the site, she's not long for this one unless she finds a shot like this. There's no time regardless, and now it becomes a question of keeping that gun,
Get that
which she'll
plant
do,
down.
and gets the ult as well.
Yeah, I mean, she is capped on money. You can still plant the spike after the round technically ends, and it won't cap you at 1,000 bonus credits. Of course, there would have been a fight coming in, so at the end of the day, not so bad for
She
EG.
keeps the gun.
Not too bad indeed. So,
What
this
is my
round gonna be
favorite
important. A lot of
palindrome?
big ults coming into this one that TL
Race
honed on
car.
that anti-eco.
100%. And I want to see a pace change for them. I think doing something over towards B Heaven as well. If they can try to get past this Viper utility early, that is an option for them. They're not quite set up for it. It looks like it may be more of a ramp dive. You can see the position of Thea over in sewers. That's just going to be a paranoia up and potentially a double satchel as well to scale. No satchel. They're going to take their time. Oh god, they're going on site.
But you see the setup for TL. They were ready for the
So
round,
again,
so
the comeback
everyone
for-
is off-site. Has to be used against just that turret instead. So EG 5v5 in the post plant.
Yeah, and they're going to leave 2 players on ramp.
What have we
as
got?
well.
We got
As
Raze
long
ult
as
to retake with.
And power picks out. They're going to be so important at re-wrapping into heaven in the post plant.
Bastarda has a
So
rocket
they
for the
retake ramp.
retake, but you see the proactivity.
Oh, we're
from
pushing
EG.
CT.
They'll take space towards spawn, but what's the reaction from Team Liquid? The fight focuses on main. Rocket up and over the top, connection onto one. Bastarda's
Oh!
still alive, and where's Starbound gone in that? Lost in the chaos, and now diving into the site. They have a great position in this one, and you see EG again pushing for space towards
Oh,
spawn.
Sky Shark
Paranoia is
deep.
not in time to save Bizarre, so it all comes down to Jujina, and she's gone. That's one side dealt with. Here comes the other.
Nice from
War
EG.
is
Nice
won by EG as
proactivity.
well.
Great post
As I
by
said,
there from
5v5
EG.
retakes,
Just abandoned site entirely.
even when you're against a
Entirely
Razor.
played 3 screens, 2 on ramp, and even with that Razor coming in,
kinda
at
tough.
best, it's a 1-for-1 trade. EG, if you can get those forward positions on A, it's going to look very, very good for them.
Love the change of pace there from EG, but without those power ultimates available again, they're going to have to slow this
Confirm
one
or deny,
down.
Cypher is currently the most overrated agent in the game. The most overrated agent in the game. No, the most overrated agent in the game is Omen.
Defense split that we saw way back
Or
at
Jet.
the start of the tournament. It makes these burst plays much harder, but over on B, I think that may be an area EG can test. Team Liquid looking to fight here. The first round, Daiki's been set up in Garage, and they probably look to re-clear that in the next few seconds. I would
Like,
imagine.
Omen's pick rate versus Astra and Harbor is way higher than it should be,
To be able
relatively.
to get this extremity control consistently.
Yeah, they dog out from B main,
And
it gets broken, and now
I've
they're
had my
actually still
personal
taking
thoughts
space.
about
Georgino
Jet.
left, and now 2 players walking up into
And how
heaven.
useful actually is the
That's
dash
Dart and Daiki holding hands
on
there.
defense.
I know they have a lot of stall in position here. Mollies, a nade, all of that can shut down a push, but you see the Sky.
He's finally getting some picks. He's overrated.
I
I just think, like,
now when this dog is hurt in mid.
Omen is,
Never had a position in mid.
especially considering like, if we accept that Viper is the strongest agent in the game, Harbor and Astra I would say have better combo, like combo better with Viper than that. So to have, ooh. So to have like a meta where, you know, we're seeing a ton of Omen, this is an interesting. Oh, don't leave it fully. You gotta stay in it at least a little bit. The Seekers are all coming to B anyway. Oh, I guess this is a bit weird.
The paranoia is great, but Stardust stuck behind the side.
What?
Does enough, but Stardust
Yeah, this was a bit of a messy round by EG.
and the plan is foiled. Last 2 players of EG.
Do you mean synergy?
have no chance
Yes, I
in
do
this
mean
one.
synergy. I think Astra and Harbor have better synergy with Viper.
Liquid is too good. The rotations are coming
That's why I
in
think the Omen.
too quickly. Evil geniuses have to throw this playbook out the window. They need mid control or every round is doomed.
They have not had
What's the
boots
point of
on
that
the
pit?
ground
The
in
point of the
B7
pit is to
or
threaten that
Reds.
you can sneak all the way down here on
this
site. The
Expertly
point, the problem with that is though that you can threaten these kind of things anyway with Viper, just with a wall. like I said, with the wall, if you do the wall to here, like you can threaten to sneak onto the B site anyway, like just with your wall, and do it multiple times. So you don't really need an ult to do that.
To wrap around the corner. So the fighting is happening aggressively on the B site, and then on A, there's heavy stall. Maybe attacking A.
If Viper got nerfed more, would Omen be better? Yeah. Probably.
The game against SMG was
I think
about
again,
clear
we're still in the stage of Valorant where people pick agents because they are
Very
simple.
much been about strategy thus
Like the
far.
easier agents to play will just get picked more if they're, you know, even if the others are like maybe slightly better. It has to be like a lot better for someone to not pick, you know, the easier one.
One satchel was used to make sure no one can actually step through that
Look
cage.
how much space Team Liquid is getting in mid for practically free every round.
And now they're going to know that that mid lurk, I mean, whenever it's an A hit, you always leave your smoke player outside of B, and that's going to be fully contained as well.
They control every avenue except for A on Team Liquid. There is no doubt that this is going to be a hit towards A.
Good news is, Alarm Bot broken in A heaven. No player actually there. Bad news is, Team Liquid usually don't play heaven. They end up stacking the site, and that turret will actually, from site, watch the deep cross. So Team
An
Liquid
interesting
very
nanoswarm they've put
comfortable
back
playing
site.
a little bit more passive. This is what I was talking about, though. Play A
I don't think
early,
they.
burn some
I don't think
utility,
anyone
burn
gets a
some of
ton
that
of value
choke,
from
pull that
Killjoy
intro,
when I
and then
watch it on this map,
reset
to be
into
honest.
mid after you
Like
pull
Les had
no
that
one's
one
actually
insane
playing
game,
from Team Liquid. This is very good
but I think
mid-rounding
that was
from
more
Thea,
just
the new
Les
IGL.
being insane rather than Killjoy.
And Lori will clear all the way towards heaven. Only the
Not a
start
great
hole,
lover
and she
of
is
it on
ahead
this
of the
map.
curve. Scary Shark
I'm interested in Elevate why you think
Satchels
Cypher is
on
so
the
overrated.
inside could change this round.
Yeah, Starbound, though, massive lurk into A heaven. They're going to fall back into them. If
Oh
they
yeah, the
keep
Omen
this
blind
kill
is
in
good,
spawn,
don't get me wrong.
there's a
Oh,
trip
that's a big
in
kill.
their hand. Starbound falls.
That is ridiculous. What an opportunity loss for EG, because look at TL. Everyone's ready for this
Oh,
one.
just as I say Killjoy's not finding value, the turret gets a kill.
10 seconds to get onto this site and look who's there.
Classic
Bizarra
DMV.
this round. If only she can stay alive, and she's just done enough. They on the stick. A 1v3, and the swing is coming. Team Liquid, shut it down again.
Just an execution of a round. Georgina having a great time.
What do I think about official TDM Tonys?
That trip in hand is an
I don't
absolute
have many
That was
thoughts.
the round I wanted to see, almost like minute to minute. That's what I love. But as soon as Nora falls, they're already.
So they go for the kind of what I'll call classic split round, but that was the kill. It's not a bad idea, but
And you would have thought that would be the round
You
where
just
we
can't
saw
die
the
there.
Starbound
Now, I
from
do think that Team Liquid will be better on defense than attack.
helped in droves to upset Shopify
VG
Rebellion.
playing this better than I mean, they've lost their best player to essentially a sub. I know it's technically not a sub, but it basically is a sub because, let's be real, they haven't had that long to practice.
The setup changes from Team Liquid, right? Bazera rotates that turret over into B, a very deep alarm bot because she has the lockdown. It's a full B retake, and for the first time ever, Team Liquid will fight
So
aggressively.
full B
into A.
retake,
EG have 2
Killjoy
players here
lockdown.
to
See,
catch
this
it,
is
but
the
already
kind of
tagged
setup
by
that
Viper.
makes some sense to me.
On B. It's gonna be a retake off the lockdown.
This is
The
something I'm
Vines
going to
will
be
allow that
calling out a lot this year as well for VCT, by the way. I hate playing retake. Oh! I hate playing full 5v5 retake against
But Team Liquid is aware of this one.
when you don't have like a big ult. Now, when you've got a Killjoy lockdown, it's fine.
But
But
it's the same from Isa, who whiffs out
Oh
on
my.
those shots. Now here comes another call, another rotation.
are they
But
coming
remember
to
those
this
bombs?
Killjoy
They were
through
just gonna
spawn?
retake, and now
They're going to run into the alarm
it
bot.
shuts down the site. This is ridiculous. Where are their eyes here? EG is shocked by what they're seeing. Where do they go now?
Yeah, I mean, just an impossible round.
There is no way you ever thought you'd be getting down swarmed there.
The site like she's the attacker.
Ridiculous moments. And it's coming in. 40 seconds, so buy time for
Oh, did we
Team
go now?
rotate. Does EG fight for
On my
space?
end, it says
EG
there's.
can get the spike down, and they can also play CT. They can play back screens. They're all going towards spawn, and we fully flipped the map. Team Liquid are coming
That
through
lockdown's
for
a bit
B main.
early, no?
TL attacking in this round, locked down there, and we have to watch Scary Sharp. The only player with a rifle in this post plant, and it's
Planet for Heaven.
For Heaven. This reposition is great.
And this Viper wall to actually know the Viper's dead. It's not going to help them whatsoever.
No, it won't. But in Heaven, can they find the timing? Can they take down these players? There's still smokes for Jujina, and it's
Oh,
going to be a stick here for
that's
Bizarro.
not good
Only
against
one player
Sheriffs.
has the potential to spam.
Oh, no.
And
Oh,
Thea's on the
they know where the
swing.
sky
Scary
is.
Sharp, where is she? It's all
Nice
Jujina.
play.
She just rips
Good
their
retake by
heads off in
Liquid,
Heaven.
but as soon as the smoke came in, this is the kind of thing again where,
Ludicrous rounds we've
you know,
seen
you have to
here
call
at
out
GCC.
like, hey, Omen's alive. Like, Omen's gonna have a smoke, you know, in this post plant. So you're always in trouble when you've got Sheriffs there trying to take that. Our team's just scared to pick Yoru. Well, I think Yoru just takes work to make work, right? I think if you had a well thought out Yoru and were playing good comps around Yoru, you could just make that your thing and honestly be very difficult to stop because it would just be so different and you're not going to find someone who's doing that. So the potential rewards, I think, of playing Yoru well are pretty big, but I think the potential time it takes to get there is also pretty big, and I think teams, again, teams do what is the simplest for them to implement.
Lori shows her head. That's
Generally.
enough for the leader of TL to find the trade. It evens out 4v4.
What have EG lost? All right, they still have Paranoia. They only have one satchel to get into sight, and Starbound, well, they have pushed up into A main. No fight, no space taken towards Heaven. Daiki now sending a dog to re-clear ramps.
Thing is with Yoru as well, like, you can't just put him into a comp. You have to build the comp around Yoru somewhat. Like, if you're playing Yoru, you probably want to be playing, like,
The bird confirms that there's still players present in A main. But no one can come
I would say, like, Harbor Viper,
This Killjoy setup could be critical.
Yeah, and Daiki always goes
Sky.
back to take the long fight. EG have adapted though. It's about Heaven control
depending on the
first
map,
before the
you know,
site hit.
whatever else. Like, no Sentinel stuff on some maps, maybe. Maybe on a map like Split, right? Let's say we're playing Yoru on Split for whatever reason.
We'll get the first
You know, like Harbor Viper, Yoru, Sky,
the second satchel, and Bazera's just taking the fight.
like a Breach or
From Bizarro,
Fade or
but
whatever.
Here's the time for Daiki to step up, but she's shut down. Thea just ahead of that
Okay,
one. And now
3v3?
Bizarro's alone in this
Ooh.
site, and she's wounded. 1 HP is not enough to get it done. It'll be a postman for EG. But yeah, look at that.
Have to win this
She's
EG.
looked all the way back.
That's nice, though.
Around it. Might have just found the moment.
Okay, they
They're
will
in the
win this.
perfect position.
Georgina, you know exactly where you are. What can you give us here? Smokes to creep on out. 3 players spamming away the tripwire. It's not going to happen. Evil Geniuses on the board.
Somehow, EG still have a salvageable half here on Split.
I mean, I think I'm seeing the building blocks come together, right? Instead of just busting it out onto site, they go up into Heaven, and they've realized that Daiki always repositions out of Heaven into that screen's angle. So EG, that's why 2 rounds in a row now, they've kept going for these spawn pushes. That's where they're catching Team Liquid. It's a little bit.
So this does look like it'll be a close game.
Try and get them 5. On attack, they can be very content with.
But off these round wins, EG is yet to ever
We
build
got Seekers.
momentum.
Got a Viper's Pit. Are they going to use it A? Are they going to use a good Viper's Pit on defense? I heard that was not possible. Don't know why we got a turret still back here. Just come and put it in the pit and help your Viper.
And Bastarda has to concede the space.
Yeah, okay, now Evil Geniuses
See, I don't understand this orb with the wall. Why not just put your orb slightly further back?
But then what do
You
you
don't
do?
want to
It's
just
an
put it here if
aggressive
you're going to
Viper
do it.
wall
But
for
also,
mid, a new
don't use
kill
the
choice
orb
out of
there.
a
Use the
couple
orb here
walls
and put your
in
wall
vents
like this,
and
as I
the
said.
pit in main. Whew.
They have Seekers. That's an option to get through that pit, but even that's a risk. What side do you choose? Has to start in mid. They'll Seekers now, so it has to be a committal towards B.
Oh.
But look at the setup. 3 players holding from Team Liquid, and they actually want to push space towards B main. Now
Wow.
they set up a bunch of
Going
different
to a B
angles for
split.
TL, and no one is watching Daiki, but it's only one. Bastarda's still alive in main, and she's found herself an enclave.
Main control
Now, the
is so
Cypher
important now
versus
for
Killjoy
Bastarda.
fight in Heaven
She's actually gonna rewrap
should be
into mid,
very
and
big.
That's where Starbound's position is critical.
Oh,
Starbound is in the
Starbound has
middle
a
of
big
3
job this
players.
round.
How much can they get done? Bastarda low on HP and
It's a big
not
first
ready
kill.
for Starbound's angle. Now there's so many
And that's the one you know is in main. So now this makes it should be a lot easier for the players on site.
It's planted in the open for them.
A 2v2 on site, but that will not last long. Starbound is arriving, and the
Another
teleport
repo.
gets the
Oh,
Omen
the
back to
it's
main.
the spike's on the wrong side of the
Site,
wall
they
though.
fall, it's not a matter, but Power Pixel will get one before they go down, and Bizarra has so much to worry about. A Cypher cam broken.
Oh, it's not a
Needs half
perfect
of
plan.
the spike her turret to be that first point of contact. She's just trying to hold, but that is not going to happen. Evil Geniuses claim 5.
Okay,
now.
EG 7-5. We got a game.
On the fly, something we didn't see versus Team
Winnable?
SMG, and it's close.
I think
Coming in at
this will
the
be
end
a
of the half.
best of
Starbound
3.
having a
I
breakout
think each
first
team
half
will
here.
win a map.
Absolutely excellent recovery in that half from Evil Geniuses. Seeing, I think, some great individual decision-making in this one, especially from Starbound with that reposition.
And solid post plants, yeah, exactly. The Omen ult to join them in main too, right on the money for EG.
Beautiful stuff from EG in the second half awaiting us after we hear from the analyst desk.
Will we hear from the analyst desk?
Thank you very much, Mimi and now, we weren't quite sure what we're going to get in the Agents leg going into this map. There was a difference, you know, the KJ for the Cypher. I wanted to ask you guys
Best
about
retake
that
comp?
change, you know, especially looking towards these two players, because Sapphire,
probably like
Starbound had a great
Raze,
first half. The Cypher,
Breach.
you can see why they went with that pick.
Yeah, definitely. It's a pick
no, it
that
depends on
Starbound
what
has
map, but let's
been
just say
great on
Raze,
historically,
Breach,
getting a lot
Astra.
of like mid control, and then you've noticed their positioning too. When they get that post plant, they're always in a position to be like able to catch that flank, and that's because with that Cypher utility, they're always like on the hunt for information.
Fade.
Yeah, I'm a really bit worried with the attacking side Killjoy, because you
Killjoy?
can't really get too many info. You can deny info as well,
Phoenix?
which Cypher can. You can throw the cages. You
Yeah,
can
Harbor maybe.
set up a camera. No. who's
Basically,
playing A,
if
who's
you want a
playing
good
B,
retake comp, you want like
Provider
big
came with stuff,
ults,
and Killjoy
right?
is
So you want
only
like
about the
site-wide
movement.
ults. Because that's going to be good.
So
You want
obviously, as
agents
you
that are
go
good at
into the
clearing
second
tight
half, like,
spaces.
It's going to be a little concerning for TL. Well, we look
So,
at
you know,
that
your
agents, like,
raises
there's gonna be
and
a
stuff
lot
like that.
of pressure on Bizarra here to make
Oh,
a
yeah, KO
difference
maybe?
with that Killjoy.
I mean, we've spoken about it already, right? Bizarra, a player
And obviously
that I know
you
you're a really
want
big fan of,
flashes.
that didn't necessarily show her full potential
You
the
want-
first time around. How
you
tough
want
is it
explosion.
going to be for her on the attack side here?
Yeah, I don't really see the point apart from comfort picking Killjoy instead of Cypher, mainly in this patch right now, which Cypher is really strong. So yeah, probably she can do way better.
Yeah, well, let's see if she can indeed.
Is the best
extend this
retake comp the
back
best
to
exit
enter
comp?
maybe
No,
the second half.
because they're different, right? Like
7-5 here, 14.
this is why retaking without big ults is not a good idea. Because retaking a 5v5 is like trying to take a stacked site. That's essentially what you're doing, right? Like if you're in a 5v5 retake, you are trying to attack. Like if you would say, hey, do you want to attack a stacked site? You'd be like, no, why would I ever do that? Well, that's what a 5v5 retake is
And these
essentially.
players on B, they are going to get pinched. 2 from main, 2 from on high.
The best
How much
exit
can
comp
Scary
is the one
do?
that can just
She's caught off completely in the open.
combo
and
utility
taken down, leaving Thea in
fast.
a very strange position. Hunkered down inside her very own smoke, trying to find the gap. That's a
Oh,
flash
nice try.
catch
So
Bizarra.
they're
Now
using
the
this
dive's
Viper
coming
wall
in.
like later on
Might
in the
try
round
and flank
again.
retake, but it might have been too soon. It's a 2v2.
You couldn't write it better. Daiki Jojina, the last two players alive for TL. Power Pixel and Starbound on the opposite side, but those two players are isolated for EG. Team Liquid right next to each other.
You lose the game. It's an FPS
Phenomic
game.
with the performance, thank you.
Get Eugenia forward, but the spam is good. Onto Daiki.
Well, this will be a big way of doing it if you can win a 1v2.
Starbound, and it has to be
Perhaps you
perfection.
need to win a 1v2.
51 HP to work with. She's ready
Oh!
on the angle, but it's only one shot found.
Nice drive, that's a big win for EG.
A critical pistol.
Can I read the last message?
Spooky
KO
for a
Breach
second
Neil.
there with Daiki, how she's been
What did you mean,
shooting
your
always
last
getting
message?
one more than she should. Yeah, Evil Geniuses close out nicely there. They're able to regroup.
And if you
together.
meant your last
A little
message,
bit
then no.
spooky when they're separated, but that smoke almost allowed them to fall out from heaven, get together, and I mean that spam.
By
was
which blends
ridiculous.
best with Yoru? Omen, Astra, or Harbor on split? Explain reasons why. I mean, I just think that Harbor goes very well with Yoru anyway, because one, you just have more smokes, right? Harbor is like all smokes. So I just think Harbor Yoru is good. You can also get, like, if you're Yoru TP, like, you know, Yoru TPs sometimes with where they land can be a bit awkward. Right, they could like, you know, it's very easy to like get onto the front of this, let's say on split, right? But with Harbor, with your walls, you can maybe get creative, and you know, you could do a wall like this. Your Yoru TP's in here, then you flash through. Like, you know, you can have him be safe. Also, I think that the Cove with a Yoru TP is very good, right? Because you can't like shoot at the Cove all you want. You know, you're in trouble. If you see a Cove and you hear a Yoru TP come from inside it, you're in trouble. Because you can't just shoot it. Because if you shoot it, you give away your position and they're not going to die. And they're just going to flash through it and kill you. So I think Harbor is the best combo with Yoru, personally, on any map. Just because I think the Cove suit goes with the Gatecrash really well.
Means EG will have a very strong hold.
I love this freeze call from Team Liquid. You take a Heaven and then don't
I also,
do anything.
for me then it would probably be Astra next.
They're going B Heaven. They're paralyzed right now.
Because to me, like, Yoru is a high range agent, as in like, he can go, you know, all the way across the map if need be. Astra can place smokes all the way across the map, and like, but also place all of her utility to help a Yoru all the way across the map. Right, so no matter how far the Yoru goes away, Astra can always help. You could also somewhat mimic the kind of Harbor Cove ideas with like Astra recall stars. So, you know, when your Yoru first TP's in, you Astra recall, like, you know, as he's going in. And again, give him that bit of protection.
Scary Shark closes.
Yeah, I think Glory just saw.
But then Omen has the advantage of the sound deafening, but I personally don't think that that's... Like it's good, especially with the Yoru ult, it's good, but I think that a team, like, that's what Navi were doing a lot of last year. They were trying to go for, like, the sound ideas with, like, Omen and Fade with Yoru, which isn't a bad idea, but I don't think it's a consistent idea. It's not something that you can pull off consistently. It's basically something you can use when you have a Yoru ult.
The youngster, the new player,
Or a Fade ult, but that's about it. And even when you have a Fade ult, it doesn't really guarantee that you're not going to just TP right in front of someone.
Championships before. It's going to be really important.
Not just close. One map away 3 different times. Reverse swept in the finals last year.
And going out in the first round after
Which
that,
role has the most impact on the game? I mean,
definitely that chip on her shoulder.
overall, like, average-wise, I would say right now, like, you right now you need a good Sky. You need a Sky who understands when to use their utility and how.
But again, Neil,
Right
they're
now,
very
I would
good
say.
at kind of surging to take a little bit of space and then freezing in the mid round.
I do love the way they call. It's interesting hearing Palestra talk about the changes they made to this team coming into this year and wanting it to be much more of individual agency, right? Playing less, you know, necessarily by the book and really unlocking their players to make.
But it
decisions,
changes from meta
especially
to
comes
meta
down
in
to the
terms of,
leadership
like,
Daiki and Georgina.
Last
you know,
year
what's
was
important.
Daiki's first real shot as a leader. Now she's the veteran.
See, again, they love to do this with Daiki, just have to, like, her on her own. I mean, it works for this kind of stuff.
This just a little bit that no one's ready, but actually it's enough for a paranoia.
See, when I say you don't need to Aztec people to run a fake, you see what I mean? Like, literally, like, we sent in, what, 1 smoke and a Sky Flash? And it's like, that's gonna hold 3 people there.
And EG very late
You put in a smoke and a Sky Flash, and 3 people will, be there.
Elbow, nice shot.
You know, it's I will be there no matter what, as the thing goes. Now 4v3, this should be fairly impossible.
Yeah, Daiki's gonna be so late to this in main, but when she shows up, she's just gonna chew EG up.
Another Molly in, and EG are completely stalled out on this.
Who wins the Valorant World Cup? Well, I assume, like, if you're actually, if a Valorant World Cup ever did happen, there would have to be rules about, like, you know, DRX can't just play together, because they would win. Like, obviously, like, DRX would win if they just played together.
Love it. It's funny too, because like Team
Right.
Liquid have been in this situation so many times before.
So there'd have to be rules about, like, you could only have maybe, like, 3 players from one team.
All of that top tier competition in stage 3. They were literally in
If we say stuff like that, then
a lot of the same
I would
fans
say that
coming back
Russia
to
would
support
be
their
the
favorite team.
favorite. Just get the old Gambit back together. They can just run their old strength.
No. I'd say maybe none,
It's
if
a
I would
shocker.
estimate. Yeah, wouldn't expect that. First rifle round of the
Turkey
second
would be
half here.
decent. I did cast around
First look
yesterday,
at
yeah.
how EG want to craft this defense, how that Cypher is going to play.
Yeah. It is a very similar setup in terms of, you know, last side we had the Killjoy on A, now it's going to be the Cypher. Playing for kill traps, you have those own little rat smokes on site. But Team Liquid cares so much about mid control. That's how you invalidate the Cypher trips, is you just wrap out from heaven into elbow around the Cypher. It becomes really annoying when players aren't just simply running out through main into you.
I mean, what would the Russia team be?
And I think
Chronicle,
difference in how these two teams play mid on
Trex,
the defense. Power Pixel doesn't use any molly.
something.
Full gives that space, and I mean, just 30 seconds into the round, TL have so many options in their mid round.
Yeah. Honestly, I think
Nats,
the way Team
obviously.
Liquid Wings attack is much stronger than Evil Geniuses right off the rip for that
Who's
mid
the
control.
fifth?
Now they can pinch
Zagetsu.
into Heaven
Or
because they have
Shao.
that Vents position, so Bastardo
For,
will
I mean, you got a squad right there.
pressure on
I
Starbound.
mean,
They're
I didn't even
always
say
so
Shao.
Yeah. And I mean,
Like, that's a
you see
pretty good
Ori just
team.
falling all the way back. The smoke actually allows her to cross, but Starbound's still isolated.
Oh, wow. Nice play,
Beautiful
Liquid.
work by Bastardo on the
Who's
entry.
IGLing?
35
Oh, we got Cloud as well. Yeah, that's a good team
How
to
can they
pick
make this
from.
one happen? 'Cause don't forget Bazera playing
Who's
the
IGLing?
market. She's
Doesn't
so late
matter.
through mid, and she can shoot Faye in the side of the head.
Does she find the timing? When does she activate this lurk?
Here it comes.
It's perfect. Faye looks away. Bazera takes her down. 5v3 now. Can EG even go for
No,
this?
it's a save.
No,
China would be
250,
decent. I mean,
0.
again, we're saying that you can't just have all of
It's the
EDG.
punishment for going for heavy armor here as well. EG, big heavy armor team, full 50. That's an extra
But yeah, that'd be
600
pretty
creds on
good.
every player they had to spend there.
For
so
the
you
US,
better
you've got, like,
save those
who would be
rifles,
on the
but it
US
also means
team?
You're not farming up ultimate orbs. Yes, you carry over the rifle, but you're not able
That's
to
actually a
build
good
anything
question.
into
Who would
future
make the
rounds, whereas
US
Team Liquid, they're getting a couple of
team
kills,
do
they're
that?
getting ult orbs, and now while they're dying too, they're still continuing to farm up. These kills will equalize a little bit in terms of that ultimate trade, but Bazera, Georgina, very close already.
I like how you say
We'll
tens,
chill
and tens
out.
isn't even from the
Give
US.
away any more guns in this round. I think for EG,
And
answers have to
FNS
come
and
to this
some,
mid
also FNS,
because
not from the
TL
US.
has been just waltzing into that space every round.
Yeah, and I don't think it's necessarily super difficult. I think usually you'll see teams drop the Viper orb there, use mollies when that orb is about to drop, or maybe even a raised boom box.
Yeah,
That
Zekan
gives you
would
almost
definitely
2
be on it.
cycles of gas where players can't blitz through it.
Zekan,
Of course, then
Crashies,
Team Liquid always have options to switch and pick up the pace in another
Ethan.
area of the map, but mid is going to be the solution. for
Zekan,
the problem
Crashies,
they got to solve.
Ethan,
Yeah, and that will be the discussion.
Boostio maybe,
Their timeout.
Demon One,
Another opportunity, of course, is given
Com
for
maybe.
Team Liquid to talk to their coach. They have a really big coaching staff, at least 3 people helping them out. And Palestra as a head coach, when you watch their content, their videos, which are excellent, by the way, you should definitely check
Yay?
them out.
Are we
They have
still on
English
Yay?
subtitles as well. You hear how much the whole team believes in his idea, believes in the hype. When he's making a speech, everyone's invested on TL.
The mindset of Team Liquid is sacrifice everything for the goal. Dedicate yourself, dedicate your life to winning the trophy. Don't complain about working long hours. Don't complain about not being able to go out every night. Work, 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 and take it to the finish line. The fact that they are in the lower bracket to begin with, heart-wrenching for them. They're gonna
Chile
fight
team is
all the
stacked.
way
Who's
back
from
to the
Chile?
top here for a title.
King,
And they'll need that if they want to continue the dynasty they built domestically here on the
Shy.
international stage at home.
who else is from Chile? Where's
This
Kesnet
round
from?
might not be the hardest for them. EG only have the
Oh, Kesnet's
3
from
rifles
Chile?
they carried over from the previous.
Mazino, Shy, Melson.
Setup changes
Yeah, that's
a
a
little
pretty
bit
good
too.
team.
A deeper trip for Starbound to play, a little bit more off-site, so looking to spam away from screens instead of getting dove on, because the coordination between Bastarda and Daiki, as you'd imagine, perfect on their entries from heaven. On
Okay,
that side.
9-7.
Second longest standing duo
Still kind of a
this
close
tournament
game.
after Mel and Alexis.
EG with a
Look,
weird
try to
buy
play
where they
here
got
from
3
EG.
rifles,
4
2
members posted in mid.
classics.
How do
and
we
2
solve
pistols.
mid? Put everyone in mid. Oh, okay, thanks, coach. It's as simple as that. Full retake setup on B, although they have options to play paint shells.
See,
something like
this
and
again is
also
like
by
little
committing
things that I would
smokes
say
too,
like
they can really
we got this
keep
kind of
Smokes
like
from
almost
going
like
down here.
trap
I mean, I think
lash
TL was
swing
expecting
setup,
aggression.
but why is
How
a
aggressive they start
swinger
to
here as a classic?
They're popping that so early. No one's up, so all that util is
And also
used for naught.
use your Cypher counter
It's
for
to make
this.
sure that you can't, because the Omen Smoke is not as
dangerous as that Viper
just
smoke.
walk straight through if you have a
Exactly.
flash.
You can walk
Yeah,
through. So when the
Fancy
dog comes
Knight
out,
dunked the
you need
rest.
to commit into that one. Although now it will be the Team Liquid reset into A, and I love the read from Evil Geniuses. Look at this. After 4 players committed in mid, and they show all that utility. That's what it was. They waste the utility, quote unquote, but it's
Yeah,
still
Brazil
converted to a
obviously would
late
be
A
pretty
stack,
good.
and EG
They wouldn't have the
sure
God man himself, Sadek,
It's a
though.
great call. But is it enough to win a round? Starbound on this
But
long
put
angle
3
just
clones
crank
of
off
me
their
with
trips. That's not
less
the
than
priority to
Aspas, and
hold.
we'd win a couple
Instead,
games.
EG are focused on Heaven. That'll allow them to flood back into this site after
Gotta get back
Starbound
onto
does
site, I think,
damage.
with the cage.
But
Oh
are
no,
gonna
they
get
got a
it?
kill. Now you're chilling.
Rory instead, spamming
Oh,
Heaven.
now
Those
you're big
trips
chilling.
are
Cypher.
perfect
Where's
by
Elevated in the
by
chat?
EG. And 'cause of those
Something
Cypher
about
bats,
Cypher being
they're all
overrated?
still up. Getting into this site is impossible for TL unless
player standing.
he's aligned something like that up. Surely not 1v5. There's 10 seconds. There's no world.
Oh, Cypher's no good?
Beautiful call, beautiful hold. EG are back.
Lori got 2 kills off the same tripwire there. That's ridiculous.
And the same drips, I mean, just tagging everyone repeatedly.
But that is a picture-perfect timeout call. 4 stacking
The UK
in,
would
solve
not
that
be a good
problem.
team.
We show the utility. That's okay off of the Skydog, and then lean into an A finish. It's so often on this map is the A finish. Gorgeous decision-making from EG.
Just like that.
Simple.
The,
Now, do they have
The
another
UK team would have too much infighting.
Mid.
They would just
Bro,
constantly
this
be
time
artists saying,
again,
"Put me on
Team
jet, bro."
Liquid and EG, they're back to that default.
Poster,
You're
bro.
wrong, they're playing mid. I was about to be
Bro,
offended.
poster,
I
bro.
like it.
We'll
I like
see how
it.
it is.
Yeah, look, Team Liquid scuffed money, but Seekers and Rocket
Stop telling me
give
what to
them
do, bro.
options, especially with how light B is at the moment. If they are able to contact in after this one way and not reveal themselves, no rotations from B Heaven are going to come in quickly enough for those paint shells to be active immediately. They could dive out onto Thea and just have a plant potential for free.
Here comes the rocket. Thea in trouble. She is blinded. No shot at getting anything
Oh,
done.
nice
And look
exit.
at Bastarda go.
I don't know if he even got in
Watch
last
her.
night.
She's running on the other side. The lurk of Isa taking down Scary Shark. Where are you looking? There's someone straight in front of you, but she adjusts in time, pulls out the rifle, and takes
3v3,
down.
this is a weird round. We still got a judge here.
Seekers available for Daiki. 3 players left. That gives you perfect info, and they get the wide plant for main. Bazera 1 off of lockdown as well.
Flash out from Heaven here already. EG diving
Yo,
back in.
Seekers?
Scary Shark, the tip of the spear.
Maybe?
But
You
like
gotta
I
know
said,
where they
Mid
are,
Teal
anyway.
have another dog. They have more utility to stall on out. Judge for Power Pixel. They're gonna hold this one down as Scary Shark has to flag 1 kill. It's gotten halfway to Jujina! The spray transfer!
Again, Team Liquid, big win.
How many rounds?
They didn't show us out where they got. They were
She
at
has
more than
just
half, I
dug
think.
up ridiculous rounds, time after time. And cool as ice,
Not a reaction on her face.
calm as ever.
And not a button to seat here in the arena.
An absolute prodigy. If you didn't know, Jujina, her mid-round calling decision-making mechanics, it was all founded on being a professional player in Dota 2 before this transitions over to Valorant.
There you
Picks
go.
up a
There's one
gun,
for Elevated
and
as well.
she's an insane shot on top.
Don't
She
mention
can do it all.
Dota 2.
She can absolutely do it all, and that was perfect. Again, the contact.
Just
they
say
had
a
so
League
much
of Legends
utility available
clone.
in the post plant.
And we're already into the next round. Team Liquid will take B main control. Start to turn their attention towards mid. That's a lot of damage done onto Power Pixel.
Poison's off.
Yes, Dota does
One
predate. It
rifle
was a
on
joke
this B site
about
right now.
don't
It's
mention
Nora.
non-Riot games.
One off Rocket could definitely manage to convert. Nora's had some big rounds for the team so far.
Careful.
Team Liquid, it looked like they want to go for yet another delayed hit into B, this time aided by the lockdown. And maybe a bit of a split too. You still got Daiki and Isa
I've
in
got
mid,
your
holding
trail.
hands.
Seekers pops here. Up through mid is the starter will take the site for free, so it's a retake for EG, and they have Seekers as their own to get in. But holding Heaven could be
Oh,
very
Scary Shark
important,
gets a kill.
especially since
Again, we got a
Scary
weird
Shark's
buy
already
here.
Inbound, Rocket popped. I don't think he's gonna find a connection onto anything because Daiki is more the worry. Her position in Heaven has to be dealt with. The Seekers will try, but the flash is good. A Molly in, and she gets nothing.
Oh, Laurie,
double.
massive.
The land demon we expect from last year returning to the stage, now an advantage. 4-2 on Evil Geniuses, and the retake is coming in, but Bazera is dealing with the pressure beautifully. Jujina can't do it again, leaves it all down to 1. 1v2 Bazera. Her position is known, needs to isolate.
Nice
kill, but
swing
EG
together.
holds strong, and they win the retake.
Great play there from Lori and Thea to close that one out. Lori has had a couple of big rounds. for Evil Geniuses, and it looked like, I mean, honestly, the fact that they broke the crossfire setup from Iza and Daiki in Heaven looked impossible. Nora starts it off with that kill. That activates the rocket, of course. Assists in that one, but there you have Lori, you know, spinning around on a dime, 90-degree angle there.
Lori got it. Lori got
Keeping EG in this one.
Nice round.
Think that was nice?
I think so.
Fairly nice.
Pivotal rounds here for both teams. No one has managed to get firm control of this second half. And a lot of what is
Guttural
is Lori. 22 kills right now on the Sky.
Doing all the scouting work over towards A has been
Well,
dominating.
they're going for the
defense
DRX,
as well.
so.
Once again, Team Liquid playing for mid control. Been a couple of rounds since we've seen that, but
Ooh.
up and down the rope, Lori doesn't want to deal with that.
PowerPixel will just hold back with the judge. So again, TL, not even 20 seconds into the round, have mid-control.
Yeah, or they feint it at the very least. They back away. EG may end up using Sky Utility to try and re-clear this. Dog or something like that.
But that's utility they won't have for the retake.
Exactly. Team Liquid's Viper wall this time around, the DRX wall. Much better for trying to, you know, embed short here, and you can keep it up a lot longer because you don't have to invest the Viper Orb as well on ramp. Makes it much harder for defending Sky to scout out this angle. And they're going to go ahead and use that ultimate to scout into B main. Now they know it's going to be A, you'd imagine, from EG.
And you see those rotates coming in. TL have to activate quickly if they want to take this site. Lori, she's on the rope, by the way. Still perfect accuracy, but Daiki's got it too. The Skies are the star in this game thus far. And it's a 4v4.
Okay,
A site
4v4.
being taken. The Cypher trips, not
Starbound.
circumvented, because
Spike down
Starbound is
A.
here. And they have been perfect as an anchor. Now that spike down
30 seconds
in
left.
no man's land, but Bazera has stolen it.
Yeah, Heaven's been lost as well. Team Liquid have to plant safe. Iza wants to take a fight, and now the pit will
That's
go
big.
down.
That's
EG know
massive
where they're
info that
hiding.
they're all
They
here.
gotta go straight into the grinder.
Look at Starbound, they're getting ahead of this pit, but they can't commit for long. Drop out from Heaven for EG. Isa's down. That is the pit out of this round, which
enemy
means
remaining.
it's all on Bizarra yet again.
We
And
got a
she is
game!
unable
10-10! This is
hold
probably
on
gonna
to
be a bit of a
an
save
EG.
as well for Liquid.
Another
EG,
retake.
big win.
PowerPixel and Starbound in those retakes make it happen, but again, I think it's Lori that's finding these opening fights, literally just putting herself in position to take these fights up and down the rope a couple of different times to find that one.
These trips have been killer.
Yes, as soon as Starbound realized that the
Yeah, as
focus
soon as
was
Elevated
to
said that
push
Cypher's
the main
overrated,
side
we've seen a lot of Cypher value.
much deeper trips playing off-site.
Classic Elevate.
Frags off of them.
And remember the changes.
Poor
to Cypher, you can't
predictable
break that as
Elevated.
easily with the Satchel.
Always
It
picks
will work
rough.
multiple times. This is really the meta for a player like Starbound to thrive on Cypher.
Okay, timeout Liquid.
We talked about Palestra's speeches, how he can rally this team back. They're gonna need one of those now because Team Liquid split is starting to slip away from them.
They asking for a little bit of hype, asking for something.
Crowd's not
It's
listening.
mellowed out just a little bit. 10-10 here, but I think you can feel that what we saw early on in both halves, actually.
What's my
Team
favorite
Liquid
Futurama
doing those
episode?
early rounds, feeling the momentum a little bit.
Good
Evil
question.
Genius is bouncing back. Their adaptation has been stellar. And that is the difference between the EG we saw today compared to SMG, that match.
That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know the actual names of them, to be
It's gonna
fair.
a
I could
big
describe them.
round here for EG to make sure they can keep
Oh, I
it
do know
clean.
the name of one of them, to be
Hero
fair.
rifle
Luck of
for
the
Team
Fryish
Liquid.
is a
It's on
very
the
good
start.
episode.
She's been excellent thus far.
I think they might be that.
I think usually you come out of a timeout like this with two plans ahead, right? You have the one half-by hero rifle plan, and you've got the big one in the next. You lose them both, EG are on 12. And you're gonna have to worry about a Viper's Pit going down in mid. PowerPixel has the judge, and off of some contact, I would imagine they go into that. Instead, just ratting out inside.
Okay, again they go for this
They just want to save it for the future.
kind of weird mid-trap play with the Cypher camera on the top of it.
Deal with that, but that means A is exceptionally
bit weird.
light, and those trips are just anti-lurk trips. They want to play full retake on A almost.
Yeah, every round it's been kill trips on A thus far. So this is, I think, the first real adaptation.
Chat, did he
we've seen
move?
from EG to their
Ooh,
approach.
Megabyte 1, I'm moving. Ooh.
And the call from EG was don't give them any fights. Play buddy system and play jump peek on B. We're going to make sure we can trade out absolutely everything. Retaking is just fine for Evil Geniuses.
Shishina's gonna paranoia and push into Venser. There's far more players than you'd ever expect holding in this space. Look at the wrap from the other side. That ends Scooby too, but here comes PowerPixel diving in with
Yeah,
the
this was
judge.
not a good call again.
Oh no.
against the
Rifles picked up
like
3
half
players
buy,
alive from Team Liquid. That pinch into mid just ate up EG.
It's all gone wrong.
and then they just didn't have the reaction to what if that trip gets broken though. Like if this trip gets broken, I feel like your better option is actually just saying, okay, well let's push mid.
Dog goes into screens. Will spot
Like
out
as a 4, let's just
North.
push
They
mid.
link up into heaven, but there's 2 players ready to
But
fight
again,
the
that's
ramp.
not a call you really want to do against like, you know, what isn't a full buy.
Because EG's focus is on the site proper, and Bastard Zero Rifle lights up the feed for 1. Scary Shark has so much in front of her. 55 HP, Molly's on the spike.
There's another ready too.
With 2 in heaven, there's a nade as well. This one is undoable. Team Liquid out of their timeout. They win with 1 rifle.
TL's timeouts have been so effective. I mean, remember the last one where they just, you know, blitzed into EG, and now after seeing the adjustment for EG a few rounds ago, 4 stacking into mid, they read that, go for the pinch, and there's 4 there.
Do we not get you rooting for the rest to go lower anymore? I mean, we can always just manually make it lower if you want.
Adaptation
You know, I can always just do this if you want.
has been their key to victory here.
It does hurt your eyes though, doesn't it?
Was so important. That tripwire allows the players in heaven to get so far up.
What's 360 like?
Too much to deal with, even with
That's
a
360.
rifle.
I see. I'm so old. I remember when YouTube videos 360 was the norm, and look at it now.
Their decision this time around, just fight the B main. Ramps control given away again. Team Liquid always seized control over either mid or ramp in the first like 10 to 15 seconds of a round.
And they're so willing to just threaten an embed and leave the space,
Yes.
forcing Lori really to have to clear the entire map back and forth.
And it's annoying too because Lori's now used both her flashes in the first 20 seconds, and there's a Cypher cam into Haven, and Seekers in the first 25 seconds. That is a ridiculous investment.
And look at TL. They're practically
We're not doing
still at the
anything,
spawn
by the way.
barriers.
Your info is just silly, useless, pointless. It doesn't matter because we have a full
I love a
minute
slow
reset
round
into
against the
whatever we want,
Skyle.
and we still have the threat of a lurk. Now the dog is used as well.
Slow or fast against Skylds.
EG. Now
Either hit
learns
with
the
20
more
seconds left
of
or go off the
information.
rip.
They have no idea where TL could be finishing, but that jump peek shows presence.
Then they
in
don't
B.
really get.
One
Well,
off
I mean,
the
they
ult
could still get
for
value from it if you
Bastarda.
go fast, but.
And she'll be the entry into this one.
Cool.
Spam coming through. Thea. It's away from it for now. And
Look
TL
at that.
just
Now you're in
waiting
massive
for the
trouble.
lurk. And
That is
Dicey
just solo
pounces.
walking up mid. She's doing it all on the sky. Another one for the IGL Team Liquid.
So again, it just feels like sometimes EG they're like
It is all gone.
the protocol of like
flash to try and
how
make
to
this
figure
retake
stuff
happen.
out just isn't there. I mean, they just didn't like you've just got a Viper sitting in here with a judge,
in hand. Dicey
and our
playing
Sky
up
is just
on
able
this
to
high
walk up
close
all the
angle.
way up here
So much stall as
and
well.
get a kill.
Viper Orb put in a flash ahead of it. It feels like EG are forced to save.
How to not play against the Skyle? Well, Skyle finds value when you just go at like a normal pace, because people often Skyle with a minute to go in pro games. So if like you're grouping up to do your hit with a minute to go, you just give them the info like, hey,
Stolen it away.
yeah, we're going A.
Make no
You guys can
mistake.
rotate to A, no problem.
Very tight game between the #1 reps of NA and Brazil. PowerPixel does
This is the lower
upgrade
bracket,
from
yeah.
that judge with the kill into a rifle. A much better save going into the next round. 1800 on start round means
Percentage
at
chance
least 4
EG bring
rifles
it back.
comfortably
How's
for
their
Evil
money? They got
Geniuses.
3 rifles.
Backs against the wall now.
Not a
Probably
reaction from Dicey after a round like
20?
that. TL, we talked about that.
And overtime's a 50-50, so they got about a 10%
this year
chance to
after
win,
they
I would say.
revamped their roster, found 3 brand new players from the Brazilian scene, and have brought them to a level that is really unbelievable in that amount of time.
Was fully ascended. Wanted to feel like they were starting from scratch, right? By swapping out those 3.
It still feels like they're continuing the legacy of TL last
And
year.
yeah, I agree. I
Confident
agree
in
with that
tournament.
comment
They
there.
want
That
more
like,
here.
if
It would
you've got a
have to be lower
Viper
bracket
judge,
run.
it should be on this side,
And for EG,
right?
their fixation is
And they
on
had this
one
Viper split last
side.
round anyway.
She is ridiculous, the rocket as well. Won't find
that
the
was
connection. It's a stinger from range instead. Bizana takes her down.
Look at
And the
Heaven, look at Heaven.
lockdown in the
Jojina. Jojina coming in, gets another one, and looks for the final starbound against 3.
And the lockdown in their face. Team Liquid in control of this one. The dog will clear them out. And TL will reposition the perfect setup to end this map. Molly at Starbound's feet. A player around the corner, but he's in excellent double swing
Well,
from Team
there you
Liquid.
go.
They take map number 1.
Big win for Liquid.
This might be the start of their lower bracket run. If they can clinch this series, if they can keep it going, they can appease these fans in Sao Paulo.
They've just gotta keep pushing. They're gonna push to the next map after this break.
Anyway, what I was I almost closed it. I didn't want to. This was my most recent thought. What's a good map? Sure, we'll do Bind. Right, so phase number 1 of this plan is, you know how Viper just like makes this not a choke point with this? You know how that's a thing? What if you could also do that with Harbor? And then just play no duelist? Like, what if you did Harbor walls? Maybe from like, I don't even know. Let's say like, if you get into this corner. What if you Harbor wall just like across the site like that? From like here. Or even you could do one from, you know, down here and like curve something across. And then you've got the cascades to be like your smokes. So you cascade like this. Or your other option is you cove like this, right? And so again, they can't spam the choke point because we've got a cove there, kind of like Paper Rex do. So maybe we don't need a duelist to go like super deep onto the site because we've got the cove and we can just, you know, kind of spread out from there, like cascade out of it. So you cove, you cascade forward, you know, run behind it, in we go. This was my most recent thought. Just play Harbor Viper, don't play a duelist. And just come up with things like that. If you want to exec a site, you just do this as your way of avoiding getting spammed in a choke point. And then you can, with the rest of the comp, you can just play, you know, Sky, you know, fucking whatever you want, really. Whatever you want. It's up to you. Whatever else you want in the comp, play it. You know, maybe KO, maybe Sova, maybe Fade, maybe whatever. Gecko, don't care. Play whatever the fuck you want. One Viper Molly destroys the cove setup. But then what I was thinking was, yeah, but you can just fake it, right? You can just come up with some really good fakes. Like you could do a cove lineup for all I fucking care. Right? Come and take long. Come back. Cove lineup. Put this up. And you come to A. And you threaten this. You can throw a KO flash like over the top. And just go away. So Viper Molly fill the cove. A Viper this lies. Wait, does it say the Viper Orb is bigger than the cove? The cove is bigger than this, by the way. I don't know why Valorplant lies. I'm pretty sure the cove is the Viper Orb size. I'm fairly certain it is. I'm fairly certain I've tested this out before, and I swear that this is wrong. So yeah, the cove is actually bigger than this. So really, it's like that. How big is a Viper Molly? Smaller. I don't know. Valorplant, fix this shit. It's not the size of an Omen Smoke. It's the size of a Viper Molly. Viper Smoke. Who won? It was Team Liquid who won. I'm just thinking it's a possibility. And you say like, oh yeah, you'll just put a Viper Molly in the cove. But as I said, what if I do a wall? What if I'm walling Like that. Then we flash out in here. And again, you could, I mean, it doesn't have to be that wall exactly, but you know, just some wall, whatever it is. Maybe it's one to even push elbow, who cares? And we just clear out the first part of the site. And then once the wall kind of is dropping or whatever, clear out the second part. I don't know. I'm just thinking it's a possibility. Oh, where's my epic pen? It's still here. I was just using that one because I don't know. I'm just thinking, you know. What's this? Eintracht Frankfurt will join the VCL DAC season. And I've already signed Looker. Good for them. Didn't know Eintracht Frankfurt had his esports division, but that's good. Okay, I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be back in a second.
Sapphire the last time we played, and this time I felt like every time the camera went to Palestra, he was just like slamming his desk, like raising his fist and stuff. It's great.
Yeah, oh, it's great. He was feeling it, and the players too. So much more energy from the team.
Maybe I will be a React Andy.
They're much better positioned today. Those nerves, I think, are being calmed finally.
We'll do that in between the games, I think.
Because I know you said a little bit nervous against G2.
Yeah. I
think Elevate, do you want to come on the call?
Like Bastard and Dike, they were pushing spawn.
But don't
like,
time him out for
money,
60 seconds. Just as I ask him that.
There's like they were, as I said before, holding aggressive angles. So I really like that they were like playing in a different posture than the last game.
Yeah, and speaking of their coach Palestra, he's actually standing
Have
by
all
right
with
now.
the 12 months. Enjoy the new badge. You're just 6 months off a Pingu.
Hey guys, Mika Fabs here, and I'm standing with Palestra, coach of Team Liquid. Palestra, I wanted to
Oh,
ask
look
you,
who got a
Jackie is
Pingu.
having an amazing game. I wanted to shout her out in particular because I wanted to know in what ways she has stepped up over the past couple of days to lead Team Liquid to this kind of success.
Elevate, you've been here for 18 months, Elevate. I'm surprised.
An or a leader in your team, sometimes you need to let your emotions out and try to calm.
Didn't realize it'd been that
you're
long.
nervous or
But there you go.
something like that.
Enjoy
You
your
should stay
Pingu.
calm and be the leader. So I think Dak is doing a nice job in that way. She can keep the team calm. She can give the words what we should do, and the team trusts her. So if she stays calm,
But you're welcome to come on. This feels like the perfect day to do so, to be
for
honest.
every match. So we focus a lot about
Where
that.
I'm just
after
less
the
focused
first
on the game.
We're a little bit nervous, and right now I think we are feeling the event, the space, and playing our game, and it's nice to see the girls.
You're welcome for buying you an order
very
of
much for
chips
your
every
time. We're gonna
month.
see if Team
An
Liquid
order
close
of
this out.
chips? What does that even mean?
Yeah, Mariz, you said to me that even if Team Liquid lose today, you'll be okay with it if they just play like how they usually play. Do you think that, you know, with the way that Daiki played as well, we saw that on Split?
Yeah, I think she plays a big influence in that because like the other players are gonna see them playing like that. She's playing like
Anyway,
that.
I'll be back in a
They're
second.
gonna try to do the same as well. Feel the heat of the moment. And I think Georgina for me was the one, like the rookie one that like really showed that what she was here to play today. Like she was playing, she was holding the angles aggressively. She was like she got I think a 3K and Beheaven was like only headshots. So she was feeling it. You could see. So I really like it.
The clutches were hype as well. The
Yeah.
clutches were great. But like I said, it was close. You know, EG, it kind of felt like Liquid had the read, and then EG had the read, especially around 17, and then Liquid had the read again, and they just kept going back and forth and back and forth. We'll take a look at it because, Heather, this was something that Daiki was trying, but EG just knew exactly how to counter it.
Yeah, there were obviously some good adjustments here from the young IGL Thea, who's just stepped into this role about a month ago. They weren't afraid to take those early fights. Of course, Starbound's utility there are so many nice trip frags that really caused trouble for TL. So while it made the match close, unfortunately it wasn't enough.
Yeah, and I think after that, EG really didn't understand that the Cypher was a problem for Team Liquid. With this new patch, Raze has promised to deal with it. They have to split through Heaven, so it takes a long time. Lori got a kill. I remember one round there because they have to play really slowly towards the Cypher, and they started to respect it. They were starting to go a lot of B, play B. They was winning round and B, and I think EG didn't understand they weren't bold enough to play a more stack towards middle, towards B, or even switch the Cypher to B. I would love to see how it would work out.
Yeah, might have made a difference, right, if they just took a couple more risks,
yeah.
Perhaps. But let's check in with Bastarda right now in the AIM Lab shoot-around as we prep for map 2. And this is interesting because Bastarda, very seasoned duelist player, seasoned Jet player. We're going to move on to Ascent soon, and her opposite number, Sapphire, definitely much less seasoned than her when it comes to the Jet role.
Yeah, as far as we know from Scary Shark, she's picked up Jet in the last 2 to 3 weeks or something. Obviously, this player is just slotting in, and instead of EG changing their entire roster and comp, they decided to put the new player right into a duelist player. So obviously going on to Jet is going to be difficult. It's a very difficult agent to master, and you're going to be going head to head against Bastarda, one of the best Jets in all of Game Changers. That's a tough challenge to take on.
Yeah, it is indeed. We've heard from Palestra already, but let's hear now from the side of EG. Mika Fabs is standing by with Coach Jovi.
I'm here right now with Jovi of EG. I mean, Jovi, it seems like Team Liquid is playing with a different fire right now, even though it was very close at map 1. How do you guys plan to make a comeback with map 2?
I mean, map 1 just came to a few inches, right? But we came to fight, and we're going to come out fighting. And whatever happens, happens, but we're here to play.
Gotta love the fighting words. Best of luck to the team.
Thank you.
I feel like every time we hear from him, it's like really chill, like they're not worried, they're very relaxed, they're like, oh, whatever, map 1. I think last time they were like, it was a scrim. Now it's like, we're gonna fight. Is that how you feel as well, Sapphire? Because if they don't win this, they're going home.
No, I don't feel that way.
Oh, you're not as chill?
I'm worried for them. I'm worried for them. You know, when we look at their history on Ascent, like they've got some okay wins in Series 3, but they did lose twice to the old Shopify, and it's not a map that they play a ton. So I am quite worried for this team.
I think here, like,
okay, we get to watch Ascent. Is everyone happy? Everyone's put their smiley faces on. We get to watch Ascent.
Against the great teams in Brazil, against Legacy.
Let's smile.
They lost. They were not that comfortable. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that was their second ban against G2 as well. So
get elevated on call in the server and play soundboards.
And trying to get something out of there.
Yeah, but also,
can I just do that?
Can
you do that on your own anyway?
You know, of Team Liquid Brazil's Ascent, they win and then they lose, they win and then they lose, they win and then lose. So this, if the script is right, they might not win this one. But we're into the Prime Gaming Agent Select.
What?
Very standard Ascent comp. I do want to ask you though, because you know, Sapphire mentioned Scary Shark 32 not really play Jet a lot. So how important do you think it will be?
Yeah, I mean, Ascent is a really heavy Jet map. It has a lot of influence because in the attacking side, you have to get out with the executes. Like you don't have that much to do. Like in Split, you can fake A, fake B, get mid control. You don't have that much to do in Ascent. You have to everything comes out with the attack in the.
That was some of the sound clips you can use in the TMV Discord.
You're gonna want to stop Bastarda, who's going to be hunting you down.
Yeah, of course. Like I said, just one map away from
what watching
elimination.
Ascent
They
does.
have to win this. I'm going to throw this over to your caster, Mimi and Ender.
First map was won by Team Liquid,
If the
13-10.
game against SMG for Evil Geniuses was them not playing like themselves, none of the individuals showing up. Map 1 against TL, that was
Who was screaming like that? That was me at some point. I don't remember when that was.
They were finally here on the stage in Brazil, and they let it slip away. Losing 2 critical rounds.
God, what a name to say that. Who was screaming back there from Despair Suffers?
Now they've tasted it, and
Jesus.
now is the ultimate
Yay! Original comps. Yay!
on the Jet map, on the up map, it is all up to her and what she can do for him.
Through mid to start for Evil Geniuses. It's going to be a fast split into B. And it's Scary Shark in charge. Dash into the site. Clears everything close and has an opportunity to get an opener onto the site. He finds a shot. Damage onto Issa in the back line. She's low on HP and is overwhelmed.
Good start by EG. Nice round.
It's a great opener. EG's pistols have been very clean so far today. Georgina and Bizarra trying to work downstairs initially, but
What have they got?
there's still a
One
lot
flash?
of gas left in the tank for EG.
Dash for Bastarda. 1 flash on Bizarre. Those are the tools to try and get
All 5 on site, don't mind it on a pistol.
Shijina will smoke one side, try and isolate off these fights, but EG have excellent positioning in this post. A brutal to break crossfire in the back lines and a one-way continuing to stall them on out. EG will just chip away, and you see the confidence showing for Scary
Nice from
Shark.
EG, nice start.
Prime Gaming flawless to start the game.
Couldn't have asked for a better opener than that, can you, for EG? Now, let's again close it. Those round twos have been very, very spooky. And what I need to see from EG is better coordination.
I'll give 20 if we get a sync game this Tony that isn't a boring comp.
And that dive of Nora going on.
I just have to hope SMG play it then. Or EDG.
And Lori were dominating, top fragging.
I have to hope SMG just
20 assists for
don't realize which one's the real one again.
Those flashes were not turning into kills for EG. That has to change now with Power Pixel on the flashes.
Okay, they just stack A, but they just run the exact same round.
And it's the right call. Team Liquid stacked towards A only. One more player here with a frenzy who will promptly be dealt with.
That's just real. I mean, just look at that overwhelming utility they're throwing out that one.
Rounds like this are what you need, though. We didn't even see clean anti-ecos in game one. EG, it was tooth and nail for anything.
Yeah.
And you'd think on Ascent, a map they were always so comfortable with on home. This is really their chance to keep that confidence in the series.
Yeah, I mean, it was 10-10, and they lost versus one hero rifle. Now Power Pixel going nuts here into main for the 3K. That's the clean open. I mean, back-to-back flawless. We'll take it.
Yeah. Astardo will just
Remember
run
the
away.
Neon
It's
Bryn
great to
comp
have
that
those
Fusion
orbs
used to
online
play?
early
I do
towards this
remember
KO
that.
null command. Make sure to build themselves up a bank in this first half.
But Bali, talk about EG and how they have to get into this game, into this tournament, how this is going to end up closing on through. You can't forget the elephant in the room, which is Bastarda. She is out here dropping bombs. She is on fire. When that op gets into her hands, especially on this map of Ascent, it is going to be unreal.
And that's why we have to keep talking about Scary Shark. Remember, she
what
was
if it's
always
Jet?
an initiator player. She never made a main event before this. This is very easily the biggest game that she has ever played on a role she doesn't play.
Hear
on
me
the Jet
out.
map against
What do you think of
Astardo,
this plan?
Who has been on this TL roster playing at the highest level for
You,
eons.
as Jet, you buy
Firmly up against
down
the
to
wall.
400
Nowhere left to
credits
go, no
on
second
pistol.
chance for EG.
Sink or swim for the Shark.
And then if
We'll see
you
what she can do.
lose both times, you get
Committed bonus here
1,900,
for
2,400.
They have a rifle.
That equals
Passive
enough for an
Spectres.
op
They
in
can make
round
something of this
3.
Yeah, I mean, Power Pixel is just
You just
one
buy a
off
naked
of
up
that
round 3.
null command.
They're going to go around the world.
Yeah, go fishing for it, go farming, especially if they get over onto that side. I mean, I'm looking at Iza too. The utility is odd because it's just the one nanoswarm only now placed into main.
What are you saying, Elevated?
The fact that Iza is playing on site means that she is going to have to pop that so quickly. If you see Power Pixel grab that orb, you need to hit that instantly to stop this flood from coming in.
Hello.
Why don't you pick up the phone call? I thought we were friends.
Do you have the null command? Can they stop it though? That spam is
Maybe not.
great out of Daiky, but she's
How's
gonna run
elevated
out of ammo
sound
soon,
first?
and Scary
Hold
Shark
on.
is dashed into the site, fully blinded, opposite blood.
Do a
retake
sound
the
check.
TL. Zero is down. Issa there to trade. That's great work out of the Sentinel, and Issa keeps going. Daiky suppressing.
Testing! 1, 2, 3, 4.
For Team Liquid.
I got excited for a second. Oh, look at that. Starbound gets
I
the
think you
kill.
need to be
and then
higher.
Daiky just did not stop
Maybe that's
holding
a
down
little
left
low.
click.
They're just gonna walk into you. Why not?
That's wild.
Let's just
I
go with
wonder
this.
too if Daiky, a lot of times you'll go for spam early on in the round, but the
How are
way
you?
that EG went for that orb and stuck
Oh,
it,
I'm good.
I wonder
I'm
if she just didn't even
in
show
the middle
that
of an
they had
overtime
the
game
orb
on
to
Haven,
be-
playing Phoenix, running it down with no sound because I'm watching your
And then,
stream.
of course, like, they just keep on
Oh, I
going.
see.
She doesn't stop. Oh.
Well, welcome.
And Bastarda's
Welcome to Team Liquid versus EG round 4 on Ascent.
Oh yeah.
What comp does your team play on Ascent?
My team, we're still trying to figure it out. We were running the Paper X comp, but we traded Reyna for Yoru.
Nice.
And we had a bunch of really cool shit, but it was really hard because our Yoru player was just learning how to play Yoru.
All the way around. Paranoia, double
So
flashes
his
to
like
work with. But EG, once
instincts
they
were not
read
very
that
good,
no one's coming to
even though
respond,
he's
the
like
drone
has
clears
good
out
aim and
everything
stuff.
there. They can
Hmm.
focus their attention, just play off the
But-
alarm bot that's conveniently placed right outside main.
Now we're potentially going to be playing just like standard comp, but trading Breach for KO. And then
That alarm bot
we also
will
might
reveal one way,
play a double duelist
instantly goes up in the
because we're just cooking right now.
I like double duelist.
Is it just a save?
I like
Phoenix Jet.
Oh no! I think hot TMV hot take.
Smoke, throw that down, try to trap some players in there. Good teleport,
I think
actually,
Raze
from
is
Thea to come around on the other side. There's not
good
a lot
on
of
his
time
end.
for EG to get out. And
I think Raze is really good. We were playing Raze for a long time and it was good, but I have a player who's like insane on Jet, and
That's the problem. See, that's the problem with the world right now.
Yeah.
Is everyone's played Jet for so long? It's like, oh yeah, but I'm so good at Jet, so I have to play Jet. Be the change you want to see.
I mean, I tried. I forced this guy to play Yoru for a month, and he was getting better, but he was definitely not very clean on it.
It was really important for that round.
Yeah, how about quadruple
I think
duelist?
in the last round too, there was actually an Odin purchased for EG at the start to try and
I think
counter
on a
spam
set,
towards Daiki. That's why
it
Daiki
could
was
work.
getting a little bit more creative with those angles.
Well, Lotus, we know
the
it can.
setup from there, but now into this round, Killjoy's setup switches over to A. They're fighting.
But yeah, I basically, since we're in the off season for CVAL right now, I was like, just tell me what agent you would want to play. Like, if you just had to play Ascent and there's one agent you wanted to play, what would it be?
I think TL were anticipating the
And
same
most
play
people
rounds
just
1
said
and 2,
the
and
meta
that
agents,
Paranoia
but
was meant to
one person was
blind
like,
all the players
I'd play
behind
Phoenix in
Warren, who's
ranked, and I was
running
like,
up
oh,
by
okay,
herself.
well,
Bastard was
you can
confident
play
in that
Phoenix
fight
then.
and could have
Yeah,
turned it
it's
into
like
a kill. A good opener.
when I used to coach little kids in
Stardust just
football.
rotated
First
back
training
over
session, I always
towards
used
Ace.
to
That's
go,
where the
what positions have you played and where do you want to play?
Right.
And of course, all the kids are like, I want to play up front. I want to play striker. You can put me in striker. But then, like, you know, you watch the kids play and it's like, my friend, you are a defender through and through. Like, you're watching, like, the most aggressive kid who, like, can barely kick the ball but can take someone out. It's like, bro,
Yeah.
you're a defender, my friend.
Yeah, that was me in high school. I played defense. Defense and keeper. Those are my two positions.
Ready to spam for more. Georgina does go down. Power Pixel.
Although I did get to play striker my senior year, and I finally scored a goal for the first time in my life.
Got a lot of bullets, but she doesn't have
You would have
a
been
fight
proud.
somehow.
I'm sure I would have.
Starbound and buys
I scored, I think I scored 3 goals in one game, and those were the only goals I'd ever scored in my entire soccer playing career.
I once scored 4 in a game and my team lost 5-4. So,
Did you flame your teammates?
yeah, somewhat, because it was like my team was against like the other team where like a lot of people from our school played for like one of these two teams, so it was always kind of a big rival game. And we lost 5-4, but then I did score 4, so it was like no one could really speak to me because it's like, yeah, but I scored 4 goals. So I avoided the hazing.
Nobody
but-
can speak to you. You're too cool because you scored all the points.
Yeah, like, you know, no one could give me any shit in school for that game because it's like, well, I scored 4 goals. But we did lose the game.
You hear that, kids? TMV
Play
says
for yourself.
If you're a selfish player, then you can just.
But but this is the thing. Even at the highest levels of Valorant,
You're literally a Reina first locker, aren't you?
But this is the thing about Valorant,
Same
and it's
mentality.
you can apply this to Valorant as well. That even the highest level players, like, you somewhat have to play for yourself though, because people, like, if you're wanting to stay on like a tier 1 team, you know, you've got to put up certain numbers. You can't be bomb fragging every game unless you're like, you know, known as like a godbrain IGL.
Standing ovation in the crowd.
I mean, I guess in the current era of Valorant, like, because we're still judging players off of like VLR stats.
Everyone will look at that VLR number.
Yeah.
That's just become the de facto one now. Everyone just uses the VLR rate, which honestly I'm not even sure how it's really calculated. But
It's so there's an article that I read about it, and a lot of it makes sense. I think it's actually like a reasonably good stat, but it is funny that it's just become like the de facto thing that is even used on broadcasts, and people just don't even know what it means most of the time.
Yeah.
But TLF2 players set up here, they might actually flash through this one way.
Why are talented people not beautiful? Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, my
Daiki
friend.
has the ultimate to play off of, so there's options
Yeah.
once you see players who pop that
Oh,
ulti.
that's nice.
They just get the 2 kills to begin with. It doesn't matter, and they're aggressing on the other side of the map as well.
Like
TL are
this.
taking fights everywhere.
You might not be
TL is a
talented
team
though.
that at the start of every game will not respect you. You have to earn their respect.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we can trust
them
VLR
to start pushing
employees
every
on
extremity.
this channel.
And if you don't, they're just gonna keep doing things like that.
I modded one
Well,
once.
You have sleeper agents in your chat?
No, do you not know the story of the guy that I modded? From VL. So there was a guy who, whenever we did predictions, you know, when I created a group for like predictions of tournaments, there was a guy who was always near the top, if not first, in like every one. And I was like, whoa, this guy is like a genius. You know, he's so good. Like, yeah, sure, you might get it once, but wow, this guy knows everything. He should bet on these. He should legitimately bet on these games because he gets so many on them right. Turns out he works for VL. So I ended up modding him, thinking he was a trustworthy member of the community. It turns out he works for VLR and was just after the fact changing his pick'ems.
It falls apart. So what do you do with that?
What?
I know. What are the chances of that?
Great question.
10 seconds left.
Save your rifles.
How?
Try to, at least.
We found out because someone took a screenshot of his pick'ems like before the games were done, and then did it like took one after like the games had ended,
Not the way you'd expect.
and they were different.
Damage here from EG, but there's plenty of money on the other side. So
Pretty
they're happy to
unbelievable
just
that
keep
you would go to
fighting
those
and
links
getting rid of
just
that
to
I know.
get some internet points in the TMV chat.
I know.
Fantastic done, and yes.
I guess what he was
Sounds
hoping
like
was
something
that,
that Kid in the Shadows would do, honestly.
yeah, I guess at some point he was hoping that like I'd be like, oh, whoever wins the pick'ems, I'll give, you know, $100 worth of Valorant points or whatever, right? I'm sure he was, but I'm just too greedy, I guess, to do that.
Get the unicorn out in force. Gotta love it.
I don't know how the people here in Sao Paulo aren't losing their voices.
But don't you think that is crazy? I mean, it's crazy, like, because people were like suspicious, like, how does this guy? Like, there were some people who were like told me before, like, hey, are you sure this is legit? And I was like, well, I can't prove that it is, but at the same time, like, what's the chances that they work for VLR, you know, and can edit them, or that they're hacking the VLR website? I was like, what? In my mind, I was like, what's the chances that that's gonna happen? And then it was proven to be true.
I would expect to see something
incredible
again for Team Liquid, right? You have the
They had it in their bio, did they? Oh well, I didn't do any work. I didn't go that far. What bio? On like Discord?
There as well.
But TL, we saw in the first map, they're really good at counter-calling in these timeouts, being ready for...
All right, I have a question for you.
They just go something more passive and do like a bit of a mid.
Do you think it's acceptable to
totally happy to just
dislike Liquid just because they have
and that's why like heavy stacking
so
towards
many
market could be an idea.
jerseys
comes
in
online now for Best
the
Artist,
crowd?
so that's an
Am I allowed to root
extra
against them
wrinkle
just
EG
because they're the home
Well,
team?
because you like to see like the
has the
fans in
rifle
the
and
stadium
also
disappointed.
I don't like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so strange.
That's a perfectly
really
fine
don't
reason,
like this.
in my
figured you
opinion.
would've
But
caught that in the timeout.
This is actually just a miserable game because I don't want Evil Geniuses to ever accomplish anything ever again. I mean, no offense to the players, but if the org were to win any games at this event, I would be really mad. But then also Team Liquid.
This might be EG's last ever event though as an esports org.
Yeah, good.
I imagine at that point they do the handoff. We'll see though.
Surely.
I mean, they're what, 9 rounds away from elimination.
Gonna take this fight, Name, I
Yep.
imagine. Just one way held down.
Unlucky, I guess.
Second of her smoke.
I think there is a fun. Well, I think there's a side, both sides to that kind of story. Like, I think it can be fun to see a crowd be silenced, but I also think it can be very fun to see a raucous crowd.
Yeah, that's true. Like the lock-in crowd was
Yeah.
so good.
People who that's one of the Valorant comp subreddit. This is. They have a lot of bad takes, but their worst one might be about like biased crowds.
Biased crowds, yeah. It's like,
oh my god, it annoys me to no end.
Yeah, I think it's just esports fans in general just don't understand like sports culture. I guess they must not, because we had the same thing in Dota where like people were mad that the Chinese crowd was only cheering for Chinese teams in like the first Chinese TI that ever happened. They're like, dude, they've never had the World Championship in 8 or 9 years in their country. They finally do, as one of like the pillars of the entire Dota community. And you're mad that they're cheering for their own teams and booing the other teams.
The booing, I would want to be booed. Like,
Yeah.
how often do you get to get booed in your life? Like, that's like an experience.
But no, Daiki
To be
goes
booed.
that half stick through the ultimate.
Yeah.
I'd live
It
for
really
it.
is.
I'd live for a good
Best
boo.
Arda isn't gonna miss. She shut
Oh yeah,
down
also
Nora
you
first
need to be a
close
Team
that
Liquid fan
round.
because Joe Gina is from Dota.
I don't recognize that name.
It didn't make sense. EG
Well, I'm
also
just saying what they
stumbled
said
in
on
that
broadcast.
Straight back into it though. Scary Shark trying to replicate this fast A pop, but look at the mollies. Again, Scary Shark is alone on this site. Everyone else is far away, but they will eventually ford that river and get a post plant. But TL just flooding here. Everyone is ready to go on their side.
We need like Loud or someone to go on like a 10-game win streak without playing this comp.
I know, seriously.
No in the post for EG. They have to button down the
But even then,
hashes, 'cause on the other side,
I
TL
don't know.
are
Even
working
then, I
the
don't
flank.
think that would change
And it's
it.
one of these classic Daiky pauses in the mid round. They stall out for a moment. Wait for the flank to come to fruition. Paranoia.
I do think that this is maybe the only map that I think Jett is like
still waiting.
Still
Time is ticking away, but
S
Starbound
tier
is
on.
down. Huge kill to find. Now the dart comes in, but Starbound forward the operator dashing every which way.
Oh, we got a team kill with a nade.
But does it matter? He's in a 1v2. Not much.
No way you
not
win
much
this.
opportunity to make this work. Finds one. Needs that other player. And there's just no time left. Surely
No
she can't
time.
get this done. No. EG get away with it.
What do you think of my idea about not playing for retakes unless you have a big ult?
I think it's pretty correct.
I think the decision to go for the flank there just didn't come
I mean,
quickly.
I don't think anybody.
Ended up stalling out, and that was a lot of the duration of their null commands.
I
too.
don't think anybody's
Those
really
players
ever
weren't willing
trying to
scale
play
in
for
until the
retake
main players-
5v5.
That flank double comes in.
No, but well, yes, that's not the plan of like most teams, but you end up in that spot anyway by going for like, oh, let's 4 people fight down mid. You essentially are playing. Somewhat.
Yeah, I mean, I think it kind of depends. Like, if you're facing an incoming breach ult, for example, like you kind of have
Yeah.
to, because playing on site is just absolutely trolling at that point. But
But I'd still say even in that scenario, you play for like not like
You
a
play, like-
full set retake, but like a fast.
yeah, you flood.
Yeah, you
exactly.
flood
It's
as
like
fast.
you wait for the breach ult to happen, and then you immediately
Daiky
fight
gets
back on
to
the site.
end the damage onto Lori, onto Nora, down to 40 HP. Nora, what can you do?
Yeah,
The
like
last two
holding
entries have been
back sight
fantastic.
kind
Now
of,
knives.
you know, retakes are very different to like
And a tag as
full
well on the Hunter's
5v5.
Fury.
Everything's
Everyone's arrived for TL.
settled.
The troops are ready
You
to
know,
go.
like this is a 3v3
Two flashes.
retake.
Paranoia. What comes first? Who can they blind? That is a great Paranoia. Scary Shark in the open
start.
with no chance to live. And Bizarra adjusts
Really nice
for a double.
Paranoia.
Starbound. An impossible
flashing.
position. Has to isolate two fights
Nice.
in with the flashes coming in. They can't win it.
I don't trust Team Liquid attack. I feel like they need
Back immediately.
Team Liquid's
definitely at least
coordination
7,
of their
but
forcing
I might
utility
say 8.
paranoia is the
Did you win your
flashes
Haven
on
game?
both maps has been perfection.
No,
and it's not
we
always
lost.
just when Bastard is diving into the site. Even
What
there,
position
he
did
is
I play?
scaling up
I'm sorry,
on
I'm
the
getting asked a
I died
paranoia.
question.
first.
Everything coming together.
Died first in both the last rounds.
I was a midfielder for most of my football playing career.
Damn, you had that stamina? You a runner? You like running?
No. No, I was not. I was not. I was often paired with someone who would do the running for me, and I was the guy who would just take the ball, you know, knock it about, play nice passes. I was the Andrea Pirlo.
Are you right or left-footed?
I am right-footed, but I have a pretty good left foot.
TL has dealt with this one many times before.
I suppose you have to be as a
I
midfielder.
want to make sure they get these last two
Unless
rounds.
you're a
Great
wing.
dart by Daiky.
Rounds getting funky from EG. They're going all the way into defender spawn to wrap back into A, and these mid players are getting pinched. 2 players still
Ask
left in
Elevated
market.
about
What
streaming
is
a
going
scrim.
on in this, but Bastarda is still in mid. She finds the
Oh yeah, I
the movement
accidentally
is a
streamed
little
scrim the
all
other
over
day.
place.
Did you?
That's the spike.
Yeah. I forgot I was on my Twitch stream setup instead of my YouTube one where I just streamed to an unlisted channel so we can bother you later. And I streamed an entire scrim. And I was like, oh wait a second, where's my, why is my YouTube not working? There's like 3 people in chat that are like, this is weird content. It's just like no camera, mostly just other people talking with occasionally me being like, alright guys, let's do this.
Familiar.
Oh yeah.
7-4. Last map closed out 7-5.
That's amazing.
Matter of 1 round last time. This is important for EG.
If I could live in any Valorant map, where would you live?
No ults for either side. Daiky, if she can get one. In the late rounds.
Pearl, I guess. Is that the right choice? You can't get out, I guess. You're underwater. But it looks nice.
Pearl does look pretty dope. It's a cool looking place. I would live in Icebox though.
A few times in this game. Now they're aware it is Killjoy setup here. Actually, look at that.
No, Breeze is a deserted island,
Very
isn't it?
deep on her so that both she and
That'd be the
Daiky
last
can
place I'd
fall
pick.
back onto site.
I'd pick
Play
Icebox over
between
Breeze.
That dive from Nora.
Split looks a bit dystopian, but Is it just Japan or is it dystopian Japan?
Still toying with the idea of going
I think
through.
it's like not. I think it's just like corporate kingdom, corporate Japan. I don't think there's been any like
Now we're getting to that point in the
nuclear
round where they're gonna set
disasters
up
or
where they
Radiant
potentially
disasters or
players
anything like
stay main,
that.
and
I think
EG
it's
have
just
to make
like
a choice.
just
Do
like
they
the
stick
Kingdom
through
Corp
it, or
home.
do they
or
rotate
something
back
like
into mid? If they go back into mid, that's where they meet. Best start is up, and that's where the round could fall apart completely.
Sunset?
Has
Yeah,
the most
but
houses
Sunset
in
you'd have to live in
Melbourne.
LA though, so.
Yeah. By the way, this year I think you and I need to go to an event at the same time. Do content at an event.
Well, I guess you're coming to Madrid then, because I feel like Shanghai and Seoul are less likely.
Left and right to 1-2 punch from both, and it's a familiar
Yeah, it's
position for
probably
Starbound.
Actually, like Madrid is by far the easiest. I've never been to Madrid.
No man's land. 10
Oh.
seconds left, and well, that's a
Never
beautiful
been to
shot.
Spain.
It won't
You've
be
never
around.
been to Spain?
8-4 in the
No.
lead for TL.
Oh.
It's Team Liquid's house right now. Absolutely feeling it. Almost a carbon copy of that last game. And it was close.
I've only
Don't
been
get me wrong, but
to
these anchors have been so good. Team Liquid
France,
defense is stalwart.
Germany, and Holland in the EU.
Still a respectable
Even
half
I haven't been
for
to
EG. So a chance for
the
them
Netherlands.
in the second half. But following Liquid's loss on day one of this tournament, we spoke with Bastardo
So I'll give you that.
about what went wrong and why you shouldn't count
I'm so much
TL
more cultured than you. It's crazy.
But have you been to Estonia?
I have not been to Estonia. Have you been to Estonia?
I have.
What? Why did you go to Estonia?
I feel sad because I had really high
Um,
expectations. I feel so bad for lose to G2
Because
we lose in communication.
Tallinn
We
looked
was
like a
so
cool
nervous
city.
in game,
I went on a
and we
little
couldn't
traveling trip
conclude the maps.
in
Last year we lost to G2, but this
Northern
year my
Europe.
team I think it's better. So if we face G2 again,
What do you think about the
we
Estonian
will
flag?
back more strong
It's good.
to defeat them.
I think it's a really good one.
I learned that the light blue is because it rains a lot.
Beautiful flash though for 2 insta
Oh,
kills.
really?
Roxy looking
That's
to
what-
clutch
that's
it.
what the
Not
tour
gonna
guy told me.
happen. Bit Sarah with the headhunter.
What's the black represent?
Evangelius
Is
is
that
so
just like
good because
stone
they
and then the
defeat
white
the
is
queens
snow
in
or
NA.
something?
I can't remember what the others was. I just remember.
So I'm so anxious
Just
to
remember the
play
light blue
against
was rain 'cause I
Lori
thought it was
because
funny.
I met her last year in tournament, so will be fun. Sorry to all the fans.
But yeah,
to
Estonia.
the
It was
losing
it was
team,
quite
but we will
quite
come
cool.
back
This Tallinn was quite cool. I can't speak for the rest of it, but Tallinn, nice walled city, ancient walls.
From Team Liquid
No,
Wonder,
Talon is
make
a
2-1
Thai
here,
team.
up 8-4.5.
I mean, I guess technically they're Singaporean based, but
Oh, my Twitch failed.
Staff, especially once the op got online. And now I think we need to reintroduce that challenge to Nora on the opposite side. There were quite a few rounds. The entries were good. You know, even when she didn't go for knives, she took the rifle. It was money.
They have a
But on
McDonald's that
defense,
doesn't have
that
the
is really
golden
a
arch.
must shine for her.
And that means EG need to win this pistol. They need to get that
Hello.
economy built up.
And look who it
To give
is,
Nora
speaking
the
of
opportunity
mods.
to shine, and she absolutely has to deliver. So much pressure.
We got Kretna P with the 19 month.
It's a big one.
How kind of you to be here with your first badge.
yeah, I always forget where a lot of these countries are in Europe. Like in relation to other countries. Sure, if I had to do like a geo test, like naming the countries, I would maybe get like 7 of them.
Looking to just catch any early aggression.
It's just music playing.
For EG. Maybe
A Valorant stream. Let's have a rave.
They can play fast and loose. I feel like usually when they come
You ever been to a rave TMB? Rave culture is pretty big in the UK.
It is, but it's not for me, not my scene.
You until you can prove you're better.
Unlucky, I guess.
Yeah.
I could imagine TMB at a club, fist bumping away. Yeah, 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 yeah.
That's weird though, not seeing
Yeah,
anything
that
in
music is not my
off that deep dart.
not my taste. I don't think it's anyone's taste without drugs, to be honest.
Made a crossfire there. The
Maybe I'm
significance
wrong.
around from TL.
And with this hit, EG can come with 2 players quickly flashing out of that market smoke. They want to catch this hit in its veins.
Does this player on site get caught off guard? Is Lori in trouble, or can she rise to the occasion? Finds one already. Scary Shark just dashing
It's a
in.
weird
to
round
try
with
and
the
help
Jet
her
on site.
out, but the trades thus far seem favorable for
Both
TL.
Jets
It ends
just
in a 2v3, but damage was done.
Yeah, and EG
Got the
delete
spike.
the lurk option. 3 players alive, but they're all so low for EG. Nora is getting hunted down. Daiki finds another one.
What's your pistol philosophy, TMB? Do you think that you should always gamble like a 4-1 or like a 5-5 5-player move, or should you ever default?
And when you're up against Bastarda and Daiki,
Sticking together in clumps in general with pistols, I think, is just better. But there's always that kind of sense of like, if you do the same thing every single round, does the predictability of doing that overwhelm, like, you know, the advantage of sticking together on a pistol? And the answer is I honestly don't know. I think I'd probably most rounds stick together, and then every so often throw in the odd default to confuse.
And it won't be much better in this round. Only classics.
Which probably isn't correct. There is a correct answer to that, probably, but I don't know it. Look at this, just walking past the one way. That's the thing, though. Why? This is the kind of thing where you're never going to defend that one way with a classic. So,
yeah,
why even do
What's the
it?
point of throwing it?
Yeah.
Worked well in the first half for Team Liquid. But EG won't find that
What do you think of my
success.
Jet saves 400 credits pistol round? And then if you lose the next two even without a kill, you can buy an op round 3.
On defense?
So the
Yeah.
insurance policy of this round has a late reflank primed.
So what could you buy on pistol round then? You just have like a smoke.
Classic with a smoke and a, or 2 smokes. Or just light shield.
Big for Power Pixel. Lori finds one. It's 5-on-3 now for EG.
Can they convert the advantage? Let's even the odds back in the favor of Team Liquid. Dark Story have it.
Yeah, it's probably
Perfect shot.
fine.
Lawrence down and dives into the site. It's a massacre. Team Liquid.
And then you go naked op round 3.
Shocker. Once again, it's Daiki and
Is it
Bastard
no
and
shield
look,
op?
Evil
Yeah.
Geniuses.
But unless you get 2 kills
But still, that was full classic.
across
So
the
once it
rounds.
turned into long-range
You get 2
fights,
kills
we
across the 2
couldn't
rounds, then
figure
you got
something
shield.
out the right way.
Congratulations.
It slips away. But now,
You now
over the
have
hands
shields.
of Lori. Everything
Yeah.
matters from here on out for Evil Geniuses. They're not gonna be able to
It's
get
probably
the
like
line for
map
a
comp
long,
dependent,
long
to be
time.
honest.
Buying down to
If you're playing against like
Four
Viper
players with
Harbor, I'd
heavy
say
armor,
no.
literally
It's not
everyone
good.
possibly can.
To say they need to win, the sanity bonus is
You're
in
getting
later
buying
stages. They need to win it
full
dominant.
shield
They
judge
need
every
momentum.
single
It'll be a big game
round against that comp.
Why are so many people saying F?
And you have the battery, Nora and
I
Pixel
also see F.
here to fight into main, but
And
they've
the
been shut
dash was
back.
used,
Stream has
but
frozen.
Bastarda is really
Get
stuck
back.
here. Except it's
Refresh
a
the
very
stream,
Shoku
chat.
gets out of that one.
I'm not
issue,
seeing
though.
it.
EG are not
Yeah.
fighting off the utility. They're
Like on my,
escaping
I'm
off,
not
but
dropping
they're
any frames
running
according to
away.
this.
Liquid take control of
I guess
main,
just
take
Twitch,
the orb,
honestly,
continue to
because I just
farm on up.
refreshed and
Daiki's
it's
just
fine.
one off the Hunter's Fury.
And look what tools they still have. Flash in a knife.
Kid wouldn't lie to me like that, but some people aren't getting it. I'm saying it's on you.
Potentially good mid-rounding from EG.
Or on Twitch.
Because look, they've got the microwave set up over on B. 3 players there too. But this looks like a bit of a fake spike in the hands of Bazera outside of A.
And you see they're all set up to avoid this KO knife in A main.
Power Pixel has to find an opener here. Has to not get caught rotating away from the fake.
I mean, 10-4, is this just over?
Oh no, and
We've
that
only
means
seen
Nora's
one
leaving A.
game go to all 3 maps. Oh, look at this, the big
It's all on
fake.
Power Pixel. We have to go to A. They have to do something.
Power Pixel, a great off angle.
Needs a second, though.
But the
Oh.
shots cannot rain in time to connect
Sketchy.
with Gina. Scary Shark made it back in
I
time,
should
though.
win this though.
Yeah, they'll be fine.
4v3. No post
Especially because they
flash
didn't
yet
even
for
plan
TL.
yet.
They can't plant the spike though. Daiki gets the kill with the Sheriff into tree. Now they can bust down the door, go for the plant. Lori has to stop them in their tracks.
And Lori's done it already. Daiki in so much trouble to get across to join her teammate. Eugenia wants to get that plant in. Here comes the flood for EG. And down goes Daiki. 5 HP.
Can
It's
you
just
get the
not
spike
enough.
down after all that?
Lori connects the shot. And
Crazy.
EG,
No.
it looked damn scary. But they get it across the line.
I got spooked there. Power Pixel. They got the opener, and that was enough. And then Nora actually was able to come in quickly enough for those first 2.
They also build up some ults that they can have early in the TAF. Ultimate economy is key to build a comeback like the one EG needs.
How do scrims go for
to
your
stay in
team?
Brazil.
Are your
do they go?
scrims? How are are they good scrims?
Floor under her feet.
Are they annoying
Like-
scrims? Are you scrimming against FaZe or something?
Well,
heard that twice.
yesterday I actually,
But it was nice. 5 separate.
our first scrim of the day was against some like Ascendant
for
and
Daiki.
Immortal players because it was the only scrim we
They
could
did
get
to
because
just go
our
for hard exec.
our
Use that to help
intended scrim
the start
partner
of Hopkins
canceled
to the
with
site.
like 15 minutes before the scrim started. So we had to find like an emergency one.
Patient.
and
Gina just chilling out in that one way.
we were stomping them 13-5, and they asked for infinite credits, and then just started buying ops on like Sky and stuff. And so at the end of the scrim, I told them that they probably shouldn't ask for infinite credits if they're not going to play like normally. And then they got butthurt that I was telling them that their scrim was bad.
Right now we're going to see a drone up mid, I'd imagine, from Daiki.
I mean, if someone asked me infinite credits, I'd just say no.
Maybe catch a rotation while the rest of the
Well,
team
at 13-5, like I guess it's kind of fine just because they're just going to be on eco for like 80% of the game at that point if you're crushing them. So it's I don't mind it, but if they're just going to start, you know, buying like triple Odin, double op, which is something that does happen sometimes in scrims, it's like,
Now Daiki has so much to do. Needs perfection against this
what's
judge,
the point?
and she has
Like, what are we even doing here?
now into the side
So
they go.
yeah, I told them that they were dumb, and they got mad at me for that.
there for
But then we scrimmed
is still down in hell, though. She can try to stop this plan, but Gina gets the kill up in heaven.
Now it's all Thea. The IGL. She struggled this map thus far, and it will continue. Daiki.
But yeah, it kind of depends on the map. We have a couple like really solid maps. We've got a couple maps that are very much like work in progress, and then we have a couple that we haven't really played very much.
She do it in
So.
Brazil. One dart available.
Ahead.
It'll clear onto Jujina.
There they are.
When does the drop come? When does EG activate? A dive in. Starbound for the
what
first
is that
time.
shot?
And a flip for Daiki. 1v1.
Pop
She
deal.
spots Starbound on the
Pop
other
deal.
side. Another tap on the spike. Daiki.
Pop deal.
Find the timing. And the flick just misses out.
Oh.
It's Starbound.
You're ever so slightly ahead of me. Hold on.
My bad.
No, I just refreshed mine. Which we should be good.
Another round.
Losing that could have just lost EG the entire tournament. It was dire straits. Daiki was doing everything she
So
could.
what's your favorite map to coach? What's your best map
And Starbound
as coach Elevate?
on really their first big team on their first international stage. Keeps them
I mean,
in.
I'm just like, I'm proud of my Haven comp. I think my Haven comp is good, and our system on Haven is good.
It is close. It is tight.
But
at
I'm
the
really
end there.
enjoying figuring out
Evil
Sunset at the
Geniuses,
moment.
never a chance to breathe in this game.
It, like, I guess it just changes. Whatever map we're working on that's new is probably my favorite. It's always fun, like, seeing what works.
They have an opportunity, though, to lessen this scout. Half buy for TL.
EG ping-ponging their setup of the Killjoy on the anti-eco. TL won an anti-eco on 10 last game. I hate to bring it up, but Evil Geniuses must be perfect to close. Team Liquid are playing very good Valorant today.
I kind of don't understand
Lori
buying a
holding.
Guardian on your jet
turret.
on this round.
Sees TL on the cross. The pressure now falls to the
What do you
side.
mean? They're gonna get 2 kills and die and all.
Scary Shark on the right
I mean,
angle, but
surely
he
you
doesn't
just
connect the shot.
buy like a
That
stinger
He's gone,
and you
and
just
surely a smoke
play
See,
it
the
fast
thing
without
that
somebody.
the thing that some of these pros don't understand is the Stinger is a better gun than the Guardian. After they get a Guardian kill.
Huge kill from Bastarda. But Thea has
But
one
it's
of her
still true.
own, and EG, they're going to flood back into
Yeah,
this
I
one
mean,
quickly. The
did
position
you watch
they
any of the
made
Effie's
is so
interview that I
right
did?
So many
The
layers to
Effie's
this
one, no.
for TL.
Okay.
Hunter's
Well, I asked him straight up. I was like, "What is the biggest problem that Game Changers players have? Like, what's holding them back from being able to sort of like consistently beat these like Radiant stacks in like tier 2 and tier 3?" And he was like, "All of the players care about clips and like one-tapping people, and they don't abuse the game. They don't use like the good guns when they should be using the good guns."
Will the leader of Team Liquid
I remember when I was doing when I was big into card games.
And for Starbound twice in a row is just
There was
simply
the
too much
idea of
fast.
like,
Not
oh, what do
again
you think
versus
of like
Dodge.
this
Just not
deck?
gonna let
Do you
it
think this
happen.
could be good? And like the prevailing theory of like all the streamers or whatever, like who played the game was like, yeah, this is too fair.
Yeah.
Why are we doing
Exactly.
what's fair when there's things that are unfair?
And EG,
Yeah.
they can't look to the past. 2 rounds and it could be lost for them now.
That I think is yeah.
But for some of those players, they have to feel the weight of the
I do
past.
actually think
Last
that
year for Lori,
there's a lot of eco rounds where you have enough money to buy like
from winning the Game
Stinger light
Changers
armor or
Championship,
like Spectre light armor, or you can go
first reverse
no
sweep
armor
we've
Guardian.
ever had in VCT
And I think that
was
no
against
armor
her.
Guardian is actually
And now
underrated.
she's just one
But
map
not on your
away
jet player who's going in first.
from
That
being
doesn't make sense to
the
me.
first team eliminated in Brazil.
The first team eliminated.
I mean, again, I think that.
As well.
I mean, I would still. I remember when Vanity said like, why would I not give, I can't remember who it was at the time, but whoever his duelist was on the time, like he's like, why would I not give them a rifle? Why would I have the rifle when they're much better with a rifle than me?
There's not room for
Yeah.
another mistake.
That's true.
There's not room
And
for
I
this.
still think like that would apply to a lot of teams. Like when you have enough to like buy one rifle, why not give it to the player who's like your best player? But as I said, that again, it's kind of leaning into that thing of will people actually do that when you know they need a certain amount of stats. Like if they're not the IGL, you need a kind of certain amount.
But I need to see guns. They've got no money, Mimi.
They're not seem bad.
They're broke.
Oh, they giga broke. This should be 12-6. So we're gonna get a fast 2-0.
Why did their KO by light
That
armor?
gets sold away by Power Pixel at the very end.
Are they saving for an op? Oh, they must be saving for an op.
It's a bit late though,
Team
no?
Liquid take their
Sure.
time. I want to close this one out cleanly.
Looking at EG though, the two players on B, Lori, Thea, much closer, able to play off of one another. Even just tucking into backside here.
Oh, they got backside, a
Shotgun
classic.
both volleys though as well, and now
And a
Bastarda
short.
going on in.
They ult this round? If we're
If
we're ulting this round, then surely we're.
The only opportunity to get a kill there for Thea. She does it. Can they get more though? Can these players in the back
Flooding in.
Here comes the rotation, but they are gunned
Unlucky.
down
That did
by Team
not
Liquid.
go well.
Poor Thea.
No, they needed
no
the smoke to
HP,
cross
no
in.
abilities, and surely not a chance.
The timing was just off. Like their backside players did the correct thing. Like they took the
Liquid.
first contact, they got the kill, but then the players trying to flood in needed to wait until the back players got pressed more.
Evil Geniuses.
It's like the
have
classic
the
play
most
where you
impossible
like take
of
front sight
challenges
and then you
heading
freeze and you wait
into
for
this
the
Game Changers event.
defense to like ask for help from their other players, and then the players from like market and CT come in expecting to kind of like backstab you because you're taking sight, but if you don't take the sight, then you just have like the 5v3 in the front of sight.
But finally, back against the wall.
Here we go.
Scary Shark
They
Nora
do have an up
has
now.
the operator in hand. Nora, it is your time to make it happen.
The last minute edition.
Playing passive angle on A.
The player no one had heard of coming into this event. Again, has the pressure on her back.
Team Liquid fainting a bit over towards A here. The drone will come out, or maybe just the shock dart to try and clear away some Killjoy utility on this side.
Oh,
And just
no.
a
Now
shoulder
you gotta
is
move.
revealed. That's all Daiki gives Nora, and it's not
Big
enough to
info.
find a shot.
Fake towards A, paranoia. Drone, three
Watch Power
players
Pixel.
rotating. Power Pixel though, popping the ult. Thea on the site, can't find anything. And Power Pixel in this close corner is just standing their ground.
Oh,
Their
no.
feet are burning though, and they cannot stay alive. 3v4, that KO can get picked up. The spam is great. Lori again, getting it done, but she's showing herself. Georgina takes advantage of that.
What is Daiki gonna do? Does she go for the wrap all the way through mid? She does. No one will see this coming.
It's being watched now, but is the timing right? Can Daiki do it?
Oh!
No! Starbound, 2 away.
It went.
30 seconds left.
So it's Georgina. Spike can be picked up.
Not really enough time to
Not
work
much
with
time.
here. They shouldn't really have to worry about anything going A.
Nora swapped over into a rifle.
She hit the plant. Is this how they close out the
Georgina
game?
jumps up.
Lockdown
Ooh.
popped. Georgina ahead of it could isolate a kill here onto Starbound, but the smoke is
Smoke is
away.
actually
She'll spam
crazy.
it, a risk taken.
Oh!
God!
Oh my god, what a way to win!
That was actually sick. That Omen played that perfectly. That Omen played that perfectly.
Up to play today. I mean, back-to-back top performances from Daiki. An impossible player to break.
Nice. All right.
And Georgina, the multi-frags were just unreal.
How many rounds?
ATMV.
did Georgina clutch?
Too many to count. I
Well-
don't have enough fingers. And like that wasn't even one. It was a one
Our
versus
1 minute
three.
bracket is
Saw the
perfect
angle
right
given
now.
by Lori
No
and
way.
the spray transfer.
Yeah.
Is that actually?
Yeah.
That wasn't like the cheap ice sneak up and shoot in the back head.
That's
We're in
crazy.
the top We're in the top 10% of users on VLR right now.
Wait, what's your what account was that? Was that on Bo Jiden 4?
No.
Because Bo Jiden's got everyone right so far as well.
I don't know if we're gonna show up in the leaderboard, but
How many people have 30? That's quite a few, to be fair. Are you Pi? Are you Fat Daddy? I'll just look at the US one.
it should just be elevated, honestly. I could just use my actual
WPN
name.
FPS? Platano? James the Man 420?
Thank you very much, Mimi and Ender.
Don't see
That
you.
is right. Team Liquid,
I'm
they
lucky.
avoid elimination today, and what a way to do it as well.
Stuff.
I've got Sapphire and Mira.
I guess it was easy to predict.
Feel free to celebrate. I know you're very
Yeah.
happy.
Who did we have
nailed it.
winning?
And it was a great series.
BBL Queens.
Yeah, it was a great series.
Wow,
As I
that's
said in
a-
the
that's a
first
big-
map, we're the same again.
I think we're gonna get
playing
the
with
next
our
one wrong
respect
though,
in
because
EG,
we
I
have
replayed
we have
with a
EDG
aggressive
winning
posture.
against Crew
Taiki,
Blaze, but I thought
like,
Crew
she
Blaze
carried
looked
it.
pretty good
I don't
yesterday,
know what to say.
considering
She
Yeah.
just handled it by
significantly
her at
better
all.
than
I don't know.
EDG anyway.
I love it.
So many
Although I think SL
incredible
played
moments from
like the
those
best game
players.
I've watched so
Of
far.
course, Seku was amazing.
Yeah,
The
that is
start
true.
on the
I mean,
op was
I thought we got like
fantastic.
the
And then
best SR.
huge props to Jujina
Comparing
for how
any
many, like,
team to how they
2K,
play against
3Ks,
SR is like kind of
beautiful
not fair.
transfers that
But
we
like
saw.
SR
Of
versus
course,
like
close it out with
EG,
that epic moment.
Yeah, I can't believe.
like in that grand final, I thought SR would.
That was mad. And the
Like
fact
I
it
thought
wasn't
SR
Daiki
looked
on
like.
this map, it was Daiki on map
What's the
one
best way of
from
putting this?
right
They
from
looked
the
like a
outset. You know, they dropped the
2021
pistol,
Brazilian
but
team.
then from there on, it just didn't feel like Daiki
Like
ever even
really
had a
good
bad
individual players.
Yeah, she was.
But
she had
just
bad
like some,
macro.
but some
wins in
yeah, just like
defense.
some terrible
Mainly being the
mistakes.
initiator, you can get the utility
Yeah,
in the
this
right
this
time,
BBL
when you
versus
think
SR
it's a
game
fake or
today is
something.
gonna be
She was doing all that. It was not only
insane.
Yeah.
individually, but also in the
I'm
his
so excited to
position
watch
in
this one.
defense, she was doing great.
Yeah, and then so many like nice reads from her. We saw obviously on the
Who's your
the attack
favorite
side,
Valorant
like,
team of
taking
all time?
That mid control, which
Of
opened
all
up so
time?
many avenues
Yes.
for her team, and then
Vision
even
Strikers
like somehow
with
helping to keep
Glow.
Astarta alive, who was like dancing around on A site many times.
Vision Strikers
So
with
many-
Glow.
It's just epic
Yep.
moments from these
We're
players.
going
Does
back
this
in
feel
time.
like a run that's about to happen?
The next game
or are they gonna
is
go all the
Crew
way
versus
back?
You gotta
EDG.
feel good about this.
What's
I don't-
EDG's thing again?
I'm not liking
What are they
what
called?
potentially happens in the lower
Something
bracket.
empowerment,
Chow.
super
But
empowerment.
just
That's what it
in
is.
terms of this team,
Chow
they're
Hui,
looking
is that what that
fantastic.
means?
Yeah,
I mean,
super
I don't wanna
empowerment
talk about Team
EDG.
Liquid because I'm Brazilian, but I
Which
really,
is
I
cool.
really do know these players. I played against them, and I really
The
like
guard
how they
with
play.
side-
I really know they
side.
can go
Yeah.
really
Who's
far
my
with it.
favorite
We
team of
actually
all
have
time?
Daiki standing by right now with Tonello in the Verizon.
My favorite team of all time is Sentinels. Masters Rector.
A primeira vitória nesse Game Changers. A gente vai falar pouquinho sobre o que aconteceu nesse jogo. So here I am joined by Daiki.
What about Gambit? You're not a Gambit fan?
EG, and of course, let's talk a little bit more about this game right now. So the first question I want to ask her is about this nervousness.
Team of all time.
She actually, after
Aren't you contractually obligated to say Ascend when they win jams?
because of that, it had impacted
Bone cold.
negatively on their gameplay and performance. So
Mm,
what did they talk about?
am
in
I?
these
I
last
didn't work
days
for Ascend
to,
then.
of course, make a comeback and turn
That's
this
true.
around?
The first Ascend
You were,
team.
you were a bandwagon
Eu tô meio
content
em
creator.
choque agora com o que aconteceu.
If you can name
Você
the
falou
Ascend
no
team
vídeo
when
da
I
primeira
joined,
série que vocês estavam
which maybe was
nervosos
when
na
you joined
estreia.
as well, I
O que
think.
vocês conversaram esses
Yeah.
últimos dias pra
Who-
mudar isso e chegar com muito mais
Do you
confiança?
know who's on the
Are
team?
you asking me?
Assim,
Yeah.
falando
Are you
bem
asking
por
chat?
cima mesmo, a gente não mudou absolutamente nada.
Well, I'll wait for you and then we'll
Teve
ask.
uma conversa mais séria em questão de comunicação e de que a gente, independente da situação, a gente não podia mudar e teria que ser um pouco mais consistente. Eu imagino que era para o jogo da G2 ter sido um pouco mais fácil, mas a gente já consertou isso. Eu acho que a gente está muito mais confiante de entrar aqui no palco e jogar aqui para vocês. Então eu acho que foi essa mais a questão da calma e da comunicação dentro de jogo mesmo, porque fora de jogo a gente não mudou absolutamente nada.
So she said, actually, I'll tell you, we haven't changed anything. We just thought the game against G2 was going to be a bit easier as well. But we talked about more communication and about getting here and doing what we can and what we know how to do. And this, all of course, made us much more, like, with the trust, much better. And this is why it all changed for better for us. And the next question I'm gonna ask her is about the split and the Cypher, of course, because Cypher seems to be more and more of a trend right now. So how was it?
Overrated.
Against him? Was it difficult? Did they
We'll get to
expect
that as well.
something like that and so on? Sobre o Cypher na Split, ele tá sendo uma tendência agora, né? Para alegria de uns e
Split.
tristeza dos outros. Como que foi jogar contra ele? Vocês já estavam esperando? Vocês já tinham estudado? Porque mesmo na metade que ele estava no ataque, pareceu ser bastante complicado.
A gente estava esperando um Chamber, que é
Chamber?
do histórico delas. E realmente jogar contra o Cypher está sendo um pouquinho difícil, porque ele tá um agente muito mais consistente agora, ele tá sendo bem chato jogar contra. Mas eu acho que a gente não se abalou tanto, porque a gente já treinou muitas vezes contra o Cypher, tá literalmente todo mundo jogando com o Cypher. Então eu acho que surpreendeu, mas tudo sob controle ainda.
So we're actually expecting a chamber on this composition because of
Might
what
be
he
another
had played
VLR
before.
user.
But everyone is playing Cypher right now, so we had trained against Cypher a lot of times, so that was okay for us, and we could really manage the situation. And now last question for her is about the next match against BBL or SR, who she wants to face off against, or who she rather play against. Agora contra a BBL ou a Shopify Rebellion, que vocês vão jogar na sequência, quem que você quer enfrentar?
Which language do you like better? Portuguese
Bom,
or
eu quero
Spanish?
muito enfrentar
Portuguese.
a Shopify por causa da Mel. Eu acho que desde o ano passado
Agreed.
a gente
It's
sempre
more
veio
weird.
falando desse confronto. E
Yeah, it has
ele
some,
não
like, weird
aconteceu
sounds
ano
in it.
passado e a gente estava esperando que acontecesse esse ano. Eu não
As
quero que
to
elas percam.
an English speaker.
Eu estou mais ansiosa para jogar contra elas e eu espero que seja na grande final. É. Mas a BBL eu imagino que a gente vai acabar enfrentando.
So I really want to play against Mel, against Shopify Rebellion, because everyone was expecting this game last year, and it actually didn't happen. So I don't want them to lose, but of course I really wanted to face off against her. So I think it's going to be on the grand finals, but I think we're going to play against BBL. Muito obrigado, Dyke. Parabéns de novo. Thank you so much. Essa foi a Dyke.
That time was pretty funny. Okay, I want to hear your spiel. Why is Cypher bad?
I didn't say bad.
Go on. Oh,
Never
sorry.
said bad.
Overrated. Yes, that's
Never
true.
said
That's
bad.
actually I shouldn't have done that because that's one thing I hate. I hate when people conflate overrated and bad. So go
Yeah.
off, King.
Okay, so the main reason I think Cypher is overrated right now is that it's like the new hotness, right? There's like, it just got a buff
Mhm.
where people are like, it's going from being essentially an unusable agent because Killjoy is just so much better than Cypher to being an agent that can be played, but people are acting as if it's now like clearly the best Sentinel to play on most maps. And even though the map pool is in a place where there are a decent amount of them where Cypher is like fine, I just don't think that the changes really did that much. Like if at the end of the day, all it is better trips, right? That's like literally the only thing that actually happened to Cypher. And so yeah, the trips are good against bad players, like ranked players who don't understand that sometimes you just have to like slowly default, break trips with Sova Dart, break trips with Ray's Satchel, or like send a dog in and then shoot it as the dog triggers it. But against like actual pro players, I don't think that Cypher does hardly anything. And so it's like the same agent that it was pre-buff, except slightly better against worse players. And yet everybody's treating it as if it's now like the de facto Sentinel on every map.
What I would say to that is, I think that Cypher before was slightly underrated. So I think he was a higher level before than what people thought.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And so I would say that maybe I could kind of see your point. Do I want to still be a React Andy? Yeah, Elevate, you can join in with this as well. I don't know if you've seen it. Who is it? Is it Platoon? Someone made a video about like statistically the best player?
I watched part of this morning, but I wasn't really paying attention. So yeah, I can watch it with you.
Yeah, sure. Kid, send it. Let's be a React Andy.
Let's go. Free content. Free content.
See, this is the thing.
You're such a true streamer.
I'm not big enough to where it's a problem. Like, when Tarek does this and, you lose out on, 50,000 views, that's one thing. But When little TMV does it, it's fine. Oh shit! I forgot that YouTube broke Vivaldi. Here we go.
Grammarly's 5 tips for
Grammarly.
writing a professional email.
Email writing is super important.
Who's the best?
Right. Oh, it's 18 minutes long. I thought it'd be like
right
5
now. I
minutes
have
long.
to say
Dio, who is literally
Let's get to
the
it.
best player in the world, like Alpha, isn't the best player in the world.
can't hear it,
The best
by the
player
way.
if rating and KD don't cut it. In this video,
Do
we're
I
going
need
to
to just
answer
pull
all
it up
those
on my own
questions.
screen and we just press
Yeah,
play
yeah,
at the same
yeah.
time?
I think. Let's skip
Player
through the
instead
intro.
this year. I'm using a variety of an undisputed. We'll have that. The data reveals a lot about teams until the end. We're going to Immortal Roadmap industry to hit them
past
up.
the ad.
Hundreds of over a 10 when they went into this year. Good to you. 60
tell me the
spots
timestamp
by
where
talking
you're
about
starting.
what it even means to be great. A reasonable in the top 4 of champs, and only a select few players who placed in the top 8 for comparison purposes. Team play is a large portion is we are to their success.
Okay, let's start 256.
256. Okay, I'm there.
I think this is like what they're basing on.
Best players also need to
Count it down.
Okay. 256. 3, 2, 1, play.
Players also need to boast strong fundamentals, so we'll take a look at how often players are getting trades and being traded. Finally, kills still do matter, but rating and KD give us no information about the impact of those kills and what they meant in a round. You've probably
what
heard the
rating was
term
for.
impact frag thrown around before, which implies that certain kills are more important than others. But what does that even mean? We're going to quantify
means
the
what the words
impact of
mean.
every single frag to determine once and for all
Can you
who
react
had
a little
the
bit
most
harder? Right now you're
game-to-game
just stealing
impact
content.
in 2023. So that's our
Well, I've
game
gotta
plan.
see what
We're
the
going to
thing is
start by
first.
looking at how much value an individual player brings to their team. Recently, I saw this
How do you
awesome
do that?
post from Pablo on Twitter who does Valorant stats, which shows your
I
probability
also have a
of
video that's
losing
based off of some
depending
Pablo
on which agent on
tweets.
your team dies first.
I don't even
For
know. I've
example,
never heard of this
people
guy.
normally have an assumption that if your controller dies first on attack, your win rate is
probably follow
significantly
them.
impaired. However, what his insights actually show are that initiators are much more important than controllers on attack, and any of them dying first, with the exception of Fade, significantly affects your chance to win.
I mean,
Using
this
the
makes a
same
lot of
line of
sense.
thinking, we can
Yeah,
look at
obviously.
all the data from Masters and Champions to see which players decrease their team's
Wait,
win
hold
rate
on, though.
with
I wanna go
data
back to
from
that chart.
Masters to win.
Hold on. I'm pausing on that chart on 402.
Okay.
Right,
thank you.
obviously Chamber is at the bottom. Neon being last is kind of like probably just a small sample size. This is the problem. How, like, for some of these agents, I assume it's not a massive sample size, like the ones that don't get picked a lot.
Yeah, I think sample size probably plays a big role,
Like,
but
why the
also
fuck is Sage so high?
heal wall slow for post plant maybe.
Yeah, it's okay in a post bump, but I
But
don't
yeah,
think
it's probably
losing a
it's
Sage is a
probably
big
sample
loss.
size for sure. I would say this chart would make more sense if you took out Sage, probably Astra, Neon, and Chamber, because I don't think those agents were played very much last year. I assume this is all based off of last year's data too.
Yeah, it's also good, interesting to see that. So about on average, if you lose the first kill, you know, you have like a 28% chance of winning like a 4v5.
Yeah,
that's quite interesting. But also, like, does this count for ones that are traded as well? Like if we get in, like if we die, but then we trade it to a 4v4 straight away.
I think you need to keep watching the video because I think he says this is all.
Using
Fine,
the
I'm playing.
same line of thinking, we can look at all the
Wait,
data
what?
from
You
Masters
didn't count
and
it down, bro.
Champions.
You didn't count it down, bro.
I'm a 407.
You paused?
Yes.
Okay, I'm ready.
3, 2, 1, go.
To see which players decrease their team's win rate the most when they die first. In other words, how important is it for a player to
True.
be
Also,
alive
how
for
many
their
of those
team,
agents were
and
played
how
by
does it
Angel?
affect their
Because that's really
chances to win a
important,
round?
too.
Huge thanks to
give us-
Augment.gg for providing me with all the data from my
give us
research.
Angel
Check them out in
statistics
the
as a-
description below. When we look at our top players
As
and
an
how
example.
likely their team is to lose if they die first, we start to see some interesting characteristics of certain
Well, Leo's
teams.
gonna destroy in
Firstly,
this, surely.
Demon 1 is by far the least important player to keep alive first. When he dies first in a round, EG only had a 58% chance of losing the round. Compare this to EG's clutcher Calm, who if first blooded means that EG has a 75% chance of losing the round. Remember that these are all non-traded kills. This clip is an example of a non-traded kill onto
this is
Jing,
only
as he
Masters and
dies
Champs,
and
though?
no one returns a kill within 3 seconds.
Not a ton of games.
Going
I
back
feel
to
like
the
the sample
graph,
size is
here
too
are
small.
all the
Yeah.
players between Demon 1 and Calm, before we reveal the most important players to be alive for their team. You might say that Demon 1
Jing?
plays Jet, so it's fine if he dies first for his team. But Jogamo, Something, Durka, and Jing all happen to be way more important to keep alive
I'm shocked
than
that
Demon
Jing's
1.
that high.
Finally, Ye's 2022 stats reveal that he was quite important to keep alive, as Optic had almost a 79% chance of losing if he died first in a round. This is pretty in line with how dominant he was all year, and we'll continue to see statistics.
I feel like we're also kind of missing the point here that a lot of Optic's strategy was based around the chamber taking first contact with an op and like slowly clearing the map. It's not like it was like, oh, you know, Ye is just
it's not like we're
an
treating all
agent in a
players
system.
equal. Yeah.
Right. And it's like their entire strategy was like, okay, let's get Ye to kind of like contact us into space with an operator. So obviously, if they lose that duel, their entire strategy falls apart. Whereas with Demon 1, it's like he just sends it in on
That's why I was
Jet.
surprised Jing was so high, because it's like Jing just goes crazy anyway. Like,
I think the thing with Jing though is that because it's untraded kills, most of Jing's kills are probably being
Yes, that's
traded
true.
because their entire strat is like raise, go, kill.
Yeah.
And if Jing gets in and gets a couple of kills and then gets traded, it's like automatically a round win. And
Yeah,
same thing
that's
when he's
true.
playing Phoenix.
Yeah, so if
which
if Jing dies and they haven't traded it, that probably means that they've tried to go fast to a site. He's just died, and then now they like can't go into the site and they don't know what to
Right.
do, and you're just in.
It's like
terrible
the same
position.
thing as having Ye be like the point of contact.
Hmm.
So it's like if the main part of their strategy doesn't work, then obviously they're gonna lose the game, right?
Okay, 3, 2, 1, play.
What time are you at?
5:34.
Okay, we're good.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, play.
Supporting this fact throughout the video. But the most important players to keep alive this year were Cowanzine for Loud, Forsaken for Paper Rex, and finally Aspas for Loud. If
Really?
any of these players were first blooded in any given round and were not traded, their team had more than an 80% chance to lose that round. It's really interesting to see two different Jet players on top teams in the world be at
the
complete
sample size
opposite
for this
ends of the
can't be that
spectrum.
big,
But this
like, Loud,
undoubtedly
what?
gives Aspas some
They
credit
went out in
for
2
being an
games
incredibly
in
important player
Masters.
for Loud. And it doesn't necessarily
Mhm.
mean he's a baiter as well, as we'll see
Also,
later on
again,
in
I'm
this
just going to
video.
keep
Now we have
reiterating the
some
same
idea
point.
of how
It's like
important individual
Loud
players
strategy
are
revolves
for
around
each
sending
team.
Aspas
But we
in
can
first,
go even
whereas
deeper than that
EG
and find out how
is a
much
lot
their
more of like
individual
a
performances
default team.
correlate with their team's ability to
Leo
win.
stats
In
are
other
literally
words,
2
how
out of
much
3
does an
because he only has
individual's
3 first
performance
hits.
directly
That's so
contribute
funny.
to their team's success. For example, does Durka need to pop off in order for Fnatic to win
Yeah, I
games?
feel
In
like
all
sample size
games
is an
throughout
issue here.
Masters and Champions where
Yeah.
Durka drops 16
issue.
kills or more, Fnatic wins an average of 12.45 rounds. But when he drops less than 16 kills, his team only wins an average of 10.46 rounds. This means that his team wins an average of 2 more rounds per game when he performs well compared to when he performs poorly. This is a significant difference, as I'll reveal all the players below Durka, but it's actually a pretty small spread compared to a lot of other players on this list. Let me explain the reason I chose 16 kills as a cutoff. It's because 15.2 kills per game is the average number of kills that any player had in both Masters and Champions. So getting more than 16 kills a game means you had
I
an
don't think
above
that-
average performance,
I'm gonna be honest,
and getting less than
I
that
think a
means
lot
you
of the
had a
premises of
below
this
average
video are-
performance. Now let's look at
It's
how
bad.
every
Not
other player's
interpreting data
individual
correctly.
performance
Yes, let's pause.
affected the number of rounds that
Okay.
So, like I said, like in any of my videos that I do stats, I always put the percentage, but then underneath I'll always put like
Sample
how
size,
many out of how
yeah.
many, just so just so people can see, like, you know, oh, this one had, like, because, you know, a Jet, for instance, might have a big sample size, whereas a Neon might have a really small one, right? So, and yeah, I think that this is a big problem, and I think that, yes, like, obviously when Durka gets a lot of kills, Fnatic are winning games.
Right.
Like, is that not?
But it could be because his teammates are setting him up better.
Yes,
not
but
because
there's
he's
so
playing
many
well.
factors that go into that. It's not just like Durka pop. Like, obviously there will be games or maps where Durka pops off and like is the reason they win or lose. But like, it's a lot of things that I don't know. It just feels like a weird way to evaluate it all. Anyway, let's keep going.
Also, like you can't compare it. The fact that he's taking the average of all kills on all roles just doesn't make any sense.
That's true as well.
Like if you do all Jet players, then you actually have like comparable data because they're all doing essentially the same thing on the same map.
Yeah, or even just
But if
all
you're
duelist would be fine. Like you don't even need. Yeah.
Yeah. But if you're comparing like a Smokes player or like a Killjoy where the teams are like actively avoiding going to the site and like considering their kills versus like a Jet player who's like literally being set up by the entire team to get kills, it just doesn't, it's like not comparable at all.
Yeah. Okay, I'm on 726.
Okay, yeah.
3, 2, 1, go.
That their team won. And we can start to see some of the big difference makers are Alpha, Kong Kong, and Divai. Ye in 2022, again showing just how dominant he was, but the player whose performance matters the most for their team is Jing. When Jing gets more than 16 kills in a game, his team is winning an average of 5.56 more rounds per game than when Jing performs less than ideal.
That's a
and gets
lot of
less than
rounds, to be
16
fair.
kills. His performance is
I'd be
a
interested in
huge
going into
difference
that.
maker for his team. But something really interesting is how Paper X are all in the top half of this graph. What that really means is that Paper X's aggressive and mechanical style shows here, where every player on their team can be the one to take hold of a game and carry.
Doesn't that
And
mean
that's
they
just
get
simply how their
destroyed
team
when
works.
they don't do well?
Something else that's interesting is how all of EG, who are Masters runner-ups and Champions winners, are all in the bottom half of this graph. But we're going to revisit this phenomenon later in the video. Let's also take this chance to assess team fundamentals of each player by looking at trade statistics. The first graph shows the average number of trade kills each player is getting per game. Again, we're seeing Jing at the top with an average of 3.58 trades per game. We need to point out the non-duelists here like Chichu, Stax, and Ethan, meaning that they have top-tier team-fighting fundamentals. But being a well-rounded player means that you have to also know how to die in good positions as well. So this next graph shows how many of your deaths were traded by your team. And it's really quite impressive to see Jing at the top of this graph as well, showing that he is probably the best team fighter in the game and someone who knows to go in for his team, but also successfully trade his teammates. If you remember the first statistic we looked at, which showed that Aspas is the most important player to keep alive in a round, you may have thought he was just a baiter. But now we can see that Aspas has the second most traded deaths behind Jing, meaning he's definitely going in for loud and making sure to die in spots that are tradable. We should normally see the duelists at the top of this second graph, but what sticks out like a sore thumb is how low Durka is on this list, despite being the solo duelist on Fnatic. In fact, not a single player on Fnatic is in the top half of either of these graphs, and that really reflects their playstyle, which rarely relies on taking huge teamfights, although I think that this was a weakness for them during their champs run. I broke this down in another video linked in the description. The last and most important statistic we're going to look at is how much direct impact each player is getting from their kills. But before we get to that, I want to revisit some of our earlier graphs to point out something really interesting about our 2023 champions. Remember this graph about the chance of losing a round when certain players are first blooded? If you look closely, you'll see that nobody on EG is that high on this list. EG depended most on Calm being alive later into rounds, which makes perfect sense in terms of roles, since he was an initiator player and EG's clutch player. EG's spread of most important to least important player, as well as everyone having very mild values on this list, hints at a very functional team with everybody playing their roles well. When we look at the second statistic, which describes how dependent a team is on an individual's performance, take note of how there isn't a single EG player in the top half of this graph. For EG, it really did not matter if any one player was performing better or worse in a match. All players still found a way to be consistent, and EG would still win. This again hints at the elite teamwork and consistency.
I think
on
EG did have some of the highest cast of any
good
team.
individual performances to win matches, and that's kind of
just
the
means
point
they have
I
a
want to get
balanced
across
team, though.
before I
But they're
actually
not,
crown
like-
a best player in
but
the
that
game.
doesn't necessarily
The best team
like.
in the world
I'll
has
pick
no
with
clear
Ye where they're
standout
just trying to
performers,
set Ye
and
up
that's
as much
exactly
as
what
possible,
made them the best
or
team in the
EG
world to
who
begin
like
with.
anyone
Because
can
teamwork and team cohesion
do it
will
for them.
always matter more than
There isn't
an
necessarily a
individual's
better way
performance.
of doing it.
Okay, so how are we actually going to evaluate the raw impact of kills in Valorant? There are a lot of ways that we can look at this, but the most straightforward measure of impact is how much an individual kill contributed to the success of a round. It's obvious that getting a kill when it's 5v1 means way less than the last kill in a clutch. So first, we need to quantify what the advantage is for every single man-to-man scenario to know exactly how much more important getting a kill in a 2v4 is compared to, say, a 3v5, which is not really a difference we can figure out without looking at the data. I looked at every single round outcome of all games played from Masters and Champions to determine the exact chances of winning every single combination. For example, the chance to win a 2v4 is about 9%, but the chance to win a 3v5 is 12%. These are all the probabilities for any given team to win in each of these scenarios. Now, with this data, we know that getting a kill and going from a 1v5 to a 1v4 only improves your team's chances of winning by 1%. Getting the first blood, bringing the round from a 5v5 to a 5v4, increases your team's chances of winning by 20%. Now we can assign a value for every single kill. But before we go on to calculate that for every player, we need to make an assumption on this data. We're going to assume that every single XV0 situation means a 100% win rate for the side with numbers. This is not entirely true, because there are rounds where the bomb could explode, causing attackers to win after they are already dead. But for the purposes of calculating impact, we can make this assumption. Okay, now we can quantify the exact
There's also going to be a lot of
impact
kills when you're
of
just
every single
like,
player and compare them to see who really had the most
saving an
impact
op and they're
in
trying to hunt you down.
2023.
Yeah,
I'll
and
just
you're not even
briefly
trying to win the
explain what
round.
I'm doing
Yeah,
here,
so
so
some of the
everyone
data is a little bit
understands
messy
the
and
statistic
cluttered
a
with
little
that
bit
as well.
better. I'm looking at every single kill that each player got in a game and calculating exactly how much each kill increased their team's chances of winning. For example, Jawgemo kills Jing here, bringing the round from a 5v5 to a 5v4. Going by the graph I just showed on win percentages, this kill increased EG's chance at winning the round
Like,
by 20%.
does it also matter if you don't get traded?
So we count that Jawgemo increased EG's win percentage by 20%, and we add up all the impact of their kills
know what I mean?
over the course of one
Like, if
game.
you got a first
then
kill,
we
then
do
get
this
traded
for
straight
every
away.
single game they
You back
played
it to 50
and
for, like-
average out the number to get our final value of
This
game
is too
to game
simplified
impact.
here.
For this
And
list
also, you
specifically,
have to
I'm
then
only including players who finished
subtract
in the
percentage
top 4 of
if you're the
champions
first
this
person
year.
that dies
One
as
by
well
one,
to
here are the
calculate this.
top
If
5
this is
most
only like
impactful
impact
players
frag
of
and they don't
2023.
include like
The
how often
fifth
you're throwing
most
rounds for your
impactful
team,
player of
this data is
2023
useless.
was Alpha, who on average increased Fnatic's chances to
Yeah,
win
surely
rounds
you
by
gotta measure the deaths
305%
as
per
well.
game. Another way to look at this is that Alpha's kills alone earns Fnatic 3 rounds
No,
every
it
single
doesn't.
game.
This is
Lustio is
totally
right in calling
incorrect.
out that Alpha is one
This
of
is
the
not how
best players
data
in the
works.
world in terms of game-to-game impact, and these better stats show it as well. I want to call out that Les was not really far behind in 6th, who increased Loud's chances to win rounds by 303% per game. The 4th most impactful player in the world was Paper Rex's Something, who increased Paper Rex's chances to win rounds
But
by
how many rounds did he throw for the
309%
team?
per game. His teammate Jing
Yeah, I think
was
that's the big
3rd
problem.
at 326%. Demon 1 rightfully earns the number 2 spot at 333%. And finally, the most impactful player on this list was Loud Aspas, who increased Loud's chances at winning rounds by 339% per game. Here is the full list of all 20 players who finished in the top 4
Okay,
champions
pause.
this year.
Yep.
This is also bullshit because what if most of Auspas's kills are getting the first kill and then instantly dying, so he doesn't get any quote unquote low impact kills later on in the round? He's gonna have like a super high percentage if most of his kills are just like plus 20%, plus 20%, plus 20%, plus 20%. But then he's never like in the situations where he could be getting kills when they're up like 5v1 because he's dead.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you include this? Why would you not include 4v4 on your graph? Or 2v2? That's what I was most interested in. You're assuming that XVX is always 50, but is that true?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if that is true. Like, that's a really interesting statistic I would love to see. Like, it is...
Right, yeah.
Is a 2v2 just attackers sided? Like, is it 55% instead? I don't know. It's a 4v4, like, slightly attacker sided. I'm kind of interested in that, because then you would think that, like, it matters what side you're on that gets the kill. Like, in theory, a 4v4 should favor the attackers, because there's just more space on the map. And
Yeah.
maps are designed for 5v5, so there's often going to be like 5 things to cover.
Yeah. I think we need to go watch the rest of the game, or watch the game. But
oh, is it back?
Yeah, they're about.
We're
to start,
back.
I think.
Oh, we didn't get a map, Vito. Unlucky.
Essentially, the conclusion is that Jing is the best player in the world. That was the conclusion. If you haven't finished the video.
I would say wrong.
Yeah, and here with the underdogs
Yeah,
playing
I would
against
also
themselves,
agree
it's
with
really
that.
common to see picking the
Meaning
comfort
your
picks.
statement.
So that's why you see like
I do think that he was a high impact player,
The other team's gonna
but
pick their
I would not
comfort
say that
pick.
he was the best
They don't
player
really
in the world.
mind about that much about the
Yeah.
the draft. Like when you have big games and you have to.
Again,
count them,
I
so
feel like you
so
literally
that's
can't
what I
do
like
this
about this, and with
cross
this, the
rolls
strategy
because
will
like
do better
you're
than
just
this.
never. It's just not. It doesn't work like that.
I also don't think it's possible for you'd have to design an algorithm to do this like properly.
Yeah.
Like there's no way a human could do this, like that kind of video. Like you could design like a computer to like go through all the games and like figure it out for you if you could do that. But I'm sure someone has the possibility to do that if they wanted to.
Yeah.
But
Cypher as well. That's a variation of the normal
Yeah,
Viper.
I mean,
I
I
think it's possible
personally,
for a human to
because
do.
Cypher right now is really, really
I also believe that we need to rely on
not
our
sure
machine
he's
overlords
stronger than
to
Viper.
shepherd the
Yeah.
human
Yeah,
race
I would
into the
like- I
next
would prefer the Viper to have
stage of our
mid
evolution. As
control.
a
I think
species.
there is enough like tier 1
that
games
sort of
now to where you
stuff,
could.
so the
Someone should go. Someone do this, by the way. You'd get hired by if you want a job for an esports team. Here's how you do it. You create a machine which like accurately predicts win probability of Valorant, and then you just say to a team, "Hey, I know what makes you the most likely to win in Valorant." And you just go to a team and you just say, hire me for it.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
you'll get a
this is what some of the analysts like Ominous and stuff. Like these are the types of things that they're actually doing, and they're building like machine learning models to
Yeah.
like actually calculate this stuff. You can't just look at VLR stats and then just accurately. I mean, listen, I respect the having done a lot of like hand done data entry stats with like Excel spreadsheets and stuff. I respect the amount of effort that goes into making a video like that, but I think a lot of the conclusions were like extremely sort of like reading the data to try and fit the narrative that you're trying to put into the video.
How they deserve to be here and playing.
But what about my agent pick rate videos?
With that split, I mean, both these teams playing.
Well, you never make
copycat.
mistakes, so.
No, I don't.
Other than the double duelist, we love to see that from EDG. Going to be such a powerful.
Okay, here we go. Crew versus EDG. Oh, did I? Yeah, I did change that now. Good.
131, 130.
Yeah, I'm good.
29.
Wasn't as
Okay.
good, but
What comps have we got? Oh, we got double duelist. Double duelist Omen. Aggressive. Double duelist Omen Cypher.
You see that double duelist comp already diving, taking a ton of space. Crew glad to give it up. It
We need EDG for our pick 'em.
We do.
As EDG scales forward.
Not clearing corners is not the play.
Sometimes it would. When there's no one in that corner.
a hard sight to hold. I mean, we have the
Oh, we're back.
But as soon as I said that, Yusin with the double kill, getting that A-ramp control, preparing, and Wawa Lee actually
One more?
getting a
Oh,
One
we're
more?
so back. Whoa, we're Barack. EDG, here we go. 13-0.
It was supposed to be a round for EDG in that 5v3
My goats.
but Crew just dropping like
They also didn't check A main, I'm going to guess, based off where those first two Omen kills were.
I respect it, given that site was so free, right?
I hate these A retakes. You know what? Anytime anyone plays Sage on this map, they should just play retake A and then just wall that off for the retake. When you come down ramp, save your wall for that.
Like walling off where sewers is.
Like towards that area.
Yeah.
Like towards like A main. You just come down ramp, you wall that, and then you fucking run to site. And you strand someone out there on their own to destroy that wall. Not that you would ever play Sage in the year 2023.
Which is sad.
Soon to be 24.
Based.
They really haven't taken very much space at the beginning of the round at all.
Yeah, I mean, showing that presence in mid from Crew
This is the
really
classic.
important, but they do
The
need
only
to decide
thing I have
who goes back
against
towards that
EDG
B,
is that they
which is
play
super unfortunate 'cause this is where EDG
like
is
coy.
ending.
Do you think that they should just revert all the Sage nerfs?
No, because she'd be too good in range. I don't think they'll ever. I don't think they'll change Sage drastically ever. Because I think in ranked she'd be too good in low rank.
Much like we saw in the previous round, able to
counterflank the flank,
Oh dear.
if you will, but that's going to hurt from a distance. Shy's getting the first, Clem getting another. That Guardian really putting in the work here. Yusin's on the swing.
Okay,
both
we're
kills
good. We're good.
Dropping,
We're chilling.
and a clean round for EDG, all things considered.
Yep, Konir left.
Keep your gun. Keep your gun. Nice. Send in the person with the ghost. I like that.
One of those kills,
You go.
but again, just a really good round overall. EDG though, they look like they're leaving that A ramp spot a little bit open.
Okay, they keep their 3 guns.
It at all. I mean, that's
Little
fair if they are getting sniped for
FBX-ish.
free, but when you do that, you want to push.
Do you do the
and
FBX buy with your team?
in order to
Yeah.
deny, sorry, the
Only on
user.
attack
So
though.
Good. Here we go. Someone who knows what they're doing. Wait, what?
They're looking to do just a
Someone should. Some team should hire this guy just for doing that alone.
lined up towards this B main here.
No Viper on split is a bit weird. It's been a while since I've seen a no Viper on split.
Yeah, usually the double duelists run with the double smokes, so this is kind of interesting.
One we're seeing here, and a flash, and this time
I kind of
EDG
dig it in a
started
way.
threatening back into
I
a
don't
minute.
mind it. Although I would say play Viper on every map, but you know,
Farming those orbs,
that's
while
just me.
Ali and Yusin's so close to their ultimates, just chilling, trying to see if they can get.
They
a
do
kill
have
here
an
on
attacking
this
Bucky. That is true. And they also look like they bought down pretty heavily to get that
It's
Bucky.
funny, we often talk about the Chinese style of Valorant and how in your face it is, how aggressive and pacey it is.
But then again, here we go.
But it often comes out as
See, you trade.
finding
Oh.
really nice space, but Khalid is there on the counter.
Impact
punch,
frag?
the flash around pillar. It's gonna kept back for now, courtesy of that smoke. But Michaela spotting the challenge out from heaven.
The fact that Leo's death sample size was 3 is very funny.
Trying to close the gap just a bit. Crew's there to respond, and it seems like
Like and therein lies the like main, like a massive problem as well with that video. Is like Leo was fairly far down on that list, and is getting punished for dying 3 times. Because his sample size isn't big enough to where like it would be normal, a normal amount, and instead he's getting punished because his sample size, because he just never dies first, which on the initiator is, as was shown, the most important thing for his role.
A little bit shaky because they did lose 2 of those players, and I wonder if Crew's gonna start.
Oh no.
We got a
All the
stinger though.
All the SNGC players are splitting up. So they're not able to find a team as a 5 stack.
Which is kind of weird because
I mean, they would literally be a top 4 team in this tournament. Top 4, top 5.
Then they reset from there.
This is Valorant heritage.
If you're biased against EU, you're gonna cherry pick to make EU look worse, right?
Are you claiming the platoon is biased against the EU by saying that? Not you, Elevate. I just got a sub alert. From Kieri Metal with 17 months. I don't know. You have to be pretty biased against the EU to make that your thing. See, Jing is a safe pick to say, oh, Jing's the best player in the world, because everyone likes Jing.
Yeah, I don't think he's biased. I just think that he just doesn't fully understand data and wanted to make a cool video and like went down the path of making this video and then found some conclusions. It was like, oh, okay, this is all kind of making sense, but wasn't actually looking at like the overall picture of like how sample size works and like there's like a lot of variables that are just assumed or just ignored throughout the course of the video.
Like, as someone who does like you know, go through stuff, stats, and does it for very basic things like pick rates and non-mirror win rates, like, you know, stuff that you can pretty easily go through. Like, it just feels like that's... They were just trying to do something that was impossible, I think, as a human.
Without a CS degree, I think it was a very ambitious video to make, and I respect that because I've tried to make similar videos without a CS degree and ability to code stuff, and it's just really hard. It's like really hard to not.
Like, the stats take me ages to do.
Yeah.
Like honestly, it's not fucking worth it for like the views, the money made for time spent.
Yeah.
Definitely not a good video to make. For me.
Even with lots of people reacting to this video now, which he's getting, he'll probably end up like 150k views on it in the next month or so, and that'll be a nice solid $90 for probably like 70 hours of work.
Dash proc looking to take the challenge, doesn't come through. All of his space that's being given up, that's being forfeited. Crew are glad to take, but how much more can they find? The first one falls.
Ooh, damn, that was a very decisive retake.
Yeah, nice.
A 3K and the spike defuse. Crew are gonna take.
Especially when you could have made the same video just giving your opinion on who the best players are, and just they probably would have done pretty well anyway.
They have to delay for a little bit longer, but
People
again,
love discussing that shit.
All right, I'm leaving the call to make that video. Just my opinion.
And now in this gun round, they have
See ya.
the knives, they have
Why plan for heaven but no one goes heaven? It's the threat. But then the threat kind of goes when you all die.
Was crispy.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get the heaven plant, it's just the best plant on the site for sure.
You give yourself options.
Really
They have to worry about it.
Again, EGG kind of understanding
The video is flawed because the GOAT to Valorant is actually Mr. Fallen. Thoughts?
Because with this double duelist, they are space makers. Like that's the role. Yeah, they should be fracking out getting entries.
But Mr. Fallen nodded at me when I was in Berlin.
Oh, well then it must be true.
And now we finally seen they've gone so fast. They got past the sky in heaven.
Do you think that any pro players watch your videos?
In her hands. Like,
I know that some of them have.
For them to be able to take the space.
Some of them have commented on
So
videos.
I really want to see EDG use this to their advantage because right now, you know, playing it kind of slow against Crew, against Cypher, like.
I'm telling you, fucking Sentinels copied me.
And that's a tough
That wall on Haven. I'm fucking telling you, Captain follows me on Twitter. It happened. I'm telling you.
Oh yeah, Benji Fishy. He unfollowed you because you're trying to flame his mom or something like that.
No. He initially followed me because of that, and then I just got purged, I guess, because he must have just done a purge. And he was probably like, "Who is this guy?"
We have seen that a couple of times. We've seen some dynamic approaches to the attacking side, but I think there has to be more.
Yeah, and Crew has the
Yeah. And the Sentinels, like, I can't remember what it was. Sentinels did a video, and my video is on like Zekan's screen.
Any of these, so space seems to be the play for EDG.
What was that video? But like they were doing some kind of content for copyright claim.
You should. They have the money.
At Robmo.
Flash through off the jump.
What video was it? It was like something.
It's interesting here too. They're a bit concerned.
Was it signing Junk UT? Or was it what video was it? Someone will know.
So definite concern that they've lost some control there.
Yeah, looking like a B split, and B split it is. But
I'm sure I could find it if I just went with the Sentinels thing.
So early in order to delay.
But like Zekan is there, like Zekan is there, like, you know, all chummy and laughing with someone, and then my video is on his screen.
Well, good.
Oh yeah, I think is it the story of
It's
Zekan?
the youth.
Yeah. So I'm telling you, the Sentinels stole that wall.
Yeah, I honestly would
Which
not
I think is funny because it's not really that different to the initial wall, but when like it just goes to show like how no one thinks about like what they're actually doing and just copy stuff. Because Loud, for whatever reason, when they started doing it, just cut the wall short. And I don't know why, but then everyone just did that. But it was probably just better to just not cut the wall short and be able to just like push past the killjoy
all the way.
Yeah, and Loud probably didn't even really think about it at the time. They were just like, oh, let's just, you know, cut it short or whatever. And then everyone just copied that. Even though it wasn't better to do that.
Yeah, man, I have 2 videos that I've been thinking about and I have assets for, but I haven't actually like started making yet because I just hate editing.
Yep.
But one of them is about this formula conversation that we've been having over the last week about how formulaic people are ruining the game.
I blame CS.
Yeah, I like to blame Counter-Strike at all possible.
Because in CS, like, you know, everything's so stale that you can just copy people, and that's probably, you know, like just copy the best people. That's probably the best way to do it.
Yeah, there's so much knowledge that they're gathering off of that. And then
But in Valorant, where there's so many different things you could do, I think what the hell are these trips? Look, have you seen that? Me and Doug, little with one mind. And look, the jet just.
Oh, she's so owned.
Yeah. Tell me more about Cypher being overrated.
She split the uprights. That was crazy. I don't know how she did that, threading the needle, and ultimately it kind of falls apart.
So
anyway.
I do edit my video. I've actually been putting a little more effort into editing recently.
Prime Gaming flawless. It was
That might disappear when the season starts.
That was great.
But this is true. Like, in a way, like editing. So I built my channel around the things that I enjoy doing. What I enjoy doing is the analysis. I don't enjoy the editing. So therefore, make videos every day. One, people will expect less from your editing. Two, it kind of fits with not having to edit as much because, you know, you don't need every video to be a masterpiece. You just need every video to be okay.
I remember when you started putting like a ton of effort and you started doing kind of like sovereign guides for like a week and then you stopped. You're like,
yeah, because it's like,
no, too much editing, too much time.
Yeah, because it's like, who wants to spend a fuck ton of time editing? And then when like one of my most successful videos took me like fucking 30 minutes to make from start to finish about how Reyna was broken, and that's like, that gets like 500,000 views. It's like you and then you do like a fucking massive like amount of time video editing or whatever, and it gets 30,000 views. It's like, what am I doing?
You very, very demotivated to ever do
Yeah,
that
it's
again.
like, what's the point? Like, it doesn't make a difference.
There are only 2 members up. They have the advantage of the spike being planted, and the 2 very quickly dwindled into 1.
And at this point, you know, in fact, I almost think about, like, I almost think I should put in, like, an editing mistake every video and just make it a part of, like, the channel. That, oh, can you spot the editing mistake?
Thought it would have a little bit more impact, but
Yeah, my old business partner on my Dota channel made his like really quirky editing and like really shittily doing things part of his content, and it like became kind of like a meme that everybody would look forward to. So
it's oh, I got a, that's a fat ad for Fortnite. I got an ad for Fortnite. It's on You're Playing Valorant Wrong. I got 2 ads. And there's a naked man here.
dude, Sentinel's just cashing in the money.
Where is it?
It seems like they've had a very good lead on what's
I'll come
going
back to
on.
it.
The
I'll come back to it
much
after.
like the one we saw in the previous round. It seems like they're really dialed in here. And EDG, again, we've got to mention they've made their attempts at leaning into the strengths of this double duelist comp. It just hasn't found
We'll
the
wait till
success you'd
halftime and then we'll do it.
Yeah, now they're back to this mid control, trying to use more rotations, but again, they're splitting up. They're gonna split up.
No,
through
don't
A
use
ramp.
ad
They don't
blocker.
know that 2 of these
I need
players
money.
took A-ramp control already.
Michaela's here to fight. Michaela wants to take this fight. Already gets the
Oh,
first.
the boot.
Shizdru's in on
Yeah,
the
for
fun.
sure kill.
How much
I
more
said
can
boom.
she find? Yeah, they got heaven, but it was
It's not looking great for our EDG pick. This is their map pick as well.
Yeah, they are trying to like, they're not like disarming the traps that Crew is laying for them. And
Hold on.
very hard
Didn't
to
they
win to do
nerf
that.
rope accuracy? What's going on?
Much that they can do if they're just getting flashed and blinded and flashed and it's done the whole time. Like, it's such a hard way to put, or such a hard position.
So you make a video on
to
the
put
split
yourself
map?
in. You need
Yeah, but I
to
wanted to make a video about
get
that one round
util, or you
on
need to
Bind.
have an execute
So
that's
I
so
actually thought Bind was,
you can dodge
like, Split was the more
whatever
entertaining game, but I thought the level of
I also
Bind
think
was
Crew are
better.
doing a really good job of rotating super snappy as well, right? Once they realized that they had lost some mid-control, Michaela satcheled up to A Heaven to take these fights, which is just gorgeous to watch. So you can tell they're playing very decisively. They know what they want to do. They're doing it off of a trigger, and it just.
Tell you what, you can use ad blocker on my videos if I make a
Yeah, for sure.
Patreon
Those
and you
cancel calls
join
need
it.
to come in a lot faster for EG, and now Houston is trying to get one, but Konya
Then
is
I'll
here
allow it.
to show her the Omen diff in the server.
Do you I don't want to. This isn't meant to be like. Let's get super controversial. But do you have a favorite commentating duo that you like to listen to? This is not for you to flame other people and chat to talk about how much you hate certain commentating duos. I'm just curious if you have a specific one that you like to listen to.
I mean, I like Bren just because I think his voice is funny. And he makes me laugh.
Because they have so much of it.
The way he speaks. So I just like the way the Bren speaks.
To the perfect advantage. Again, EGG need to be way faster with these.
So I would say them, but it is just because I think Bren is funny. just think Bren, the way he speaks is funny.
Will continue to be a problem unless
And I also feel like Bren and Sideshow have the most, like, they have almost all of the most iconic games. Like, in terms of, like, close, like, they get Gigabangers for no reason. Like, when, like, most Gigabangers seem to go to Bren and Sideshow. Like, I'm telling you, the lock-in finals would have been Fnatic 3-0. If Pansy and Hypoc were on it, it would have been a quick 3-0 snooze fest. Fnatic destroyed. But because it's Bren and Sideshow, it gets to 3-2, almost reverse sweep. Fnatic come back from 11-3.
Right.
And so that causes a freeze. EDG not fully convinced on
Why? What were you thinking when you asked me that question?
Any more risks?
And
A, they still have the Cypher utility they have to get through.
I don't know if I necessarily have a favorite. Like I like a lot of what Pansy and Hypoc do. Like I really like Pansy's like actual casting flow. I feel like she's really like the way that she describes things. It's almost like poetry sometimes. And it's like her like the words that she uses to cast the game a lot of the time. I'm just like, gosh, she's so fucking eloquent, you know.
I mean, it's a
But I do agree that I really like Bren and Sideshow as a duo. Honestly, I think maybe the most underrated caster for me is probably like Vansili. I kind of wish that he would get some LAN time.
Well, he's here at Game Change.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't mean it. You didn't need to do that because you guys had really good crossfire setup.
I mean, I don't. To me, like I think that Valorant has a good mix of like each casting duo kind of feels a bit different. And I'm not like a big esports fan, so I don't really know like, you know, about esports. Look, I know that fucking in sports there are plenty of commentators in sports who are fucking dog shit. And they spend a lot of money on that. They make probably a lot more than the Valorant. Well, they definitely will make a lot more than the Valorant casters do. And they, a lot of them are dog shit.
Yeah.
Like actively like bad. Actively make it worse.
Yes.
Like not just like, oh, this is like okay. No, they like actively make everything worse. Oh my god. Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, I still think that probably Dota has the best casting duo in all of esports. Maybe even a couple of the best casting duos in all of esports, but that could also be biased. But I legitimately think that like ODPixel and Fog from Dota is just like, they're just the best.
There's really a chance that they have a late lurk or flank, given that they've shown some presence A. Reads it like a book.
Because it's a British guy who can talk fast and has like a really good vocabulary, and then an ex-pro player who's just like the biggest fucking nerd. And they just like work perfectly together.
Oh, Doug with the that's the spike, just as we thought. With an Omen TP. That's the spike!
Wawali trying to drop the first, find success. Kinnear now left alone. Surrounded by members of EDG and Khalid.
It's not looking good. It's 6-4. It doesn't feel that close.
How do you solve a 1vx?
Oh.
I got the spike. Looking for the spike, finally finds it, picks it up. Tries to get it down off of the swing, really patient. Off of that flash, waiting for the bait.
Whoa, what are we doing?
It works out in the end. That was scary for a moment.
Oh my god.
But a 3K for the Skies. Crew get to
Nothing worse than turning the footy on and Robbie Savage being the commentator. Yes, you're right. Oh my goodness. The worst one for me in the NFL is Mark Sanchez. Because he will just make little noises every single play. Like, the main commentator will be, you know, commentating what's happening. And then in the background, you can just hear him going like, ooh, ah, ooh, ee, ooh, oh my god, ooh. Like, every single play. And it just, once you notice it, it's like you can't unnotice it. That he's just doing that.
He's the ad-lib guy from a rap song.
Yeah, literally. Just like, yeah, but in commentary form for the NFL. And it's like, oh my god, just shut up. Like, what people know you for is running into your own offensive lineman and fumbling by headbutting him in the arse. Like, that's what you're most known for.
Yep.
Like, one of the most embarrassing things that's ever happened. And I don't need you little squeaming and squirming over the commentary. It feels like Crew have been... I honestly don't know. How did EG get to... And they won Pistol. How did they get to 4? 'Cause it feels like Crew.
They had like one good execute round.
Feels like Crew
their jet dashed
in
and got a bunch
control
of
of
kills.
every round.
You're leaning into the
Yeah,
strengths of it.
I would
but
agree with that.
There's always, it just seems like there's always a facet of the plan that does not execute the way everything around it does. And that's what gives Crew
Living in
a
Germany right now, one of the casters on the German channel for the NFL knows nothing about it.
Mistakes up, but again, we need to talk
There's a lot of awful broadcasters in the NFL. I'd say the NFL on average has like the worst,
Oh my god,
the worst
so
commentary
bad.
of any major sport.
It's so bad. It's like the thing that's worse about it is like as someone like, and I'm not even from the country where this game is played, but like I genuinely feel like I know more than a lot of the commentators. Like, and it's their job to know about the game. And I think,
And most of them are ex-players at this point too.
the part that drives me mad is that like they'll show like, oh, the analytics say like, oh, you should definitely do this. Like, it's not a question. Like the analytics are like, you should do, like you should go for it. Like whatever, right? And then you'll hear the commentator be like, no, I like punting it here. You know, on 4th and 1 from the opposition's 40. Yeah, punt it away. And it's just like, what are we doing? Oh yeah, the Sentinel video. Yeah, 652. I don't know if you're on my stream, Elevate, but here you go.
Yeah.
652. There you go. Second?
Oh, he's even pointing to your wall right now.
No, that's Sunset that they're talking about. What video is that? But you can see it's definitely me with the little purple square in the bottom right.
I think that's just you watching me talking about strategy.
Confidence is exactly what you need.
Yeah, I mean, you cannot
Chinese Sunset game? Honestly, maybe. I don't know what exactly it is, but it's definitely me.
Yeah, he's not subscribed though. That's pretty fucked up, actually. You should screenshot that and at tweet him.
Oh, the Sky Sports F1 broadcast team? Yeah. That everyone, the F1 fans, I feel like the F1 fans are a bit harsh though, to be fair at times. Like they are like, the F1 fans hate the broadcasters. They fucking hate the broadcast. Everyone hates Crofty. Oh, to be fair though, what's he called? What's he called? The guy.
Honestly, all things considered for Visa Crew Blaze,
Martin Brundle.
Start. I mean, in 8-4 half, things looking
I like
really
Crofty.
nice,
There
and
you
now
go.
they have to deal with the fact that they're gonna
Everyone
be
loves
playing
Martin.
comp on defense. That's tough, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard.
Because Martin's a bit spicy.
More aggression from EDG, but I
What's the who's the guy who's like down in the what's he called? Who's the guy who's like down in the pit lane?
Then giving up all that space, super questionable. But Crew is
Ted. Oh, Ted's a fucking idiot.
Oh, if they pull the trigger on that.
Everyone fucking hates Ted.
Nicely canceled by Crew. That would have been walking into disaster had they committed. But really,
Ted's
I mean,
a
they
fucking
They
moron.
got the paranoia out. They got a flash out from Wally.
You like Ted? No.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of util out. That's great. I don't know how they're gonna react. I mean, EGG at this point,
no.
as soon as the team has been cutting noise.
Oh yeah, Button knows what he's talking about.
Long time on that counter, and we're just fully giving up the space on the EGG side. They're not even trying to get info. They're not even trying to.
Sorry, Elevate. F1
They
tool.
are just
Not for you.
gambling the rotate based off of.
Yeah, I disassociated for a little bit there.
Lack of information, the denial of. Yeah, maybe that's what.
Do you have a split comp? Is split one of the maps you play?
We just play double duelist.
Stunned, dead.
Double duelist, double
Chance
smokes.
to do much more than that.
Keep it simple.
Team here to help, close by, as is Wally, but they can't even get themselves out of spawn. They haven't.
It's crazy how many loud. I mean, that's the thing. Everyone gives them Harbor Viper, but I'm pretty. Was it Loud who were playing that first as well? I know it's not like a new comp. Like it's been played before, but I'm pretty sure it like coming into the year. You'd have to go back to Lock-in and take a look at the comps, but I'm pretty sure Loud were the like ones who made that method as well.
No, you'd have to go way, way back.
No.
because
I
that
know it was a comp before, like it's been a comp, but coming into the year, it wasn't the meta. But
Was
then
it not?
No, I'm fairly certain it wasn't.
I thought it's been kind of like part of the meta ever since the Astra Viper like swamp comp was prevalent, and people had to figure out how to beat that.
and
I thought it's always been kind of like part of the meta.
No, but
since
after Astra got nerfed, we had chamber meta. The chamber. What was the chamber meta on this map?
We weren't sure. We didn't get enough information, and now we're stuck.
Because you weren't playing Jet.
Changing something up this round with that Campbell.
You were playing like chamber Raze.
Even though chamber was meta, I feel like people were still playing Jet, weren't they? To some extent.
No,
Am I trolling?
So. I think it was Raze, chamber, breach, like KO or fade.
But they're cautious.
And then Omen.
Yeah, you might be right. I thought there was still part of the like population that was still playing Jet, but maybe I'm wrong.
Well, I have to cast around. Do you want to cast around after this? Be my co-caster.
Sure. Are you gonna be the play-by-play and I'll be the color?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
Shall we see how good we are at casting?
Should I drop some ad libs like Mark Sanchez?
Oh my god, no. It honestly.
Skirt.
But we are looking like
Good thing we didn't cast this round. Look at this snoozer. 2 Buckies.
The site is clear, not too much util being wasted, just a fault line coming out from that breach. No flashes wasted, nothing.
Don't leave people get paid to do that in Rap Song.
Crew EDG, they're gonna have to scramble.
Imagine getting paid to just go.
Like you said, that Bucky, it's kind of hard if you want to retake with that, unless you're flying out and flying into the action.
I think that's crazy.
So maybe that's what they have in stock for us.
I mean, this just feels so miserable when you gamble like this and you realize you gambled wrong and you have no weapons to fight back.
We're gonna have to like make sure that we're on the same page though, as far as
the time.
No,
that might be funnier if we're not, to be honest.
That's true.
Wait, they're gonna win?
Yeah, we should just send it actually.
Nah, they're in heaven. GG. Cypher's got this.
Yep.
There you go. Okay, you ready? I'm on. Well, I'll tell you when we get into the round. I'm on round 14. 28, 27, 26.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. Let's begin then. Welcome to round 15 of Crew versus EDG. What are they called?
Chow Hui.
No, the English. Super Empowerment. Super Empowerment EDG.
My bad. You're right.
Let's get into this game. I'm TMV, joined by Elevated. Crew coming into this one on their bonus round, round 15. Let's see how it goes. What are you excited for in this round, Mr. Elevated?
Well, realistically, you want to just see Crew do as much damage as possible because they're kind of in control of this map. So as long as they do a decent amount of damage and don't let the economy get out of control, they should be able to close this one out.
Now, what do you think of the interesting choice by EDG, who bought 2 Buckies in the round before, don't forget? They now have a Guardian and a Bulldog. Do you think the Bucky is worth it?
Desperate times call for desperate
But
measures.
Blue has taken off the first head of Shies. Forget what I just asked. Let's get back into the round because it's all popping off. We've got Crew coming up towards heaven. They take that space of the map. Blue with a job to do gets a second kill. And now gets Omen flashed by Kinnear. We're in a 5v3. Crew now probably looking to just do a bit of damage here. We got Kalita there pushing deep into spawn. Hold on. A chance? Wawa Lee going crazy, pushing after it. What are we doing? Clem gets a kill. Kinnear with the trade back. Oh, Kinnear. Hold on.
That's one of my biggest pet peeves, TMV, is when you're in a 5v3 and you take ones. I will literally never forgive teams for doing that.
We're in a 3v2. They're probably going to get the spike down. Here we go. They have a Guardian and a Phantom in hand. Winnable, especially with Kinnear. Very, very strong player. What will they do? Smokey about to fade. Time running down. They plant the spike. We got Blue going in alone, but manages to find the kill. 3v1 should be all over. Now, but the missed dash. 2v1. Winnable? Winnable? Winnable?
Certainly is. No flashes, though.
No. EDG win. Congrats to them. Congrats to EDG.
Yeah, overall, I mean,
I like
pretty good damage though from Crew. So I think they achieved their objective.
It's over. We're done. I like the silence we have.
I think honestly, if I'm Crew here, I'm just gonna try and stack some ultimates and just
get out of this mode.
The game.
Get out of it.
EDG though, I think probably needs to rely on.
I know who my least favorite casting duo is now.
Come on, man.
We need
I
artists or
actually
a
have-
refund.
I have like hundreds of casts under my belt, actually.
Bro. See the Jet 3K, bro. Bro, put me on Jet, bro.
Full setup. It's so
Ace,
weird
bro.
because they have this Jet playing towards Vents. No off.
Artist speaks in
Just Vents, ready
tongues.
to fight with this Omen.
There is some mid presence, so I'll take that. All things really considered as we think about how they've played this defensive half. Now that they actually are putting some.
What do you think of the Koi sit and spawn for 30 seconds?
Should get you a lot of info. And think about this.
Well,
They know that
there's only one right answer to this, and it's
They have some presence.
dog
in the
water.
attacking Mid, so you gotta
But what
understand
if
at
it's
this
not?
point, if it's not going off in your head already,
Well,
this hit is gonna
then
end
their
there.
record probably wouldn't be terrible.
Cypher really needs to delay in time because the team is so close. The trips catching
Oh.
Michaela and Clem getting hers. Cornean with an
All right,
instant
Cypher's
turn.
the best agent in the game.
I thought Kinnear was gonna be a little bit
Nah, EDG, they're playing very undisciplined.
Yeah, I think it's Jova. Doesn't that when you lose your best player?
Yeah.
5 gifted to talking a Scouse accent for the next 5 minutes. Well, to get into Scouse, you gotta go into your throat. It's deep in your throat. Liverpool. I can only say certain words though, so I'll just be saying throat. Coke. Liverpool. Bro. What was that? Ah!
Oh.
So how did you do that in Scouts?
Oh. Oh. Oh.
I told you the judge is the best gun in the game.
Papa!
I can't believe that.
You have like
Fucking hell.
like not a caster curse, but a caster
I manifest.
wish.
I manifest.
Yeah, manifest.
Fucking judge broken.
That was really cool. I mean, a 2v4 retake. We were talking about how retakes are going to be hard for these duelists.
4v2, just going with a judge.
Do it. Being aggressive, putting yourself into close quarters where you can
That was
get
great.
useful dunks, and then Houston, of course, just cleaning up the mess right behind her. That was insane teamwork coming in.
Look at their ult economy now. This is really good, actually.
What if they win and our pick is right?
Which is not where Cruz stacked up at.
Well, they still have to win another map, but yes.
But I mean, that's a spark. That's a huge spark.
So YZ should be watching that and be like, the judge nerf doesn't matter.
He did get kind of away from the judge in the Chinese Act 3, didn't he? I feel like he was
Probably
hopping
because
a
of
lot
that,
more.
I think.
Yeah.
They're not over-rotating, over-committing just yet. But again, this lack of information.
Billy
is
was
super
not gaming
interesting.
very
At
hard
this
in Act
point,
3,
I
that's
don't
for
think
sure.
It's going to be that much of an issue because they are rotating the op over
They'll be
towards the
back.
B side to try to get something.
Oh, that rolling thunder is only
They
gonna
ult
tap
themselves?
one.
One.
Their 2 members have gone through it clean, but that draws out the showstopper too. That's huge.
Send it.
Oh.
Send it. Yes.
Nice.
Good prediction. Like it.
And just when you think you're safe and you've drawn out an ult for free, your tip of the spear is what
Going
falls.
into the judge.
They're gonna try to re-hit B. There's still a couple of members here. The judge.
Nice
finds another.
reposition.
Oh, and if only you knew what was on the other side of the smoke.
Jimmy Liu has the read here.
It's a judge show now.
Oh my, I love this judge meta that's coming out. The breach stun onto blue. She has an op. Is she going to re-peek? Nope. She is smoked off, but still super confident to walk out of the smoke. Houston and blue.
EDG, hold on. Flawless. There he goes. This is going to be a save for crew.
I am loving
Okay.
this judge. This is amazing.
Yeah, we often talk about like what's a power weapon that's going to come online that's going to turn the tide of the match. It's an op, generally, right?
This is good. I like this. I would have been really sad if EDG lose their best player, they come in and they just get absolutely destroyed for 2 games. That would have made me sad.
It
So
is a good answer too, because if you're stunned with a judge, I mean, you still get yours. Like you can, and especially on a movement character where they can just move out of the way or push themselves towards you even while they're stunned. It's so good. I mean, this is not the answer that I thought was gonna happen, but EGG found it, and I mean, Simi Lu, amazing.
For timeout. Getting nervous.
And off of that
outrageous
performance.
Who would these play?
These
Hold on.
last 2 rounds, Crew decide to
Oh,
call
do they play SMG, the winner of this?
wisely so. They've had a lead, they've had control for
It's
just been in these last waning moments.
or Liquid? Is it SMG or Liquid? One of the two.
Yeah, I mean, we were
They play
talking about
SMG.
how
That's
SMG,
tough.
yeah.
so fragmented in the first half, but
That's
they're kind of
tough.
showing how they play really well in these crossfires, in these stressful situations, putting their duelists up in that front lines to kind of get that space and get those kills. And it's
Yeah, so SMG will probably win that. Then they'll play the winner of Team Liquid, BBL, or Shopify. That'll be a good game.
I'm not gonna lie, TMV. Ever since we casted the round, you've lost about 150 viewers. I apologize.
That's unfortunate, but it is what it is. I don't care for those people. Again, like those people are dead to me. They're not real viewers. You know, they're just like little,
they're all bots.
They're little NPCs that, you know. It was probably because you went for that reaction a bit too hard. They're used to like, you know, they're probably used to like Tarek doing a similar thing, but not quite as extreme.
True.
What? Yo!
That's how you react properly.
Oh. In the face of the flash, Michaela cleans it up. That's a weapon upgraded. You imagine. But climb up in heaven, looking for anything else that she can find. Oh, blades have been popped. Blue's looking to make a play here.
5v4, losable. Even against the Nico. I mean, probably lost. Oh, just as we were raising our hopes for EDG, unless 1v5.
Big spaghetti around.
As soon as we raised our hopes, you raised my hopes and dashed them expertly, sir.
Me? I had nothing to do with that.
Not you.
To push into spawn, to push into heaven, the sky flash, the breach flash, the omen paranoia, all three of these heading towards
No,
where
they take a timeout.
take that space and get themselves
Yeah.
into close quarters again. That is not what you
They needed
want.
that one though, I think. You can't lose a Thrifty down 10-7.
not want to give up so much
No.
space. You want to take those long range fights, but playing retake was just so hard because they did not have a good enough plan to combat that much util.
How did we lose?
I'd be really interested. I'd be really interested to see whether a double duelist comp consistently loses more rounds to eco than others. I would imagine it probably does.
Yeah,
because it's more reliant on just like fighting and less reliant on like util setting you up.
Yeah, you're also more likely to just be aggressive and run into them.
Yeah.
Am I going to Worlds next year for League at the O2? You know, I might. I mean, how often is it going to be in London? I might. Genuinely. I don't know the fucking first thing about League. I turn it on every so often, and I see people go, whoa! And I understand that when the fights happen, you know, like a big team fight happens, yeah, that's the big pop-off moment. But I don't really understand what's going on. I just see people die, and I'm like, oh! But yes, I probably would go.
But again, another read coming in from
Would my contact in Rito get me a ticket? Maybe.
And EDG is not going to be ready this with 4 players.
Maybe.
It almost feels like they're just ABing and.
Do they allow co-streams in League? I don't think they did.
I mean, it's a very light setup.
They have been, I think.
Or do they?
But
Have they changed their tack? Have they seen the success in Valorant and been like, that's probably something we should just do? Because again, it's not like people see more or less of your sponsors from watching a co-stream.
Flank coming through, you've got a trip that Blue's gonna have to run into. Maybe she jumps over it, or she just gets caught by it. Never mind. So now they know where the flank is coming from.
No, I won't do a co-stream of it because I'll have no idea what's going on. But
only ult to keep in mind is Clem's Neural Theft.
Ooh, nice shot.
Yeah, great shot onto the first. It's clean. It's calculated. Numbers still though in favor of the attacking side as the spike continues to tick away. It seems to be getting a little bit.
But League of Legends is an invasion game. I could have got into that. Is there a TMV of League of Legends? There must be. We're probably not as handsome.
No, you're one of a kind, TMV.
Just like you said, but they're setting up in their post punt so fast, so quick to set up in these crossfires and making themselves super solid. Even though they did lose that breach,
Tyler Warren.
Rest in peace, our pick'ems.
because the side crossfire was just way too good. This entry,
TML, yeah.
again, Rocket
Contemplating Man's League. Sounds like something from like the 1920s, doesn't it? Thinking Man's League sounds like something from like, it either sounds like a group for incels or something from the 1920s. Thinking Man's League.
It is an incel group. Oh my god.
And well, why not? With the success that you'd had with it previously. Also note here how they've tightened the strings around Crew right now.
To be fair,
They
if
have
you're an
presence
analyst
on
for
ramp
League,
too.
you're probably an
They're
incel.
not careful. This could get
Ooh.
messy. Also, on the other side, Blue may have bit off a bit more than she could chew. That's exactly what takes place.
Am I allowed to say that on a Riot broadcast?
Wait in
Probably
that
not.
spot, or at least wait to see what happens. As soon as the team freezes and holds, you need to understand that they are waiting for you. But unfortunately, it was too late to realize that. The flash coming in through A-Ramp.
What game has the worst community?
And an A-hit here.
What game?
Yeah.
Probably Gears of War or Call of Duty, one of the two.
As they attempt to prolong this map any way that they possibly can, a 2v4 in a situation like this is a very big ask, and it's just gotten more difficult. You see, the only one remains in a 1v4.
Well, we raised our hopes and then they didn't win a round.
It's nothing but a bulldog.
Maybe Minecraft.
This would be
It's not
a heroic
Minecraft.
play, to say the
Screw
least.
them kids.
I don't think it can be
Yeah.
Fortnite for the same reason, because I don't think like 7-year-olds know enough bad words to.
A little bit of the fighting back. You can only turn that for so long, and that's all it's going to be. Crew take down EDG on split 13-7.
Yeah, what a solid showing from Crew here. I think EDG's definitely going to be using
Okay,
this one
well,
as a warm-up
I'm not super
because they need to have a lot
optimistic for map number 2.
Me neither, but you never know.
You never know. We're going to Ascent. Maybe they'll pull out something interesting.
Finish the bias video?
We'll be right back.
What do you mean? Okay, I'm gonna go and make some food. So, I'll be back when I've made my food.
Alright, I'll try not to get your stream deleted, banned on Twitch.
Hold on, kid in the chat. I have a get rich quick scheme for you. Go on then. Explain. The hell is this? Just run ad 1 of 80, yeah, true. Play a Latam VOD so they copyright strike the VOD. Oh yeah, did you hear about this, Elevate?
Yeah,
Don't you think that's crazy? Sellers of weight loss pills were all overweight Val players. Thinking Man's stocks. You pump and dump your viewers. Oh, that's a good idea, actually. Yeah, TMS. Thinking Man's stocks. And I just say, put it all in, I don't know, Prime Gaming.
Man, Average Jonas has had a very interesting career arc. He's like kind of become like the face of advertising for Valorant products as a former opera singer on a yacht or cruise ship in like the space of 2 years, 3 years. That's what he's done. Really interesting.
How did he even go from one to the other? I've got to explain how someone got their username. Hold on, what's this username? Dirt Road. Why is it always the like weirdest ones?
You get
What
shot,
the
you
fuck
lose the
is
round,
that?
You lose the game. It's an FPS game.
Okay, I've got it. Ashu8 with the 2 months. Thank you. I've got it. I know how to do this. You ready? I'm going to explain this username. Dirtrod. Okay. So the person who owns this username, their name is Rod. Their name is Rod Thompson. And that explains this, okay? So Rod Thompson is our person behind the screen here. And Rod grew up in Alabama. Rod grew up in Alabama. Thank you for the noises, Elevated. And was not the brightest. I mean, why else would you be in chat? Why would you have watched me enough to have the points to get the explain how I got my username? So that's what Rod is. He's from Alabama, not the brightest, and, you know, always struggled in school and stuff like that. You know, the classic. The classic struggled in school and all of that. And